Riemann contemplates, his message hinting at personal struggles. He has no choice but to accept the donation, feeling pressured by his responsibilities. He feels a sudden surge of hope, but also desperation. The amount is staggering, yet the consequences are unclear. Riemann is astounded, voice full of disbelief. The amount seems too good and too strange to be true. Siwoo looks bewildered, the words hanging in the air as he grapples with the magnitude of the donation. Siwoo hesitates, his voice trailing off as he contemplates the sudden windfall. Ramon and Porridge Eater's reactions further complicate his decision. Siwoo's voice wavers, unsure if this is real. Riemann looks on, his doubt still evident but wavering. Siwoo's eyes widen in disbelief. The screen displays a contract confirming his agreement. Siwoo's hands tremble as he accepts the contract, sealing his fate. Lucifer's shadow looms large, casting doubt over Siwoo's decision. Down, the crazy one with me. Damn it, donation, my life was just 'cause I took one wrong flipped upside. Siwoo clenches his mace tightly, eyes fixed on the enemies before him. Riemann's voice lingers in the background, a mix of mockery and accusation. Riemann's voice carries a mix of command and challenge. Siwoo, you should have picked someone else? Siwoo curses, clearly frustrated. And get me back to Earth? He asks doubtfully. She mentions a contract, hinting at the terms Siwoo must accept. What could be more demanding than defeating an enemy in another world? Hyein promises to keep her word, emphasizing the importance of her vow. Siwoo commits to fulfilling his promise, preparing for a challenging task ahead. Riem's promise weighs heavily on Siwoo. He prepares to face a daunting task, knowing it won't be easy. Siwoo seems uncertain, his gaze shifting nervously. Riemann looks concerned but determined. Riemann's promise seems to come with a steep price. Siwoo looks conflicted, unsure if he can keep up his end of the contract. Riemann's gratitude is tinged with a hint of concern as she anticipates Siwoo's response to his new reality. Siwoo seems relieved but uneasy, preparing to leave his familiar life behind. He thanks Riemann sincerely, though with a hint of reluctance. Siwoo looks out at a peaceful green landscape, visibly relieved but uncertain about his new surroundings. Siwoo jumps as wyverns appear on the horizon, his eyes wide with surprise and alarm. Siwoo's eyes widen in shock and anger, his voice laced with profanity as he curses the situation. He mutters about missing 10 years and how this is not the peaceful Earth he left behind. Siwoo's voice trembles with disbelief and anger. He mutters about Earth being done for, his words trailing off into a frustrated sigh. Riemann smiles warmly, complimenting Siwoo's appearance with evident pride. Riemann's warm smile and compliment hint at a complex, unresolved past between them. Siwoo seems both touched and deeply emotional by her words. Siwoo looks puzzled, his eyes widening as he listens to Riemann's warning. He stammers, trying to grasp what she means. Riemann's face turns serious, her tone firm as she speaks. Siwoo looks confused, his expression a mix of fear and uncertainty. Riemann's tone is firm, leaving no room for negotiation. Siwoo looks wary, unsure of what to say next. Riemann's tone is unwavering, leaving Siwoo uncertain of her true intentions. Siwoo's gaze shifts nervously between Riemann and the contract in his hands. Siwoo's eyes widen, disbelief clear on his face. Riemann smirks confidently. Siwoo's mouth hangs open, shock evident on his face. Riemann's smirk widens. Please wait. Goddess Riemann confirms the contract. Sancta Ceres will investigate and support another dimension's contract. Siwoo looks conflicted, unsure about the divine power binding him. Riemann's voice carries an air of finality. Riemann's tone is firm, leaving no room for refusal. Siwoo stammers, clearly uneasy but trying to stay calm. Riemann's voice commands, leaving no doubt. Siwoo falters, clearly unsettled. Siwoo looks bewildered, his eyes wide as he stammers out questions. Tension builds as Siwoo awaits Riemann's next command, his mind racing with possibilities and fears. Tension simmers as Siwoo's future hangs in the balance, each second counting down to Riemann's next move. Tension builds as Siwoo's determined expression suggests he's gearing up for whatever comes next. Tension crackles in the air as Siwoo's voice rises, barely contained. The wyvern's body lies splintered on the ground, its fate sealed by an unseen force. Siwoo hesitates, then forces out a reluctant question to Riemann. His voice betrays his growing unease. Siwoo's voice trembles as he reluctantly confirms his fears. No, screwed. Siwoo's admission of being screwed hangs heavy in the air, unspoken but undeniable. Is that wyvern detector picking up any strong magic energy in the sky? Typically, the rank of a returner is determined by how much magic energy is detected. Riemann's request is urgent, yet ambiguous. The Bureau must act swiftly. Riemann's urgent request echoes, demanding swift action. The situation at the gate is dire, involving an immensely strong returner. Dongshik exclaims with surprise, clearly pleased. The fly swatter is nearby, hinting at a recent action. He looks like a pain in the ass, but he might be useful. Huh? Let me settle in. Nice to meet you. LSE the boss? Settled in, help you get the wyvern? What about an apartment? My family in Gwangmyeong City, Gyeonggi Province? Also, they're trusting me. The day is safe in Gyeonggi Province. D's good, and you're eccentric too. We here at Ability Management United States look forward to seeing your abilities in action. Siwoo's mind races with questions about his sudden age discrepancy. He wonders if Rimen has been keeping tabs on Earth. Why am I here? I've been so nervous since. In-wook clears his throat, addressing someone with a mix of formality and nervousness. It's been a while, In-wook. In-wook hesitates, then clears his throat. He seems nervous but determined. He demands she open the door, voice trembling with anger and desperation. She should change her attitude, he snarls, having had a good nap. He clenches his fists, visibly upset. What do you want to hit me with? Some cultist trick? Bro, In-wook. Make me come on, but don't make it too soupy. You know how I like it, right? Emotional reunion. He savors the taste, savoring each kimchi-infused bite. But what is this? His eyes widen in realization. Siwoo hesitates, his eyes narrowing as he processes Rimen's words. Why did she summon him specifically? Rimen's gaze is intense, her words leaving Siwoo wary and curious. He wonders what secret she holds about his past. Siwoo hesitates, his gaze shifting between Rimen and the stream chat. He appears torn, knowing there's more to her words than meets the eye. Siwoo clenches his fists, clearly conflicted. His determination shines through his resolved gaze. Siwoo's eyes widen in disbelief, his voice trembling as he questions Rimen about her challenge. Siwoo's voice trembles as he stammers, clearly surprised by Rimen's challenge. Rimen's challenge hangs in the air, surprising Siwoo. He stammers, clearly taken aback. Rimen's challenge is clear, but Siwoo looks bewildered and unsure of how to respond. Rimen's challenge hangs in the air, leaving Siwoo puzzled and uncertain about his next move. Siwoo hesitates, glancing at his newfound followers. Rimen watches him intently, her eyes full of expectation. Rimen's gaze sharpens, expecting Siwoo to make a decision. Siwoo fidgets, looking at his followers, unsure but drawn in. Rimen's expectant smile widens, clearly pleased with Siwoo's silence. Siwoo hesitates, his eyes darting between Rimen and the summons notice. Siwoo's eyes narrow, studying Rimen intently. The summons notice glints in the light, drawing his gaze. Siwoo's expression hardens, his gaze locking onto Rimen with suspicion. Dead? He repeats, tone sharp. Why didn't you just say so? Rimen's voice is firm, leaving no room for misunderstanding. It's not like that, she insists. Players can awaken abilities, but it's not easy. Rimen's tone is firm, leaving no doubt about her seriousness. Siwoo seems hesitant but listens intently. Rimen's gaze is resolute. Siwoo looks conflicted but listens intently. Siwoo takes a deep breath, his eyes flickering between Rimen and the chat prompts. Rimen's voice is firm but offers no further explanation. Rimen's voice is firm, but Siwoo remains uncertain. His resolve wavers as he considers Rimen's request. Rimen's determination is clear, but Siwoo hesitates, his earlier confidence wavering. Siwoo hesitates, his voice wavering as he speaks to In-wook. In-wook looks back, confusion clear on his face. In-wook's eyes widen in shock, clearly not expecting to hear Si-yeon referred to as his brother. Si-yeon's voice cracks with emotion as he speaks, his tone a mix of disbelief and longing. Siwoo is taken aback by the sudden confession. Si-yeon's voice trembles with emotion as he pleads for In-wook to reveal himself. Siwoo looks back and forth, confusion and concern etched on his face. Siwoo looks uncertain, nodding slowly as he promises to eat tteokbokki with In-wook tomorrow. Siwoo looks thoughtful, pondering In-wook's words about eating tteokbokki tomorrow. Siwoo listens intently, considering In-wook's final words before his stream ends. Siwoo nods, seemingly intrigued by In-wook's proposal. He appears to be weighing his options carefully. Siwoo appears conflicted, his gaze shifting between In-wook and the screen as if weighing a difficult decision. Siwoo sighs, his resolve wavering. In-wook's voice seems to linger in the background, tugging at his conscience. Siwoo hesitates, clearly torn. In-wook's voice is faint but persistent in his mind. Siwoo continues to grapple with In-wook's voice, his eyes reflecting indecision and a hint of hope. That fact hits Siwoo hard, making his expression shift from doubt to a flicker of hope. And, as an irregular sibling, he never thought they'd be reunited this way. In-wook's words resonate with hope, though Siwoo still harbors doubts. Player K suggests an alliance, but Siwoo remains skeptical. Rimen's voice lingers, confident yet insistent. Siwoo considers her offer, his expression torn between hope and doubt. Player K's channel views skyrocket, his content gaining sudden popularity. Newbies flock to Military Academy playlists for accelerated growth tips. Siwoo looks puzzled, as if trying to piece together Kim In-wook's secret plans. Siwoo looks skeptical, nodding slowly as he considers Kim In-wook's mysterious plans. In-wook insists, "This is the perfect atmosphere for lighting a cigarette." Siwoo looks uneasy but nods, his expression guarded. Siwoo checks his phone, frowning at the weak signal. Something's off. Rimen's voice echoes, "No, wait, let's go back." Siwoo looks confused. Siwoo's confusion grows as he examines the mysterious energy reading, wondering about its source and implications. Siwoo contemplates Ryman's message, realizing it changes everything. He understands he's been chosen for more than just money. Siwoo clenches his fists, visibly frustrated. Ryman's message weighs heavily on him. Siwoo's face contorts with disbelief and frustration. He mutters something under his breath, clearly not believing Ryman's message. Siwoo glances around, clearly uneasy. He murmurs to himself, sounding torn between disbelief and necessity. Siwoo mutters, clearly uncertain about what to do next. Siwoo looks conflicted, his expression a mix of determination and fear as he continues to mutter to himself. Ryman watches him with a curious gaze, her presence subtly shifting the atmosphere around them. Siwoo reads the mysterious message, his face growing pale as he considers the implications. Ryman watches him intently, her gaze unyielding. Siwoo steps into a dimly lit dungeon, his expression one of both curiosity and apprehension as he reads the mysterious message aloud. Siwoo looks around, puzzled by Ryman's casual question about his weather and activities. Minsu checks Siwoo, clearly concerned but trying to be reassuring. Again, Siwoo and Minsu continue their stream, but something feels off. Siwoo chuckles, clearly amused by something Minsu said. Minsu grins back, his tone light and playful. Pardon? Oh, the three and Simyoung, haven't they been talking since a while ago? Quiet for a while, then suddenly this? What do you mean by that? Pardon? Who are these Simyoung brethren awakened for this? What do they mean by that? She clasps his shoulder warmly. If you manage to keep your parents safe today, make sure to give them a big hug. He feels a warm hand on his shoulder, a promise of safety he can't quite grasp yet. He shifts uncomfortably, sensing an uneasy presence nearby. She stands before him, her presence commanding yet somewhat hesitant. Her voice conveys a mix of authority and something more, perhaps concern or curiosity. She stands before him, her voice steady yet tinged with urgency. You have entered the dungeon. Your progress is marked, abyssification to bridgehead of pride. She looks around, her voice firm. Abyssification has begun. You have 2 hours and 7 minutes. They seem to still be alive, resisting the demonic energy around here. A few players must be left trying to hold on. A faceless mimic slinks forward, its form shifting as it approaches a player. The creature knocks the opponent unconscious before transforming into their likeness. They continue their relentless assault, each mimic shifting forms and incapacitating players one by one. The demonic energy seeps into the surroundings, corrupting everything in its path. The keywords doppelganger flash prominently, confirming the boss's true nature and heightening the threat. It would be a living hell if these monsters turned against us. With prior knowledge, they could cause immense trouble. He must decide, or a doppelganger might turn against them. Studio Nyo is their only safe haven for now. Is it a survivor, or must he go there? The choice weighs heavily on him, though a doppelganger lurks as a threat. There it is, a strange, glowing square in the center of a crowded area. Monsters lurk around it, and a light hovers above. You can't just pop out there. Monsters are lurking around, and that light above, it's not reassuring. Did our plan really screw up this badly? Well, too late now, but there are survivors. Guys, just let me in here like this. She's here to see Inwook, but wonders if they should talk face to face. Her clothes look familiar, though she asks about his. She seems surprised, perhaps even relieved to see him. He responds enthusiastically, offering a casual greeting and an unexpected direction. Siwoo seems uncertain, his expression shifting from relief to concern as he speaks about going home. He hints that returning might not be straightforward, hinting at deeper issues. Siwoo's voice wavers, hinting at growing unease as he speaks of a group illusion and its doppelganger. The scenario unfolds like a theater play, with players unaffected by demonic energy, except for the protagonist. Siwoo's voice trembles as he speaks of a dungeon and demonic energy, hinting at growing unease. This place is seeping outside their control, and they must be nervous. How did we end up here? Siwoo wonders aloud, his voice laced with growing tension. The boss? Captured? He shakes his head, disbelief palpable. Siwoo's voice tingles with disbelief. The boss? Captured? He looks around, tension mounting. Exasperated, Siwoo replies, "See you here," hinting at disbelief and reluctance. Guminsu introduces himself, Siwoo's older brother, surprised by his younger sibling's presence and charm. Okay, Coffee thinks, realism is important, guys. Can I help with editing? He's not a player after all. As hunters, they treat him nicely here alone. But are those people on that note the same? Inwook's comments linger, hinting at a change in Siwoo that puzzles his editor. Siwoo chuckles, clearly surprised by Inwook's comment about him becoming a player. Sure, here is the narration for the current panel. Siwoo looks around, confused by Inwook's sudden concern. Siwoo looks around, puzzled by Inwook's sudden interest in his safety. Siwoo nods, visibly uncomfortable at Inwook's persistence. Inwook presses on, clearly intent on reassuring him. Siwoo hesitates, looking from Inwook to his camera setup. Inwook's enthusiasm seems almost infectious, but Siwoo remains wary. What is this? A message appears on his screen, but it's unlike anything he's seen before. Twists, the message suggests an elaborate setup, leaving Siwoo unsure of what's real. Don't you think? There's more to this than meets the eye? Hey, am I acting? So, how was it supposed to be perfect? Siwoo and his doppelganger both appear, their expressions tense and serious. Guys have made a decision. Please, this is serious. Siwoo looks relieved but uneasy, unsure if this new job is a blessing or a curse. Siwoo looks conflicted, his expression a mix of relief and fear as he contemplates the offer. Siwoo's voice trembles as he begs, his desperation clear. Please, save them before it's too late. She wonders if this warmth is real or just a dream. Like seeing you? Min-soo, you can recognize me, right? How, even with great eyesight, a mother's intuition, my team didn't notice. Inwook introduces himself, his tone warm yet earnest. He's your younger brother, hardworking and dedicated. Rimen presents a choice. Min-soo must decide. Two options lie before him, each with its own suffering. Min-soo's face twists in agony and fear. He shouts, refusing to accept his fate. Rimen's voice echoes, crack or burn. The choice is clear yet terrifying. Hamid's voice resounds, roast him painfully. The choice is grim and unforgiving. The chains begin to glow, tightening around Siwoo's wrists and ankles. The sacred fire glows brighter, casting an intense light on Siwoo's face. The words redemption and salvation through it flash before him. Tears well up in Siwoo's eyes as the goddess speaks. Siwoo sighs, his shoulders slumping in resignation. Rimen's voice lingers, a mixture of reassurance and something more. In 1 hour, this dungeon will self-destruct. You have completed an abyss dungeon, he exclaims, hoping it's not what he thinks. Siwoo stammers, clearly distressed by the news. Rimen laughs, her tone mischievous and unapologetic. Rimen's laughter echoes, clearly amused by Siwoo's distress. Siwoo stammers, his face a mix of confusion and worry. Rimen's tone is laced with amusement as she speaks, clearly enjoying Siwoo's predicament. Siwoo fidgets, his words trailing off as he struggles to keep up. Rimen's amused tone continues, Siwoo fidgeting nervously under her gaze. She leans in, her words tinged with curiosity and a hint of challenge. Rimen's amused tone deepens, her gaze fixed on Siwoo. The warning in her voice is clear on the dazia. Rimen's voice carries a note of warning as she speaks, her tone serious. Siwoo listens intently, his expression a mix of concern and curiosity. Fine. There's no point in sugarcoating it. On Earth you can't rest for a moment. I can barely catch my breath. Even weird monsters started appearing lately. Something I don't quite understand is going on. She chuckles lightly, seemingly unfazed by his anger. He hesitates, then trails off, clearly struggling to find a response. She smirks, clearly enjoying his discomfort as he stammers for a response. He looks ready to argue but hesitates, unsure of how to react. Siwoo fidgets, clearly unsure about Rimen's demands. He seems torn between arguing and complying. Siwoo hesitates, his eyes narrowing slightly as he meets Rimen's gaze. He seems uncertain about her next demand. Siwoo contemplates Rimen's request, his expression thoughtful yet uncertain. He wonders if he should meet with her again, knowing she's their goddess. Siwoo mutters to himself, pondering the terms of Rimen's request. 2 days ago, something significant happened involving a doppelganger. Believer count is low, completion requirement unknown. Rimen's summons grows more pressing, but Siwoo's mind remains clouded with uncertainty and concern. Well, there had succeeded. Rimen's message echoes, hinting at impending danger in Eden. The demonic gate looms ominously, a symbol of chaos breaking through. Skirmishers gather, their prideful spirits tinged with unease. Siwoo contemplates the ominous demonic gate, his expression a mix of unease and curiosity. Siwoo ponders the connection between the demonic gate and Rimen's request, his brow furrowed with doubt. He wonders if there's a deeper meaning behind these coincidences. Siwoo wonders aloud about Min-soo's sudden appearance, questioning how and why it happened. He ponders if accepting Rimen's donation could be connected to this strange turn of events. Siwoo's expression shifts from confusion to realization, then back to shock as he stammers out his response. Siwoo's eyes widen as he takes in Rimen's divine presence, his voice trembling slightly as he stammers a response. Siwoo's voice trembles as he stammers, unsure of how to respond to Rimen's sudden appearance and kind words. Player K uploaded a new video, but Siwoo is taken aback by the sudden turn of events. Player K begins his video, expressing gratitude to the mysterious benefactor who saved him. Siwoo looks around, visibly shaken but holding himself together. Rimen, who has appeared in his stream, smiles reassuringly. Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable with the situation. Rimen maintains a calm, reassuring smile. Rimen looks expectantly at Siwoo, her smile unwavering. Min-soo, still caught in his thoughts, seems uneasy yet determined to follow through with Siwoo's orders. Minsu contemplates, his voice steady yet uncertain. Metuba? This video? Is it a concept? Minsu's voice remains steady, but his gaze shifts nervously. If it means spreading fortune at any time, he mauls, uncertainty clear in his tone. Unlocking this special DLC store? Inquisitor in training? Ryman's third achievement reward? Curious turns indeed. Siwoo's eyes widen as he reads the conditions, his face a mix of shock and determination. Siwoo hesitates, then leans in closer to read the text again. His friend Minsu looks on with a curious expression, ready for whatever Siwoo might say next. Ryman smiles warmly, her tone filled with genuine happiness. Siwoo nods hesitantly, agreeing to the terms. Ryman's smile grows wider as she speaks, her voice full of hope and expectation. Siwoo nods firmly, determination etched on his face. Ryman's eyes shine with confidence as she pleads, her voice filled with earnestness. Siwoo clenches his jaw, nodding resolutely. Siwoo hesitates, then chuckles softly. Doing what? Pick up. Just who is calling me during old times? Siwoo's voice trembles slightly as he replies, showing uncertainty. Sorry, hello? Studio New, Dongshik. Siwoo hesitates, looking uncertain as he replies. Sorry, hello, Studio New, Dongshik. Siwoo considers, his expression wavering between uncertainty and resolve. For what cause? He asks softly. Siwoo hesitates, his gaze flickering between the screen and the webcam. Ryman's voice echoes with amusement. Think too much and you might miss your chance. Ryman's amused tone continues. Think too much and you might miss your chance. Siwoo's expression shows a mix of confusion and determination. Ryman's gaze remains sharp, her voice steady as she continues. This map shows the outbreak gates. They require your attention. Ryman's voice remains unwavering. These gates require your attention. Tension builds as she continues, hinting at greater challenges to come. Ryman's tone is firm, leaving no room for doubt. Siwoo must sense the gravity of his new situation. Ryman's voice carries weight, leaving Siwoo with no choice but to listen carefully. She insists on his cooperation, emphasizing its importance. Ryman's tone is firm, leaving no room for refusal. Siwoo nods, understanding the gravity of the situation. Ryman's serious expression conveys the weight of the situation. Siwoo nods solemnly, his mind racing with uncertainty. Ryman's words hint at a hidden player. Siwoo's mind racing with questions and doubts. Ryman's words about a hidden player keep Siwoo's mind occupied with speculation. Siwoo considers if his viewers might be involved, but dismisses the idea as absurd. He thinks briefly of the strange events surrounding him, feeling both intrigued and wary. Ryman's plan seems to revolve around drawing public attention and expanding her influence. Siwoo wonders if this will lead to more followers or further complications. Siwoo and his brother discuss the emergency evacuation plan, unsure if it will work. Guro Gate is confirmed to be an outbreak area. Siwoo and his brother exchange worried glances, unsure of the unfolding chaos. Team leader Kim's voice is firm and urgent. Siwoo looks uneasy, ready to comply but clearly reluctant. Siwoo reads the message, his expression turning grave. He acknowledges the urgency, but hesitation lingers in his gaze. Siwoo's mom and dad appear, panic evident on their faces. Siwoo looks towards them, confusion and worry mixing in his eyes. Haha, warning, has it really been that long? The outbreak gate's ominous energy has intensified. Team leader Kim looks unimpressed. The situation is grim, but he must brief more players. Siwoo looks confused, then intrigued by Ryman's unexpected turn of phrase. Siwoo's eyes widen in surprise as Ryman suggests he handle the gate on his own, a challenging task that seems beyond his current capabilities. Siwoo's eyes dart wildly, clearly taken aback by Ryman's sudden, daunting suggestion. Siwoo's eyes widen as he peers up at something in the sky, his voice filled with wonder and disbelief. Siwoo looks up, his eyes wide with amazement at something in the sky. Ryman watches you, her voice echoing through his mind. The concept of dimension and causality hangs in the air, leaving Siwoo to wonder what lies ahead. Ryman's voice resounds, her demands clear and unyielding. Siwoo feels the weight of his fate. Minsu, terrified, yells for Siwoo to get out of his way. The situation is tense and dangerous. Minsu's panicked voice rings out, urgency clear in his cry. Siwoo is caught off guard, his eyes wide with surprise and fear. Siwoo's voice trembles as he pleads for help, unsure of who might be able to save them. His desperation is palpable. Player K rushes to Siwoo, urgency in every step. Who? Siwoo's fate hangs in the balance as he prepares to face an unknown challenge. Chaos Gate flares, summoning Lich Lachias. The Lich approaches with a core of mysterious terror in hand. There is a Lich named Lachias, its presence marked by chaos and terror. The highest-ranked A-rank hunter cannot do much against it. Please, dear goddess, take pity on us here. Good job, Minsu. Job well done. You saved me, Minsu. Now leave this place. Great timing, Minsu. Thanks to the Chaos Gate, the system formed by unknown causes allowed me to break causality. Dimension, Earth is proceeding with causal congruence. You have to balance the causality of this dimension. What are you talking about? This land, and Eden, that much darkness. Who are you? What do you mean by this? This land, and Eden, that much darkness. Easily? How dare you? Out alive? Of power? What is this mockery, humiliating me like this? How do you expect anyone here to get anything done when you command them as mere slaves? Danger looms over Necropolis. The Lich's curse has corrupted this region, casting a shadow of dread. Death echoes through Seoul. A curse creates a space of inevitability, turning everything around. Ryman's curiosity leads to a question, probing Siwoo's response with subtle menace. Ryman's voice drips with contempt as she addresses Siwoo, her words sharp and unyielding. Ryman's voice slices through, cold and cutting. Siwoo stumbles, his fate hanging in the balance. This place will soon become nothing but ruins. And yet, you've managed to fulfill the conditions of the Chaos Gate. Your victory has brought me nothing but frustration. Created just for this. But it's the one skill I never could use for this. He addresses his viewers, hinting at a grand show to come. The skill Elwings of purification will soon unfold its brilliance. Necropolis remains silent, its ancient stones unyielding as EC causality hangs in the air. Nikodashi Usida. Necropolis' silence continues as followers count rapidly increases, showing the growing impact of Siwoo's livestream. The followers count surges, showing a massive influx of new viewers. Follower numbers spike, signaling a dramatic shift in viewership. Good evening, now at 11 p.m. The briefing will begin in second team. Official government statements are being issued, detailing the arrival of Siwoo at Chad's Gate. Evacuations have begun in earnest. Director questions if Siwoo's abilities have been measured, emphasizing uncertainty. Director questions if Siwoo's abilities have been measured, showing uncertainty. Riemann appears in the chat, her presence tense and urgent. Ryman's presence looms, her voice tense as she asks questions. Siwoo hesitates, his response uncertain. Riemann's gaze sharpens, her voice pressing. So, you plan to continue these questions? Ryman's tone hardens, her eyes narrowing. Siwoo stammers, clearly uneasy. Ryman's stern gaze pierces through Siwoo, making him squirm uncomfortably. Siwoo stammers, unsure of how to respond to her sudden seriousness. Ryman's voice is firm, leaving no room for doubt. Siwoo fidgets, his unease palpable. Riemann's order is clear, but Siwoo hesitates, his eyes wide with confusion and fear. Riemann's voice rings out, clear and commanding. Siwoo hesitates, his eyes wide with uncertainty. Siwoo stammers, clearly nervous. Ryman's mocking tone fills the air. Ryman's taunting continues, Siwoo stammers in response. The tension between them grows palpable. The causality congruence exam looms, its implications heavy. He doubts his abilities and the exam's fairness, yet understands the stakes. Siwoo's doubts linger as he contemplates the implications of Riemann's order. He acknowledges the potential benefits, but remains uncertain about his standing in this new world. Siwoo's eyes widen as he reads the message, his fingers hovering over the screen. The update on his faith points is both surprising and overwhelming. Siwoo's eyes narrow as he reads Ryman's message, his voice rising in frustration. He types quickly, clearly agitated. Ryman's voice booms, demanding Siwoo's attention. He types hastily, clearly agitated by her intrusion. Ryman's voice rings with mock encouragement. Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable. Siwoo fidgets, unsure how to respond to her flattery and command. Siwoo hesitates, glancing between Riemann and the status window appearing on his screen. Riemann looks expectant, waiting for Siwoo's response to her latest request. Siwoo scratches his head, clearly conflicted. Siwoo hesitates, clearly unsure about Ryman's latest request. He seems torn between his desperation for the money and his reluctance to comply. Siwoo contemplates, his expression wavering between desperation and reluctance. Riemann's request feels like a double-edged sword. Siwoo hesitates, his eyes narrowing as he processes Riemann's request. He wonders if accepting could bring both fortune and unforeseen challenges. Siwoo contemplates Riemann's request, his voice trailing off as he considers the implications. Siwoo's voice trails off, his mind racing with possibilities and concerns. The situation grows more complex. Siwoo hesitates, considering his options. Team leader Kim's warning lingers, tense and urgent. Skyward, Gate C-51 looms ahead. Siwoo and his team prepare hastily, arms reaching for their potions and armor. The signs of impending chaos are palpable. Riemann thanks Siwoo for his patience, her words echoing the magnitude of the donation. She speaks of newbies and orders, hinting at the sudden changes to come. Riemann thanks Siwoo, her tone formal yet sincere. She introduces him as an S-rank hunter, a title that surprises and impresses him. Riemann's voice carries a hint of urgency as she presses Siwoo, making sure he understands the challenge ahead. Riemann's tone tightens, her urgency palpable as she presses Siwoo further. Siwoo's expression remains resolute, but his eyes betray a flicker of doubt. Riemann's tone sharpens, pressing Siwoo for a response. Silence hangs between them, thick and pregnant with tension. Riemann's tone tightens, her gaze piercing. Siwoo stammers, searching for a response. Riemann's voice hardens, her tone leaving no room for argument. Siwoo fidgets, searching for words to justify his actions. Riemann's voice carries a dangerous edge, leaving Siwoo uneasy. He stammers, seeking any way to justify his actions. Siwoo hesitates, his voice trembling as he tries to find a way out. Riemann chuckles darkly, her words laced with malice. Siwoo's resolve wavers, uncertainty clear in his gaze. Choi Seojin gives a decisive nod. Everyone ready? Tension builds as voices confirm their positions. A chaotic gate flickers into existence, ready for Siwoo's arrival. He had nothing left, and the Academy knew it. Trolls are closing in, aiming for the Academy. Riemann's gate expands, threatening newbies. He seems loyal, but will he survive? Siwoo's expression shifts to alarm as the trolls rush in, their formation changing. Something's wrong. These don't look right. Kim So asks anxiously, "Is that Siwoo?" His tone conveys urgency. "I can't believe it. We were planning on this." Leo Ruman shouts, "Newbies, fall back," tension building as he commands. Riemann's voice booms, young age of 29, he is incredibly dedicated to the Order's doctrinal principles. The air grows tense as she continues, hinting at a hidden agenda. "Mine, why did you take this? It's perfect. Excite me." Tension builds as Riemann's followers close in, their determination palpable. The tension in the air intensifies as Riemann's followers close in, their expressions a mix of anticipation and determination. "I'm in a mess. This is bad." He's truly in a bind, with no way out. He's really in a bind with no way out. He grips the ground, determination burning in his eyes. He swears under his breath, vowing to become an S-rank hunter. Riemann, wholly present, seems taken aback by Siwoo's appearance. He stammers, offering a meek apology and a reluctant agreement to fight her, despite his misgivings. Riemann, taken aback, continues her flow of titles and positions, clearly expecting a different response from Siwoo. Riemann's grin is wide, her voice cheery as she speaks of favors and rest. She seems genuinely pleased with herself. Kim's voice lingers, unsure if he should rebuke Riemann or just let it go. Riemann shifts her gaze, waiting for Siwoo to react with a hint of amusement. The Archbishop's stern expression contrasts with Riemann's playful tone, hinting at underlying tension. Leo's presence is uneasy, his words a mix of urgency and command. Riemann grins mischievously, her tone playful despite the gravity. Riemann's grin suggests mischief, while Leo's tone hints at concern. Kim Siwoo is flustered and tries to block Riemann's advance. Riemann's grin widens, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Siwoo stammers, clearly unsure about his situation. Leo watches warily, tension palpable in the air. Riemann's laughter echoes, clearly enjoying the absurdity. Siwoo looks bewildered, seeking Leo's reaction for validation. Kiak. Silence descends as all eyes turn to Siwoo, awaiting his response. "So, how do your dreams taste?" Siwoo looks relieved, but Riemann's laughter suggests she's not finished yet. Riemann's laughter continues, suggesting she still holds some cards close to her chest. Siwoo remains wary but slightly relieved. Riemann's laughter echoes, signaling more secrets to come. Siwoo's wary smile suggests he's still on edge. Siwoo acknowledges Riemann, registering her as an awakened being. He seems cautious but willing to cooperate. Siwoo thanks Riemann for the feast, his tone indicating both gratitude and wariness. Riemann smiles warmly at Siwoo, her eyes twinkling with a mix of amusement and seriousness. Riemann's warm smile widens, her eyes glinting with amusement as she continues to praise Siwoo's cooking skills. Riemann's gaze shifts, her smile hinting at a deeper game. Siwoo stammers, eyes wide with both gratitude and confusion. Siwoo chuckles, his voice filled with a mix of relief and disbelief. Riemann's eyes remain fixed on him, her expression unreadable. Lehman speaks, her voice calm yet commanding. Leo, though quiet, seems apprehensive as he listens. Riemann's voice continues. "You have obtained a new holy relic through Leo." The message expands on her intentions, hinting at more revelations to come. Construction of a shrine is required to cement your position as Pope. Something is about to be revealed, drawing your attention. Okay, something significant is about to be revealed, drawing attention to Siwoo's new role within the Riemann order. Ms. Cien left with instructions for laundry, mentioning a booklet on how to use washing machines and dryers. He seems contemplative, perhaps considering how to manage his new butler Leo. Despite the seriousness of the situation, there's a hint of relief in his tone. Inwook approaches, his tone formal yet gentle. Siwoo acknowledges him, seeming to weigh his next words carefully. Inwook apologizes, explaining that he and his fellow brother were busy, making Siwoo's visit impossible to arrange earlier. Though this building is far from the Metup headquarters, it houses a surprising amount of content and meeting spaces. The goddess seems pleased to see Siwoo participate in dungeon conquest requests and guild consulting. Despite its 5-story height, it's nothing like he expected. Siwoo seems pleased, accepting a cup of coffee offered by someone. Riemann chats about expanding his palette on Earth, showing genuine interest. Oh, this man. Archbishop Leo Rumen sent by goddess Riemann to spread the word of God in Eden. Thank you for your assistance. Minsu thanks Riemann and introduces himself to Leo Rumen. He seems surprised but pleased by this meeting. Minsu's tone shifts, hinting at deeper implications behind his meeting with Leo Rumen. A necklace with Riemann's powers, claimed for the Order's shrine on Earth. Minsu emphasizes the importance of more than just money for their plan. No, what's on your mind? You came here in just 10 minutes. Did you approach the public already? Minsu, prepare within 10 minutes? Something important must be ready for the shrine project planning. Riemann's plan unfolds. Minsu prepare to act swiftly. The shrine project takes shape, a testament to Riemann's vision. Riemann's brother Minsu looks torn, his voice filled with emotion as he speaks of kindness and duty. Riemann speaks of a community vote, urging viewers to participate in deciding the location for her shrine. Riemann points to a blue wall, her tone filled with significance. Riemann points to a blue wall, her voice somber. This is ground zero. Riemann's finger points to the wall, her tone grave. This is ground zero. Riemann's finger points to a wall, her expression serious. This is ground zero. Riemann's finger points to a wall, her expression serious. This is ground zero. Siwoo looks at her, then back at the marked spot, his brow furrowed in concern. Siwoo's eyes widen, his mind racing with possibilities and doubts. Riemann smiles confidently, her gaze steady. Siwoo's voice trembles as he stammers out an apology, clearly embarrassed. Riemann smiles reassuringly, but maintains a confident stance. Siwoo fidgets, clearly uncomfortable with the backlash from viewers. Riemann watches intently, her smile never wavering. Siwoo reads the livestream chat, his expression growing increasingly agitated. Riemann watches, her smile still unchanging. Siwoo continues to read the chat, his expression turning more distressed. Riemann watches him silently, her smile unwavering. Mr. Kim suggests Siwoo join a team, but Siwoo firmly disagrees. Riemann's smile remains unchanged as she waits for his response. Siwoo's brow furrows as he processes the information about magic stones. Siwoo's eyes widen as he reads about the magic stone mine in Seoul. The information seems urgent, but he can't ignore it completely. Siwoo contemplates the grim situation, realizing he can't do much to control Ground Zero's chaos. He might end up in grave trouble if he doesn't heed this advice. Siwoo's mind races, trying to understand the implications of Riemann's strange request. He wonders how this could affect his life in Seoul. Team leader Kim, tall and imposing, nods in agreement with Riemann's suggestion. Siwoo wonders if this is a step towards his new fate. Riemann's suggestion is met with skepticism from Siwoo, who wonders if this is his new fate. Riemann smiles, clearly pleased with herself. Siwoo looks hesitant but curious. Riemann gestures towards Siwoo, a sly smile on her face. Siwoo looks torn but follows her lead, stepping through the door with hesitation. Caution looms as Siwoo steps through, sensing dark energy surrounding him. Team leader Kim has returned on time, his presence a testament to their successful mission. Team leader Kim insists on fulfilling his duties, despite opposition from within. Team leader Kim insists on fulfilling his duties, even in the face of opposition. There's talk of large-scale guilds fighting at Ground Zero. Team leader Kim seems puzzled by the sudden discussion of political shifts and guild cooperation. His disbelief is palpable as he listens intently. Old man Kim seems unconvinced, his expression a mix of disbelief and determination. Siwoo's assertion that he met Zero today carries little weight in the room. Siwoo stammers, clearly taken aback by Riemann's offer. She smiles, her tone laced with amusement. Riemann's offer hangs in the air, a mix of excitement and disbelief coloring Siwoo's face. Riemann's offer is clear, but Siwoo's resolve remains uncertain. Riemann's offer seems enticing, but Siwoo remains wary. He considers the implications of accepting her terms. Riemann's terms are clear, yet the future remains uncertain for Siwoo. The government's stance is weak, leaving little hope. Clear hostility towards you has been detected. Siwoo and Riemann pause, tension palpable between them. Siwoo and Riemann exchange wary glances, the air thick with unspoken questions and unresolved tension. Tensions simmer as Siwoo and Riemann stand facing each other, the aftermath of their verbal sparring evident in their postures. Goddess Riemann addresses Siwoo directly, her tone firm yet measured. The studio's calm is punctuated by her formal greeting and request for cooperation. Siwoo coughs, wheezing for breath. Riemann suggests moving aside for a conversation, her voice steady and insistent. Siwoo sighs, clearly unimpressed. Riemann's tone remains unwavering, hinting at underlying tension. Leo, do you have a better idea? Riemann's tone suggests she won't take no for an answer. Siwoo's eyes widen in shock, his mouth open in disbelief. Siwoo's face contorts in disbelief, his eyes wide as he listens to Leo's strange suggestion. Damn it, at once. Did he come to get them all? Assassin? Hoispill? He's visibly shaken, voice quivering with fear and disbelief. Did you fake your death? I can figure something out and hold him if I get that now, right? There. The figure emerges from the shadows, S rank looming ominously. The figure stands before Siwoo, its S rank status looming ominously. The accusation of numerous killings and evil deeds weighs heavily on him. Unfar steps forward, its S rank status clear and menacing. The accusation hangs heavy in the air, leaving Siwoo with nowhere to turn. Siwoo stammers, clearly distressed. Unfar's S rank status and accusation hang heavily in the air, leaving no room for denial. Siwoo's voice trembles as he protests, his plea weak and desperate. Siwoo's voice cracks as he reluctantly obeys, the screen displaying his stats with a cold, mechanical voice. The screen displays Siwoo's stats, updating with a cold, mechanical voice. Chaos looms as restrictions are lifted, preparing for the second synchronization. Siwoo's stats flicker and rearrange, each line of text a new challenge. The system's voice remains cold, its message clear yet ominous. Siwoo frowns, clearly puzzled by Riemann's words and the update process. His confusion is palpable as he stammers in response. Siwoo looks puzzled, his confusion evident as he processes Ryman's instructions about the mine and magic stones. Siwoo contemplates Ryman's instructions, his expression a mix of confusion and determination. He senses the pure divine stone, understanding its potential but unsure how to proceed. Siwoo feels a mix of confusion and resolve, his mind racing with Ryman's instructions. He senses the pure divine stone, its energy both powerful and unsettling. Siwoo's mind buzzes with curiosity and doubt. Ryman hints at an upcoming challenge involving white shadows, but he's not sure if he can face them alone. Ryman's token glows, casting a faint light around Siwoo. He looks uncertain, his brow furrowed in confusion and apprehension. Ryman's token blinks, casting a soft glow. Siwoo hesitates, looking unsure. Siwoo's fingers hover over the glowing token, the decision weighing heavily. Siwoo's declaration cements his commitment, sealing the fate of the land around him. Ryman's land is claimed, and Siwoo dedicates it solemnly. His decision is final. Ryman's token is declared, affirming her claim. The relic hums with power, sealing the decision. It's cleared. The energy pollution is much easier to breathe now with the declaration. Thanks to the holy artifact from demonic energy, the following system of dimension, Earth accepts dimension, Eden, as a miracle. Lehman looks around, her tone tinged with a mix of surprise and disapproval. This is such an unfortunate place. Ryman gazes at Earth, her tone wistful yet critical. These lands, they are quite the dreams that were buried. Ryman's smile is warm yet slightly strained as she speaks, her voice filled with nostalgia and a touch of mockery. Leo was quite the mad dog when he called you cute, Siwoo. Ryman's smile widens, a hint of mischief in her tone. Why did you take good care of Leo, Siwoo? He was quite the mad dog when he called you cute. Siwoo's expression shifts, a mix of uncertainty and resolve building as he contemplates Ryman's words. Siwoo hesitates, his voice barely audible as he agrees. Yes. Riemann watches closely, her expression warm but expectant. Siwoo's voice trembles slightly as he speaks of Eden, hoping to find solace and warmth in Riemann's words. Ryman's voice carries a mix of confidence and expectation as she inquires about Siwoo's thoughts, seeking his agreement with a growing sense of urgency. Ryman's eyes gleam with anticipation as she awaits Siwoo's response, her tone filled with both authority and hope. Ryman's gaze hardens, her voice resonating with finality as she addresses Siwoo. Riemann sighs, her tone softening slightly but still firm. Siwoo nods, absorbing her words with a mix of relief and apprehension. Riemann hands Siwoo a digital badge, her expression serious. You have completed your first task. Congratulations on completing your first task, Siwoo. The divine points have been updated. You're one step closer to solidifying your role in Eden. Riemann orders Siwoo to show everyone his new identity. He is nervous, but determined. Ryman's order echoes through the chat, met with a mix of reactions from viewers. Thanks, wave a carrot. Why are they telling him this, wave a carrot? Brother Minsu to everyone. Participation appreciated. And grass. In Seoul. To enter Ground Zero, yet this area is filled with flowers. Anyone can register through their local community center, causing it to be impossible for those who rely on the Seoul City app or management website or Department of Ability. Huh? It's going up. Aren't those the walls around Ground Zero? Huh? Is this really happening? Why are so many people eager to pass the Hunter Academy test? What is this place? Why am I here? Has everything truly changed, or am I just dreaming? To return, to where exactly? Where are you, Siwoo? Who summoned you here? This is more than a dream, isn't it? Even after kidnapping me, she never hates Riemann for it. Her benevolence and hope bring light, yet doubts linger among the viewers. Riemann watches with interest, amused by the chaos her donation has sparked among viewers. Riemann's message stirs wonder and disbelief among viewers. The land seems to reflect her beauty, awe-inspiring. Siwoo struggles to process his surroundings, eyes wide with amazement. Riemann's intentions are clear, but doubts linger among viewers. Riemann suggests consulting acquaintances who can guide him, hinting at hidden dangers nearby. Brother Min-soo, a holy relic mine lies within the sanctuary. Purchase a consecration house to access it and gather blessings. Brother Min-soo confirms a holy stone mine exists. Riemann is pleased, hoping to secure steady income. Kang Byung-soo introduces himself, hoping to make a favorable impression. Siwoo remains calm, prepared for the meeting's purpose. Kang Byung-soo hints at his intentions, pushing for an immediate response from Siwoo. Riemann's tone is sharp as she challenges Siwoo's word choice, clearly upset by his denial. Riemann's tone remains sharp, her displeasure evident in every word. Siwoo stands firm, knowing he has to defend his actions. Siwoo's tone is resolute, matching Riemann's sharp edge. The tension between them remains palpable. Riemann's tone sharpens, pressing her point. Siwoo's resolve falters slightly, but he stands firm. Riemann's laughter echoes, followed by Siwoo's incredulous reply. The air crackles with tension. Siwoo stammers, clearly overwhelmed. Riemann's triumphant laughter continues to fill the air. Siwoo stammers, his voice barely above a whisper. Riemann laughs, clearly delighted by his reaction. Riemann updates the screen with grim determination. The estimated time before the demon strike counts down. Followers skyrocket, a sign of growing chaos. Riemann updates the screen, her determination unshaken. The countdown ticks down relentlessly. News flashes about a mysterious entity called NCA, described as a zombie threat. Riemann's voice rings clear, demanding cooperation. Siwoo wonders if he should visit Mr. Leo, his workplace, instead. He seems hesitant but agrees, laughing it off lightly. Siwoo chuckles, shaking his head at Siayen's excited babbling about visiting Mr. Leo. Siayen seems eager but a bit too persistent, her voice rising with each sentence. Siayen's excitement builds, her voice growing more animated with each word she speaks. Siwoo listens patiently, a faint smile playing on his lips. Siyeon's enthusiasm seems to be pushing Siwoo for a response, but he remains quiet, puzzled by her sudden urgency. Riemann seems anxious, urging Siwoo to stay calm despite his obvious nervousness. She reassures him that he's prepared as much as possible. Riemann speaks urgently, her voice low and anxious. Siwoo tries to stay calm, but his nervousness is palpable. Riemann's urgency cuts through the air, her words a mix of command and desperation. Siwoo nods, his own anxiety growing with each syllable. Riemann's urgent words fill the air, leaving Siwoo with a heavy sense of impending duty. The Holy Relic option appears, a glimmer of both hope and responsibility. The system announces that restrictions from Earth have been lifted, signaling a new beginning for Siwoo. The system announces Earth players are preparing for significant changes. Riemann's message looms, demanding completion of 3 tasks. Siwoo contemplates Riemann's message, his expression a mix of confusion and determination. Siwoo reads through the text, his brow furrowed, trying to grasp its full meaning. Siwoo studies the text, his eyes narrowing as he tries to understand its implications. Siwoo contemplates the text, his expression growing more serious with each word. He wonders how this newfound divine recognition will affect his world. Riemann's message looms, hinting at an impending divine awakening and warning of shadowed threats. Siwoo's doubt and growing unease are palpable. Siwoo reads Riemann's message, his expression a mix of dread and determination. Riemann's concerned tone conveys a mix of relief and urgency. Siwoo must have faced significant challenges to finally materialize here. Riemann's concern is palpable, hinting at widespread chaos and unrest. The power of divinity and faith is a double-edged sword, with those possessing it potentially wielding immense strength. Riemann's explanation of divine powers highlights the complex interplay between faith and strength, hinting at the precarious balance in Eden. Riemann's explanation hints at the delicate balance of faith and divine power, suggesting that Earth's restrictions prevented such direct interactions in the past. Riemann's jest hints at the intricate rules governing divine interactions, leaving Siwoo to ponder Earth's stringent restrictions. Riemann's jest echoes, hinting at a divine contract yet to be fully understood by Siwoo. Riemann contemplates Siwoo's response, her tone playful yet insistent. Siwoo looks uncertain, his brow furrowed in confusion and doubt. Siwoo looks bewildered, Riemann's laughter echoing his confusion. He hesitates, unsure how to respond. Riemann's laughter continues, growing more mischievous with each passing moment. Siwoo remains silent, his expression a mix of confusion and unease. Riemann's laughter intensifies, drawing Siwoo's attention fully to her. The goddess leans in closer, her eyes glinting mischievously. Riemann's laughter echoes, drawing Siwoo closer. The situation grows increasingly surreal. Riemann's laughter grows louder, drawing Siwoo closer to the screen. His confusion deepens as he tries to make sense of her words and actions. Riemann's laughter echoes, drawing Siwoo closer to the screen. He appears bewildered, trying to piece together her words. Siwoo hesitates, clearly uncomfortable with Ryman's jesting tone. He glances around, as if seeking validation from unseen allies. Siwoo shifts uncomfortably, clearly unsure of how to respond to Ryman's teasing. Ryman teases Siwoo, suggesting he's improving but not entirely convinced. Orc tribes gather, discussing plans in hushed tones. Nocturnal creatures, they move with purpose and secrecy. Gathered orcs whisper among themselves, their faces tense and serious. Something unusual is unfolding here. All orcs, I suppose this overlord is called, the one born with the power to dominate, channeling their rage into a single outlet, a monster that exists to harness the unbridled fury of the orcs. Siwoo's voice trembles as he reads the report, his eyes wide with shock. 100,000 orcs? Siwoo's voice stutters. A valid option? He looks confused, barely hiding his disbelief. Siwoo's voice wavers. A valid option? He glances around, clearly taken aback. Mr. Siwoo, can you perhaps have a solution? The damage would be too great if we couldn't find one. Siwoo, what is the quickest way to end this conflict? Ryman presses, urgency clear in her voice. Ryman's tone sharpens, pressing Siwoo for a solution. The Great Tiger Guild on land, is that really necessary? Ryman's eyes narrow, her tone challenging. Hunters? I've heard they're the best. When did you last deploy them? Ryman's stern gaze challenges Siwoo, expecting a response. Will you really just sit there? Siwoo's eyes widen as he takes in his surroundings, clearly taken aback by the griffon beneath him. Ryman watches expectantly, her gaze unwavering. Ryman watches Siwoo closely, her expression expectant as he processes his new surroundings. Siwoo's eyes widen further, taking in the griffon beneath him. Due to the magic contamination, Brother Simyoung will be our cameraman. Brother Simeon seems uneasy, his hand shaking slightly as he types. The mention of riding 1,000 orcs is met with disbelief and concern. Brother Minsu seems troubled, his fingers tapping nervously on the keyboard. Sister Wondering, it appears, has joined the chat, her message curious and slightly unsettling. No way, this can't be happening. Location confirmed. Awakener Kim Siwoo marked for attack. The mall, it's possible? We avoided monsters just now, but not for long. Siwoo stares at his phone, disbelief evident in his expression. Ryman's voice, calm yet commanding, urges him to broadcast an aerial attack live. Siwoo contemplates Ryman's demand, his expression a mix of reluctance and determination. Siwoo's mind races, weighing the risks and rewards of Ryman's demand. He wonders if it's worth facing 7 demon rulers alone. Siwoo shakes his head, muttering to himself about Ryman's demand. He wonders if he can handle it alone. Siwoo mutters, clearly uncomfortable with Ryman's demand. He thinks about his options, but finds none easy. Siwoo contemplates Ryman's words, his expression a mix of determination and dread. Minister Kim reassures, but the team remains skeptical. Ryman's voice rings through the chaos, urging faith. Panic is palpable among the crowd. Can you all hear me? We've arrived at our destination. Above the helicopter operation area, a figure named Great Monarch is in sight. Pope, that big parachute is heading your way, Siwoo. Thank you for everything. The studio is in chaos, with panic spreading among viewers. Stu Diony struggles to maintain order, chaos visible in the background. Momentum builds as Siwoo struggles to regain his footing, the aftermath of some unseen impact evident in his posture. He winces, clearly in pain. The question lingers, hinting at a past he's trying to remember. Your thoughts bigger than I expected. Familiar, yet different. He had nothing left, and even his knees betrayed him. These past memories, are they a premonition of what's to come? Wrath is a demon's domain, yet you summon me to Earth? Defending against the demon kings is your chosen fate. She will kill him if he doesn't act fast. However, the destructive power of demonic energy has manifested before his eyes. Siwoo blocks Ryman's attack with surprising skill, his determination evident. Fate has begun, Siwoo. Our battles await in Eden. Human warriors have already crossed over. Are you ready to face the orc overlords? Brave from me? For life? Better prepare, Siwoo. This might just follow you everywhere. In my path, none shall stand in defiance. But today's concept demands more than mere words. Siwoo snorts, clearly unimpressed. His defiance is palpable. Siwoo reads the skill description, his expression darkening with growing apprehension. Siwoo's expression turns grim as he processes the skill description, his resolve hardening. Siwoo's determination hardens, signaling a grim resolve in his upcoming battle. Incredible strength. What kind of power is this? Crazy. So many ingredients, yet he's missing potatoes. Wow, what a predicament. He's missing potatoes, yet he lists ingredients with great enthusiasm. Something feels off in his logic. He seems conflicted, muttering about the sudden appearance of an irregular. Something isn't right with his logic here. He appears disoriented, staring at his screen as if expecting something more. Huh? What just happened? He looks bewildered, expecting more of the unexpected. He looks puzzled, eyes wide as he processes the revelation. That case, that's an attack, not the perfect one. It just wasn't cool. Min Soo-hyung, Sim Young-hyung, damn it. Kim Si-woo remains silent, his expression unreadable as he processes the news. The mention of him by name catches his attention briefly before he returns to the chaotic scene unfolding around him. Kim Si-woo looks shocked, his eyes wide as he processes the news about South Korea's danger. He seems desperate for information. Warning displayed on screen, causing Si-woo to stare in alarm as he reads about restricted holy energy use. Si-woo checks his screen, clearly distressed by the warning message. Si-woo's eyes widen, his mind racing with unease and confusion. This? The power felt like nothing Si-woo had ever experienced, vague yet undeniable. Everyone watching must have sensed it too. Goddess apology. Maybe my luck will be better in later years, Si-woo. Si-woo looks surprised, checking between his screen and Rieman's face. Si-woo glances between Riemann and his screen, clearly puzzled by the news flashing before him. Rieman's recent activities flash across the screen, catching Si-woo off guard. He can't shake the feeling that something big is about to happen. Si-woo's face twists in frustration. He mutters about potatoes, clearly irritated. In-wook smirks, taunting him. Si-woo grumbles about potatoes, clearly irritated by In-wook's taunts. In-wook smirks in response, enjoying Si-woo's frustration. Si-woo checks his screen, looking bemused and slightly annoyed by the hidden quest reward notification. Si-woo glances at his screen, confusion evident as he reads through unfamiliar terms and statuses. He checks the main quest goal, his expression growing more puzzled. Leo, the leader of a guild, greets Si-woo warmly, though his expression hints at unspoken tension. Riemann, posing as a viewer, watches from the background with a knowing smile. Riemann's smile suggests satisfaction as Si-woo expresses gratitude, though his relief is clear. Riemann nods, her tone firm as she addresses Si-woo's concerns. Leo adds a reassuring note, though his gaze remains distant. Riemann confirms Si-woo will teach diligently, promising additional believers will arrive soon to ease his burden. Si-woo doubts he can manage without overstepping bounds, while Riemann reassures him of his trustworthiness and capability. Si-woo contemplates, Riemann urges him to trust himself, hinting at greater challenges ahead. Riemann's voice cuts through, but Si-woo hesitates, his thoughts a mix of uncertainty and fear. Riemann's voice echoes, demanding action. Si-woo's gaze shifts nervously between the screen and the donation prompts. Riemann's voice demands action, Si-woo's fingers hovering over the donation prompt, contemplating his next move. Si-woo considers the gem, weighing its value, and the task at hand. Riemann watches expectantly, her tone demanding immediate action. Dude, you're seriously considering taking on this task? Riemann's eyes are glued to your every move, eager for a quick agreement. Riemann's gaze sharpens, her lips twitching as she waits for Si-woo's response. Riemann's voice carries a hint of amusement as she ponders Si-woo's lack of market savvy. Riemann contemplates Si-woo's situation, her voice dripping with amusement. Leo is in turmoil, unsure who can help. Riemann's amused tone continues. Si-woo looking bewildered as Leo struggles to find a solution. Riemann's tone remains light. Si-woo looks utterly confused. Riemann's smile remains, but Si-woo's confusion deepens. The countdown to his summoning ticks down relentlessly. Riemann's request for a paladin commander is urgent. Si-woo considers buying it quickly despite questions about prices. Riemann's request is urgent, but Si-woo questions the timing and price. The paladin commander position requires immediate attention despite the chaos. Si-woo expresses confusion, though he's clearly taken aback by Riemann's urgency. He questions why help was sent so late. Riemann's urgency is palpable, but Si-woo remains puzzled by her order. The mention of an emergency gate operation suggests a looming threat. Riemann's voice carries urgency, but Si-woo looks taken aback by her command. Goddess Riemann's urgent commands create a sense of impending chaos and urgency among Si-woo's viewers. Right? You guys are expecting an attack, right? My turn. Wait, why is Riemann winking at me? What's going on here? Luna waves and disappears, leaving confusion in her wake. Third Paladin Levinton looks torn, preparing to leave but questioning his orders. Falma Knight's commander is ready to act, though uncertainty clouds his stance. Luna and Levinton share a look of hesitation. Falma Knight's commander prepares to follow orders, but uncertainty lingers in his expression. Saint Luna holds her beloved mace with a determined expression, though she seems hesitant to break it. Si-woo wonders why she would suddenly ask him for a battle test. Goddess Riemann's praise of Saint Luna as both a combatant and an idol creates tension, hinting at internal conflict within the order. Levinton's exasperation grows as he tries to reason with someone, likely Riemann or another member of the order. He resents having to follow protocol in a situation that feels like an unnecessary fight. Why are you staring at me like that? Area. Make sure to enter the scene. Individuals may limit the press. Only permitted operations conducted in the area are currently being carried out. Gate guards shout, "Get away! Look at this." The truth is unfolding. Riemann Order followers are in battle with Daeho Guild. Top 10 impressions are buzzing. Ryman orders move to stop Luna is a surprise confession. A livestream battle is brewing. Kim Siwoo's appearance now could change everything. Grim-faced, Siwoo considers the divine barrier. Ryman's follower asserts their integrity, but doubts linger. Luna's presence seems to captivate him, despite his reservations. She can't believe how well Luna performed, even if it was just for a moment. His breath catches, eyes wide with disbelief. Leo's words carry a hint of disbelief. He seems torn between amusement and concern. Looks like he's testing Siwoo, but maybe Dame Leventon is just playing with him. Siwoo considers Ryman's suggestion, his expression a mix of doubt and hesitation. Siwoo's eyes widen in surprise, his mouth agape as he stutters in disbelief. Luna Leventon's excitement is palpable as she rushes to greet Siwoo, her words filled with warmth and familiarity. Ryman, goddess of Eden, has arrived to help Siwoo, but the timing seems off. Ryman expresses surprise and concern, her tone filled with urgency. She seems genuinely pleased to see Siwoo, but also puzzled by his tardiness. Ryman laughs, but her tone shifts to concern. Luna, why did you make me wait so long? This situation could have been avoided. Ryman's grin widens, her voice teasing yet serious. Life doesn't always go as planned, Siwoo. Ryman's tone is laced with a mix of amusement and firmness. Life doesn't always go as planned, Siwoo. Ryman's tone is sharp. That person or thing, even spoken Korean? She seems puzzled. Ryman's tone sharpens. Did you just call me your sister? Ryman's voice carries an edge. Did you just call me your sister? Siwoo stumbles, clearly taken aback. S? Siblings? B brother. Ryman's tone hardens. You think this is a joke? Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable. Siwoo's face shifts from surprise to determination, his eyes locking onto Luna Leventon with newfound resolve. Siwoo and Luna Leventon exchange a tense look, their conversation clearly unresolved. The video's sudden removal causes tension between Siwoo and Luna, their expressions betraying unspoken concerns. Reactions flood the comments section, with viewers eagerly discussing Luna's appearance and her possible origins. Siwoo chuckles, seemingly amused by something. However, he wonders if Earth is so far away that even a broadcast delay matters now. Siwoo chuckles, seemingly amused by something Ryman says. He wonders if even a broadcast delay matters now that he's in another world. Ryman chuckles, clearly pleased with something. Siwoo looks bemused, wondering if he should be more impressed. Ryman's words continue to puzzle Siwoo, who remains unsure about her intentions. He wonders if he should take them seriously or not. Ryman's eyes twinkle mischievously. Siwoo looks bewildered, unsure if he should laugh or worry. Ryman's playful tone hints at more to come, leaving Siwoo uncertain about her intentions. Siwoo's smile wavers, uncertain of Ryman's true intentions. Siwoo's smile falters, his gaze shifting uncertainly towards Ryman. Ryman raises an eyebrow, her expression playful yet unyielding. Siwoo shifts uncomfortably, his eyes darting between Ryman and a group of younger brothers nearby. Ryman's gaze remains steady, her tone playful yet unyielding as she watches the scene unfold. Sure, here is the narration for the current panel. Leo's mouth hangs open, clearly speechless. His uncle, apparently present, remains silent, staring at him. Ryman's voice commands obedience, her tone leaving no room for negotiation. Siwoo stands frozen, realization dawning. Ryman's voice echoes, commanding obedience. Siwoo reacts with shock and fear, his body trembling as he turns to run. Sir, no, sir, this thing, if this monster… Sir, you alone can bring order. Once you're safe, request help from Pope Kim Siwoo. Pope Kim would have been terrified, yet he remained calm, responding with holy energy. Pope Kim Siwoo's calm voice commands attention, his next words to come. The arrival of holy energy marks a significant shift, though its full implications remain unclear for now. Pope Kim Siwoo's voice commands, setting a serious tone. Holy energy begins to manifest, hinting at its potential power. Of course, that child, our order trains combat support. He has been on Earth for a long time. How are you supposed to teach healing without prior experience? Xiangwu, the Chosen One, has joined our order with pure faith. It seems he was unaware of his destiny until now. Your Holiness would, false promises like others, beg to meet you with fish, teaching him how to, rather than provide a hungry man with nothing at all. However, holy energy will guide you. We will teach you proper methods in utilizing and developing it. He hesitates, his expression a mix of disbelief and determination. A miracle, he repeats, as if testing the words themselves. Siwoo stammers, clearly flustered by the sudden turn of events. Pope Kim approaches urgently, offering to help. He stammers, clearly shaken. LL Leader Zero, please help. Zero's voice is firm, leaving no room for doubt. Daejeon Ground Zero is cleansed. Busan's outbreak gate has appeared, despite its dangerous and mana-polluted location. Its significance compared to Seoul cannot be understated. Daewon Gobi at the gates, it would have cost a fortune to explore dimensions as a reward for handling the outbreak in Busan. Ryman's voice lingers, her words a mix of authority and urgency. Siwoo listens, his expression thoughtful but wary. Ryman's voice still echoes, her message urgent. Siwoo listens, his expression tense and curious. Ryman's laughter echoes, mingling with Siwoo's confusion. Everyone seems amused by Luna's fashion choices. Siwoo looks around, puzzled by Luna's exclamation. The gate entrance seems familiar yet slightly off. Ryman's amused tone suggests this isn't the first time someone has made such a remark. Ryman's laughter suggests she enjoys this moment, while Siwoo looks around, clearly confused by the situation. Goes Berserk Chaos Dungeon ahead of us. Rewards await, but it looks like a long night. Do you accept? You have entered and accepted. It's better for me if they're going to give me points. It's a different dimension, not Eden. This feels interesting, different from Earth, more devastating than I expected. Choi, can this be a dungeon? It might explain the chaotic holy energy sensed here, but it's hard to pinpoint exactly where. Choi wonders if this place could be a dungeon, given the chaotic energy, but the exact location remains elusive. Choi wonders aloud, the air thick with unanswered questions. A name? Something? Ghosts here? Your Holiness, a dimensional god, why are there life signs in this pseudo-space? Ryman's voice trembles with disbelief. Siwoo stutters, clearly taken aback by her outburst. Ryman's voice quivers, urgency lacing her tone. Siwoo fidgets, clearly disturbed by her words. Ryman's voice trembles, her eyes intense. Siwoo hesitates, a mix of fear and confusion crossing his face. Ryman's tone is urgent, her gaze intense. Siwoo considers her words, his expression growing more conflicted. Siwoo contemplates Ryman's words, his eyes flickering with uncertainty and resolve. Ryman's words hang in the air, hinting at a failed attempt, an unresolved mystery. 7 years have passed since then, yet their purpose remains unclear to Siwoo. Ryman's tone carries an edge of frustration as she criticizes Siwoo for his quick judgments, hinting at deeper complexities in Eden's mysteries. Ryman's frustration is clear, critiquing Siwoo for his hasty judgments without revealing their full implications. She questions Siwoo's judgment, the temple ruins silent witnesses. Kaya, the room trembles with her outburst, echoing off the temple walls. She dismisses further objections, leaving Siwoo to ponder his fate. Luna hesitates, then reluctantly agrees to assist in battle. Her reluctance is palpable. Seo-jin questions Ryman's plan, trying to understand her motives. Something is amiss here, Holiness. This crater shows no signs of Leader Choi's involvement. What battle could have caused such a massive impact? But this crater, so large, yet no signs of Leader Choi's mana. Here, huh? The battle was intense, leaving a massive impact. And, I'll help from here. We'll stand together, not go alone. Normal hunters who enter this area will get brainwashed. Better stay alert. Inside the gate, a passive skill activates. The subspace barrier neutralizes the sacred energy surrounding them. Don't worry, I'll figure things out and bring back more helpful advice for you. Phenomenon. Your holy energy is resisting the distortion. Keep it strong. Pope Kim is nowhere to be seen, yet he's still alive. How long will it take for him to respond? Ryman's voice carries a mix of relief and admiration. Siwoo's smile seems forced, but he remains alive. Ryman's voice lingers, still filled with a mix of relief and admiration. Siwoo's forced smile hints at underlying tension, as if he's unsure about his next move. Check. He has a mentality like mine. Leo well. Everyone should be treated with caution even if they seem perfect. Leaving dead bodies behind is not an option. He said, do you know facing them will cost a pretty penny? His voice carries a hint of seriousness, yet there's an underlying note of resignation. Too far. If you go that way, it'll be too late for my entire life. Seo-jin pleads, unsure of Siwoo's response, his voice trembling with desperation. Grim determination sets Siwoo's face as he contemplates Ryman's offer. The mention of sanctity hints at a dark and sacred responsibility. Seo-jin's name, whispered in the background, adds urgency to his decision. The temple trembles as a monstrous form materializes, its presence both terrifying and undeniable. Obedience is demanded, leaving no room for resistance or hesitation. The demand grows, leaving no doubt of obedience's necessity. She demands unwavering service, declaring her supremacy in a tone of unyielding authority. He curses loudly, clearly agitated by Ryman's demands. His frustration is palpable. True God, he repeats, clearly taken aback by the accusation. You dare? Into trusting brainwashed people? You spouting you? A god's power and prestige still define them. Even forgotten, their goal remains unchanged. Turn believers into heretics for the greater glory of faith. Pope Choi's resolve wavers, yet he clings to his duty. Just yet, he vows grimly. Pope Choi's resolve hardens, his decision set in stone despite the looming threat. Grim determination etches his features as he commands the entity to leave, knowing full well the challenge ahead. Kim hesitates, then steps back, allowing Pope to regain his composure. She examines the artifact, whispering, "More, just a little more." She contemplates the artifact, her voice barely above a whisper, the desperate hopes of people as a stone storing the birth of a certain god. There's hesitation, then a determined nod as if clearing an internal doubt. No need to worry, the system has already been reset by the destruction of the faith site. You have obtained points for completing quests in other dimensions. Ryman's order window has been updated, allowing you to trade in artifacts. Wake up, you brats. The tone is sharp and commanding. Grim Reaper symbols pulse in the air, hinting at impending changes. Please allow us to bring happiness to you, Siwu. Siwu's fate is sealed as he prepares to enter Eden, the goddess's realm. The order is clear. Little girl needs 5 points to confirm the Ryman order. Absorbing the Stone of Birth grants 1 point. Prayers will unlock more artifacts. Siwu and Riemann look surprised, their expressions a mix of confusion and uncertainty. Ryman's expression shifts from confusion to concern as she notices Siwu's distress. Leader, get up. Everyone, move quickly and check for any injuries. Hurry up. Are you okay after all that? You seemed pretty excited. Of course, fallen god? You're not that weak. Hurry and escape. Take care of that wound in the following dungeon. The fact that dreams of people can be manipulated is disturbing. This used to be a holy site filled with the hopes and prayers of many. This is a cruel end. He seems more interested in drinks than duties. He raises a bottle of vodka, laughing maniacally. Thanks to you, such exemplary citizenship. Choi exclaims, close to the battlefield? You, Leader Choi, dying? He staggers slightly, holding a bottle of sake. Choi swallows a mouthful of sake, eyes wild with memories. Ms. Luna laughs, clearly enjoying the moment. Leo and Leader Choi clink their cups together in a toast. Everyone seems to be having a good time. The screen fills with text, declaring an age of order and humanity's favor. Everyone seems excited by the news. The text screen reveals rewards and conditions for Siwu's new quest, emphasizing absorption of power from another dimension. Rewards and conditions flash on screen, hinting at a new quest's complexity. The text emphasizes growth through absorbing power from another dimension. Soon, early, among them, there are bound to be gods who can cause harm to mortals. That must be a sign that deities would begin crossing over into our dimension. Get ready for countless challenges. Ryman's voice lingers, though she isn't here. Siwu remains unsure about the gods and demons crossing over. He wonders if this will be enough to protect his world. You should take a look from the White Brilliance Order. Sir, how can you dare to retaliate against us without warning? If you try anything, we'll take you to the White Brilliance Order's dungeon area. Sir, how can you dare to retaliate against us without warning? If you try anything, we'll take you to the White Brilliance Order's dungeon area. Shim Jingyu, a vicar, demands that they put an end to their hostilities. He explains they are there to prevent a disaster and asks for cooperation. Po Kim, you shouldn't come here with such insolence. Watch your tongue, heretic. His presence isn't just any leader. Luna's voice carries a hint of urgency as she speaks, her words directed towards Po Kim. The situation is tense with no signs of immediate resolution. A strange god ordered us to come here. People still lost? It seems like you have foresight, Choi Seojin. Strange gods don't come to Earth without reason. But here, they are a concern. Outbreaks. If it weren't for Riemann's order, skilled holy energy users would have vanished. Choi and the Goblin Guild troops came just in time to prevent an unimaginable end. You may not know this, but a god from Taz invited guests here. You get nothing, you trespassers. How could you think we wouldn't confirm the abyss? Hurry up and clear the dungeon, or face our wrath. Pope, this isn't the right time to talk. Looks like Archdiocese is taking our leave. Pardon? In common? As fellow, do you plan to align with the Archdiocese? Archdiocese would like to meet you as soon as possible. Reporter Yu Hamin's laughter echoes through the room, drawing attention to the unfolding drama. The date of the article is clear, November 23, 20XX at 6003 a.m. Reporter Yu Hamin chuckles, her laughter mingling with the tension in the air. The date and time of the article flash before their eyes, emphasizing the urgency. Siwu and the reporter exchange bewildered glances, clearly caught off guard by the sudden shift in conversation. Haha, well, Ryman suggests an alliance with the Goblin Guild. Siwu seems taken aback by the sudden proposition. Siwu stammers, trying to process the sudden proposition. Siwu stammers, clearly flustered by the sudden turn of conversation. Riemann leans in, her expression unreadable. Siwu's face contorts, clearly struggling to keep up with Riemann's rapid-fire questions. Riemann presses on, leaving Siwu no time to respond. Ryman's tone remains stern, leaving no room for argument. Siwu senses the gravity of the situation but struggles to respond. Ryman's gaze is unwavering, her tone leaving no doubt about Siwu's impending duty. He stammers, struggling to find words as the gravity of his situation sinks in. Riemann's eyes narrowed, her tone firm. Siwu fidgeted, unsure how to respond. Riemann's expression hardens, her voice leaving no room for doubt. Siwu shifts uncomfortably, sensing the gravity of the situation. Ryman's tone is firm, leaving no doubt about her intentions. Siwoo shifts uneasily, sensing the gravity of his new role. Ryman's declaration sparks a heated debate among the assembled clergy and followers. Leader Choi questions Ryman's authority, while Dame Levinton stands resolute beside her. Leader Choi raises an eyebrow at Ryman, clearly skeptical. Dame Levinton nods in agreement, her expression stern. Ryman laughs maniacally, her eyes gleaming with malice. Leader Choi frowns, clearly unimpressed by Ryman's enthusiasm. Ryman's suggestion sparks debate among the leaders, but none seem fully convinced. However, they have their reasons. Their actions aren't without purpose. What evidence do you have of their wrongdoings? They left like nothing happened, but we can't be sure what would have transpired if… Although the order seems simple, what if they became gods from another dimension? The god of the White Brilliance Order could be related to a hostile organization. Siwoo stammers, clearly embarrassed. Ryman's representative looks concerned but maintains order. Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable with the situation. His representative looks concerned but tries to keep things on track. Siwoo agrees, though hesitantly. The representative remains cautious, ensuring clear communication. Siwoo hesitates, glancing at Min-soo and then back to the group. Ryman watches him closely, her expression unreadable. Siwoo takes the bracelets, eyeing them curiously. Ryman smiles, encouraging him to try. Siwoo examines the bracelets, his curiosity piqued by their mysterious origin. Ryman's smile remains encouraging, hinting at more to come. Siwoo's eyes widen as he looks at the bracelets, clearly surprised by their value and potential use. Ryman's smile grows wider, hinting at a significant plan unfolding. Siwoo's gaze shifts from the bracelets to Ryman, his expression a mix of surprise and interest. Ryman smirks, clearly delighted by Siwoo's reaction. Siwoo rubs his eyes, still processing Ryman's offer. Ryman grins, clearly enjoying his reaction. Ryman's offer sounds too good to be true, but Siwoo is desperate for the funds. He questions if he can afford such a large investment. Siwoo ponders Ryman's offer, his mind racing with the thought of the funds. He questions whether he can afford such a high investment. Siwoo's eyes widen at Ryman's proposal, his mind reeling with possibilities and doubts. Ryman's offer seems too good to be true, yet Siwoo finds himself nodding in agreement. Siwoo nods, his expression hesitant but resigned. Ryman's offer of 1 billion won seems almost too good to be true. Ryman's official channel suggests an alliance, but Siwoo remains cautious. Brother Siwoo, still cautious, acknowledges the guild's performance. Luna's debut has greatly boosted online traffic and viewership. Brother Siwoo considers his next move, eyes fixed on Luna's performance. Ryman's channel gains momentum, but the challenge remains. Ryman suggests scheduling a livestream to boost interest, emphasizing the need for momentum. Ryman suggests a livestream, but doubts its effectiveness. The ability department seems wary. The ability department's response is tense and wary. Ryman's voice rings clear, commanding, and authoritative. Siwoo hesitates, then nods reluctantly. Ryman's voice commands, "You will possess." Siwoo nods reluctantly, knowing what's coming. Kim Siwoo, don't you think we should start making a brilliance order if the White Brilliance has approached? The situation seems tense. Min-soo, often, is that causality? Did they know? Is this a show? This happening? Is it real? Has the ability department ever been attacked before? If this isn't just a coincidence, is it a prank we accidentally live-streamed? Sure. Here's the narration for the current panel. Min-soo, are you okay? Looks like we're in for a shocker. Min-soo, are you okay? Looks like we're in for a shocker. Team leader Kim's voice rings with urgency. Siwoo looks taken aback, his expression a mix of confusion and concern. Min-soo's words carry an undercurrent of unease. It seems a high-ranking monster, known for devastating raids with blue flames, is on the move. Siwoo listens intently, his expression growing more serious. Your Highness, I sense mana fluctuating nearby. It's faint, but a strong villain is in the area. Might be best to proceed with caution. Leo hesitates, glancing around cautiously. A faint hum of mana echoes in the air, adding to the unease. Min-soo hesitates, his voice barely above a whisper as he speaks to Leo. The air hums with an unseen force. Siwoo chuckles, clearly thinking about returning to his stream. Ryman hums in agreement, her tone suggesting she's equally eager. Ryman sighs, clearly uninterested in Siwoo's desire to return to his stream. Ryman's voice carries a hint of weariness as she speaks, her tone dismissive yet firm. Siwoo looks lost and desperate, his eyes darting between Ryman and the task ahead. Siwoo fidgets, his gaze shifting nervously between Ryman and the daunting task before him. Dongshik? Is that someone interesting happening because of you, old man? He asks, trying to lighten the mood, but failing. Kangchae. Must be part of Special S-rank hunters, Siwoo thinks, his voice wavering slightly. Isn't she the center of it all? He questions, tension building in his tone. He's taken aback by her bluntness, realizing she's no ordinary government worker. Sorry, he stammers, his voice barely above a whisper. She bursts out laughing, her laughter echoing in the room. D.I., D.I., she yells, clearly not joking. The heat of her rage is palpable. Siwoo looks bewildered, clearly not expecting this turn of events. He stammers, trying to understand what's happening. Siwoo's bewildered expression shows he's struggling to process the sudden turn of events. He stammers, clearly unsure about what to do next. Siwoo hesitates, his voice trembling as he says, "His Holiness better?" He looks around, clearly unsure about the situation. Siwoo's voice wavers as he asks, "Dame Levington?" He looks toward Leo seeking confirmation. Siwoo's voice trembles as he questions, "Dame Levington?" He glances at Leo, seeking validation. Siwoo's voice shakes as he exclaims, "Dame Levington?" His eyes widen in disbelief. People scream as flames engulf them, a sight both horrifying and mesmerizing. Siwoo's voice trembles as he questions, "That's a scream?" His expression is one of both shock and disappointment. His prospects dim as he contemplates the aftermath. Huh? What's going on? How did this happen? The message is garbled, adding to the confusion. Siwoo's situation grows increasingly dire, the aftermath of his bewildered reactions now visible. Child's disappointed tone lingers in the air, hanging heavy with unspoken expectations. Knight's words carry a hint of disdain, challenging Siwoo's methods directly. His tone suggests this isn't the first time such advice has been ignored. Well, holy energy and mana don't really mix, huh? She loves it, but she wants him to do it even more. This is a critical moment. Lee Sehe, an S-rank hunter, would have taken out the demons more easily with proper abilities. Down, but not defeated. The burly man in the clergy robe continues to chase after them, unable to slow the demons despite his efforts. The burly man in the clergy robe is relentless, his determination unyielding as he chases the demons. Management personnel, only authorized to investigate, struggle to contain them on the 38th floor. Leader. You fucking arrived, team. What the hell are you idiots doing? Had the vessel? You should have prepared on the roof. Escaped if you already had the portal we were supposed to use. Process, she continues. 2 of our own were freed. Explosive Girl asks, how are we supposed to return? Team leader confirms, he is the vessel himself. Yes. 3 of you will buy me 3 minutes. Hurry. Ryman's plan unfolds. A deadly circle forms on the roof. Lee Sehe and their team prepare for the inevitable explosion. Ryman's plan moves forward, Lee Sehe and their team ready for the explosion. Siwoo must be bait to escape safely. Siwoo looks at Kim, then back to Ryman with a confused expression. His tone suggests he's not buying her mockingly sweet words. Siwoo glances at Ryman, then back to Kim, his expression a mix of confusion and skepticism. Ryman's words create an unsettling tension, leaving Siwoo and Kim both wary and confused. But might not have been so lucky had the terrorist attack happened while he managed to escape with someone dangerous like him being held in the ability department. The mention of someone dangerous being held in the ability department hints at escalating tension and potential betrayal. Ryman's voice echoes, of the Demon King. The concept of vessels is introduced, hinting at a darker path ahead. Ryman's voice continues, one such vessel, cannibalism. The concept of transformation looms darkly, hinting at a grim destiny for Siwoo. Ryman's voice trails off, pondering Siwoo's potential. Is it just like a meal? She muses aloud. Because you is pretty good. A demon approaches, its form shifting and growing more menacing. The official reads player part Suhos. Crime with a stern face, his eyes narrowing as he processes the severity. Sentence will be harsh, but justice must prevail. The official's gaze is intense, his expression grim as he continues to read. But you ran away when you had the chance. You should have had more sense, little boy. Yeah, like it. That's more like it. You're smarter than I thought. He's surprised by his own usefulness, a hint of irony in his tone. Goddess Ryman's words carry weight, challenging Siwoo to understand the immense power difference. Of mana, on top of is massive. Holy energy is the antithesis on my holy barrier. Those fragile claws of yours will never be that, the difference in power between us unable to leave a scratch. She pauses, her tone serious. That? How's that for a lesson? What? She challenges, her tone sharp and unyielding. Satan's vessel questions his presence in Eden, demanding to know why he is here and not learning from past defeats. Skill SAC Creed Fire has been increasing, your passive holy energy levels. Siwoo's determination is palpable as he prepares for his uncertain fate. The mana is dissipating, signaling a looming confrontation. Your holiness, of evil, all those who oppose will eventually face their own undoing. It will be their downfall. Goddess Ryman speaks of Leo, hinting at his role in stopping dark magic. The mention of a demon king suggests impending conflict. Leo, of course. King in Eden? Do you remember the demon king of wrath, Satan? Holiness, who is this person? How could I ever forget the battle we had with the demon king? This is your way to attack this world, Holiness. The demon king has reincarnated. Goddess Ryman continues her ominous briefing, hinting at a dire threat from multiple demonic forces. Goddess Ryman pauses, her gaze intense. Siwoo questions her strategy, puzzled by the numbers involved. Siwoo questions Ryman's strategy, puzzled by the numbers involved. Ryman responds with a hint of irritation, emphasizing the urgency. Luna seems uncertain, perhaps sensing Siwoo's confusion. Ryman's tone suggests she expects immediate answers. Luna returns, seemingly elated but uncertain about Siwoo's reaction. Ryman's tone hints at unspoken expectations and urgent matters at hand. Team leader Kim seems concerned, but Siwoo assures her everything is fine. Luna appears relieved and curious about Siwoo's response to the current situation. Ryman expresses relief and gratitude, assuring Siwoo that his belief is appreciated. She mentions it was a close call but thanks him nonetheless. Ryman laughs, clearly pleased yet wary as she addresses Siwoo's apparent mockery of her belief. Siwoo smirks back, his tone dripping with sarcasm. Everyone listens intently, the tension palpable. Ryman's grin widens, her tone challenging. Siwoo smirks in return, his eyes narrowing. The crowd listens intently, the air thick with tension. You say? Those who call themselves e-cleansers, a nice name for criminals like? Ryman laughs maniacally, her gaze flickering to Siwoo. Luna, I haven't seen you in years. Ryman's laughter echoes, her eyes narrowing. Abilities? Position? But who? She muses, a sinister tone in her voice. All of them. Ryman's voice grows more sinister. They're purifiers? Yes, we were awakened to be better. Oh, so that's why you're called EOU? Ryman's tone darkens. None of you were aware. The prisoner department already knew. On top of that, Park Suho is named after team leader Kim. Ryman's tone hardens. None of you were aware. The prisoner department already knew. Ryman's voice holds no room for argument. Fine. Is that a battle you're proposing? Her tone is sharp and unyielding. Ryman's gaze is unwavering, leaving Siwoo no room to back down. Fine, she asks, her tone demanding an immediate response. Siwoo's eyes meet Ryman's, a mix of surprise and unease clear in his gaze. Fine, she repeats, her voice leaving no room for argument. Siwoo's eyes widen slightly as he tries to process Ryman's request, his expression a mix of confusion and unease. To ask of you, she continues, her tone leaving no doubt about the gravity of the situation. Ryman's tone is firm, leaving no room for doubt. Siwoo hesitates, his expression reflecting both fear and determination. Of course, he replies, but let's put it abroad. Ryman's command is clear, leaving Siwoo no choice but to agree. He nods, though his eyes betray a mix of fear and resolve. Siwoo nods, though his gaze is filled with a mix of fear and resolve as he speaks. He turns to team leader Kim and relays Ryman's order with urgency. Ryman's order circulates, drawing a mix of curious and skeptical comments from viewers. Some mock the folded paper imagery, while others express interest in potential updates. Ryman's order continues to stir debate among viewers, with some questioning its legitimacy and others speculating on its implications. Ryman remains silent, lost in thought. Siwoo wonders if she heard him or if the task is too overwhelming. Siwoo's plea goes unanswered as Ryman remains silent, lost in thought. Siwoo looks around, confused by Ryman's silence. He wonders if she heard his plea for information. Where are they? Siwoo wonders, his voice trailing off as he looks to Ryman for answers. Within the U-3008 PRI Fire's U-3009 group, there's talk of superhuman-like abilities, suggesting something more than human. Siwoo hesitates, looking around for Ryman's response. The others discuss crossing borders cautiously, hinting at hidden dangers. Siwoo looks around, unsure about crossing borders. Ryman sighs, hinting at potential conflicts. The others discuss carefully, wary of hidden dangers. Lee Se-hei will be awakened, then handed over to the management. Siwoo is instructed to stay alert, this isn't over yet. Lee Se-hei's eyes widen in shock and fear. Siwoo struggles to maintain his composure, realizing the gravity of the situation. Lee Se-hei's expression betrays her terror as Siwoo stammers, trying to maintain his composure. Lee Se-hei's voice trembles as she questions Siwoo, hinting at her growing fear and despair. Lee Se-hei's voice trembles, her plea cut short by coughing fits. She loses system rights, yet still tries to reason with Siwoo. Ryman's voice persists, though weakened by Siwoo's coughing. Her plea for understanding falls on deaf ears as he struggles to maintain composure. Ryman's voice grows weaker, her desperation evident in each cough. Siwoo struggles to maintain his composure, the strain clear on his face. Ryman seems agitated, her voice urgent as she speaks about items and abilities needed for the upcoming battle. Siwoo appears conflicted, his determination wavering slightly. Ryman's voice cuts through the air, urgent and commanding. Siwoo looks visibly conflicted, his determination wavering. Siwoo clenches his fists, clearly torn between defiance and submission. Ryman's challenge hangs in the air, leaving him to ponder the random selection process. Ryman's challenge is clear, but Siwoo remains uncertain about his next move. Ryman's request is clear, yet Siwoo hesitates, hoping for a normal resolution. We've been summoned. Holy Artifact Branch of Beginning has... He curses under his breath, shaking a toothpick-styled stick. Screwed up big time, he mutters, clearly frustrated. Ryman's voice echoes through Siwoo's room, surprising him greatly. He stammers, clearly taken aback by her appearance and demands. Ryman's voice rings clear, her promise heavy with weight. This sacred tree, once a symbol of peace, now holds untold history. The sacred tree, once a symbol of peace, now stands as a testament to tragedy. Ryman's promise, once a symbol of hope, now lies in ruin. The sacred branch, stolen and lost, may yet bring salvation to Eden. If the branch is planted, it will grow with holy energy. They discuss planting the branch, wondering where to start. Siwoo and Riemann discuss where to plant the branch, the urgency palpable in their conversation. Siwoo examines the small sacred sapling, clearly unsure about its presence. Riemann watches him closely, her expression a mix of anticipation and concern. Siwoo's eyes widen as he sees a small, fluffy cat sitting beside the sapling. Riemann watches, her expression hopeful but tinged with worry. Siwoo examines the small, fluffy cat, his expression a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Riemann watches, hope shining in her eyes but worry lurking just beneath the surface. Siwoo strokes the cat gently, his expression torn between amusement and concern. Riemann watches, her hope palpable yet tinged with anxiety. Riemann's expression shifts, a mix of hope and worry evident. Siwoo hesitates, clearly unsure about taking the cat home. Riemann's eyes shine with determination, her voice firm as she speaks to Siwoo. Siwoo looks conflicted, his expression a mix of worry and hesitance. Siwoo answers his phone, his expression growing more panicked with each second. Riemann watches intently, her own worry clear in her stance. Siwoo's voice trembles as he responds, confusion and dread evident in his tone. Riemann watches him closely, her expression a mix of concern and command. Siwoo stammers, his voice wavering. Riemann watches intently, her expression unreadable. Riemann's gaze hardens, her tone stern as she continues. 3 years ago, Aiden Howard appeared on Earth. Irregular reader. Siwoo stammers, voice trembling. Siwoo stammers, irregular reader, as Riemann's tone remains stern. He looks around nervously at the mention of Aiden Howard and the barbarians. Siwoo hesitates, his eyes darting around nervously. Riemann laughs and says, "If you can't handle it, Yusionho will do." Siwoo considers his options, a mix of desperation and fear in his eyes. Riemann smiles, her voice confident as she says, "If you can't handle it, Yusionho will do." Siwoo hesitates, his gaze shifting towards the incoming requests for aid. Riemann watches him closely, her smile unwavering. Siwoo stammers, clearly unsettled by something Riemann says. Riemann's smile remains unchanged, maintaining a calm demeanor. Siwoo stammers, clearly at a loss. Riemann's smile stays steady, but her eyes glint with something uncanny. Siwoo stammers, clearly at a loss. Riemann's smile remains steady but holds an uncanny edge. Siwoo looks confused, while Riemann's calm demeanor hints at a hidden agenda. Siwoo contemplates accepting a donation, while Riemann remains silent, her expression unreadable. Siwoo hesitates, contemplating his next move. Riemann watches him intently, her eyes piercing through his doubts. Huh? Perfect weather for a return flight. Is someone here to pick me up? Something going on? Siwoo blinks, bewildered by Riemann's sudden appearance and strange request. Oh? No you, Seo Shinwoo. Nice to meet you, Kim Siwoo. You awakened one of our nation's secrets. My name is SEO Riemann. It'd be funny if the South Korean president were here, or rather, security detail team leader Kim. Seo Shinwoo, you are one of our nation's secrets? This meeting is unexpected. Siwoo frowns, clearly uncomfortable with the situation. Riemann smirks, clearly enjoying his unease. Riemann's smirk widens. Siwoo looks increasingly uncomfortable, his eyes darting nervously. Siwoo's voice trembles as he questions the order, his unease growing clearer with each word. Why would we send an irregular to win against him? Mr. Kim Siwoo, you're making a deal with our nation. That's because religion and politics have always gone hand in hand. Riemann continues. This relationship I want has no such power. Siwoo remains silent, sensing the tension build. Riemann's voice carries on. Though that also means you can take your time to come. Siwoo's expression remains serious, weighing her words carefully. Riemann's voice trails off, leaving Siwoo to ponder her request. The weather outside contrasts with the tense atmosphere in the studio. Grandma's name and travel history are revealed, hinting at a tumultuous past. Siwoo looks confused, then excited as he processes the information. Siwoo's eyes widen as he comprehends the significance of his grandmother's return. Siwoo chuckles, clearly surprised and amused by his grandmother's sudden appearance. Siwoo's eyes widen as he sees his grandmother, now in another dimension, appear before him. She gives a playful laugh, clearly enjoying this turn of events. Siwoo's grandmother, appearing from another dimension, teases him with a laugh. She comments on his growth and suggests he should be more grateful for her care. So, how has your visit to another dimension been? You arrived, so it seems your journey has led you here. Siwoo's grandmother seems relieved but still wary, her words laden with unspoken expectations. You took a private jet to meet her. Siwoo can hardly believe what he's hearing. Siwoo stutters, clearly taken aback by Riman's declaration. The idea of repaying debts in a different dimension seems surreal. Ryman's words about being His Holiness's aunt shock Siwoo. Luna's playful demeanor and teasing tone add to the surreal situation. Grandma's playful tone and teasing nature add to the surreal situation, leaving Siwoo unsure of what to make of it all. Ryman's statue lacks a face, hinting at deeper meanings behind divine appearances. Siwoo wonders about the implications. Siwoo contemplates Ryman's statue, considering its significance in ways that go beyond mere appearance. Siwoo contemplates Ryman's statue, unsure of what to make of her words. Please lead him right path, though the confusing world has many twists. Oh, I may the blessing be with you. Right now, Your Holiness. Ryman suggests Siwoo take a walk and observe the gardens. She seems eager for his approval or attention. Ryman mentions a friend who wants to meet Siwoo, hinting at a connection that could prove useful or burdensome. Ryman's words float through the air, hinting at a significant visitor. Siwoo feels a mix of anticipation and unease. Ryman's voice rings with importance, her presence a palpable force. Siwoo stands unsure, feeling the weight of his new destiny. Ryman's words carry weight. Siwoo feels the gravity of his new fate. Ryman discusses Siwoo's grandmother, hinting at her importance and Siwoo's unfamiliarity with this knowledge. Siwoo chuckles, seemingly uncomfortable with the conversation. Ryman, on the other hand, seems to take delight in Siwoo's unfamiliarity with his grandmother's status. Siwoo looks uncomfortable, aware of his grandmother's importance. Ryman watches him with a knowing smile, clearly enjoying this moment. Ryman's eyes twinkle, her smile hinting at a hidden agenda. Siwoo shifts uncomfortably, aware of the weight of their conversation. Ryman's gaze remains steady, her expression a mix of amusement and intrigue. Siwoo fidgets slightly, sensing the seriousness beneath her calm demeanor. Siwoo shifts uncomfortably, his gaze darting between Ryman and the stream chat. Madame Emma's ability is key to understanding this situation. Ryman explains the system's limitations, emphasizing her unique role as its representative. The concept of boundaries and exclusivity creates tension in Siwoo's understanding of his new reality. Ryman's explanation of the system's boundaries leaves Siwoo confused and wary. Ryman's cryptic words leave Siwoo pondering the nature of his new role. Ryman stands in awe of Eden's beauty, her eyes reflecting a mixture of pride and wonder. Siwoo watches, his heart swelling with a newfound resolve. Ryman seems uncertain, her tone cautious yet friendly. Siwoo listens intently, his expression earnest. Ryman's voice trails off, her eyes twinkling with a mix of curiosity and warmth. Siwoo leans in, his face earnest, ready to hear more. Ryman's smile widens, her gaze intent on Siwoo. She wanted to share something critical with him, beyond the boundaries of light and darkness. He guesses she's about to unveil something significant, but hopes it won't be too dire. Right now, he needs answers from Ryman. Siyen speaks of her grandmother's visit, hoping for some respite from his current turmoil. Snow asks Siwoo about his grandmother's visit, trying to lighten the mood but finding little enthusiasm in his response. Siwoo and Emma discuss their grandmother's visit, with Siwoo trying to remain indifferent despite curiosity. Surprised, Siwoo hesitates before nodding. Emma teases him, expecting a reaction. Inwook looks uneasy, prompting Emma to question his reaction. Inwook hesitates, clearly uncomfortable with the situation. Emma presses further, her tone firm. Inwook shakes his head, clearly frustrated with the situation. Emma's tone remains firm, undeterred by his hesitation. I plan on joining the team in Japan, albeit reluctantly. Minister Yo announces urgent news, Kang Ta-ah, ready to join the team in Japan. Seonho's official statement seems both hopeful and tense. We left at 7 p.m. Later that day, incidents occurred. Great government affiliate intrigue brews. Ryman and Siwoo's donation request is confirmed, setting the stage for an unexpected summons. Ryman rambles about a battle between Ryu Jin-young and Butter, while viewers debate their identities. The discussion turns to the threat Japan faces from the barbarian. Siwoo shrugs, exasperated. Ryman, clearly agitated, demands an explanation. The conversation turns tense as they discuss their immediate mission. Ryman's expression hardens, her voice sharp. This mission is crucial. Siwoo nods, his own tension palpable. Ryman's gaze is stern, her words resolute. This mission, crucial. Siwoo nods, his resolve firm. Kang Che, as captain, commands Siwoo to prepare. Her tone is serious, her expression resolute. Reinforcement is on the way, but the mission remains critical. Kang Che-ah's stern tone commands Siwoo to prepare, her gaze unwavering. Ryman's voice is firm, her tone leaving no room for argument. Siwoo senses the gravity of his current situation. Siwoo acknowledges Ryman's gratitude, though his tone hints at uncertainty. Siwoo looks anxious, waving frantically at airport staff. Ryman remains calm and composed, offering support. Ryman remains calm, offering support to Siwoo as he flails frantically at the airport staff. Team leader Kim seems agitated, ordering someone back. Siwoo is bewildered, clearly out of his depth. Team leader Kim demands action, while Siwoo looks bewildered, unsure of his next move. Siwoo hesitates, his expression uncertain as he listens to team leader Kim's demand. The goddess Ryman's voice rings out, commanding him to act. Ryu pleads, desperation clear in his voice as he tries to halt team leader Kim's demand. Ryu insists, his voice filled with urgency. Kim remains unyielding, her expression stern. Ryu persists, his tone urgent. Kim remains firm, her expression unyielding. Jin Young asks about Siwoo's mother, who is fine. Dama Island is in sight. Kang Chae-ah mentions she can see the shore. Siwoo stares into the distance, his eyes wide with wonder and confusion. He wonders if he's missing out on something important. Maybe the sun rising will bring clarity. What if this building is more than a base camp? Siwoo wonders, his gaze shifting nervously around the unfamiliar structure. Okay, you'll be joining the US reinforcements. Since this meeting, there will be a briefing soon. Right this way. Kim Siwoo is called by name, signaling his arrival. The environment is quiet, with an air of anticipation. Goddess Ryman's presence is palpable, a surge of pure holy energy filling the air. Kim Siwoo stands quietly, his expression unreadable as he processes the situation. Ryman speaks in an ancient, mystical tongue. Siwoo's passive skill activates, translating her words into Korean. Ryman's voice sounds ancient and otherworldly. Siwoo struggles to follow, the translation lagging slightly. Ryman's words puzzle Siwoo, mixing ancient language with modern slang. He wonders if she truly understands his world. Siwoo's mind races, trying to piece together Ryman's cryptic remarks. She seems unsure if her benevolence is truly understood in his world. That's possible? How are both of them fine under this immense pressure? Is this a test of some sort? Interesting. Though this mission to defeat the Orochi seems daunting, Kim Siwoo has been chosen for a reason. Kim Siwoo prepares for a mission that could change everything, while Ryman considers diplomatic options. Tensions rise as both parties weigh their strategies. Ryman contemplates the challenge ahead, acknowledging that even gods face near impossible tasks. Siwoo's mortal nature makes his journey both perilous and uncertain. Ryman contemplates Siwoo's potential, acknowledging his strength among the awakened. Helicopters are preparing as commands are issued for action. Ryman confirms Siwoo's codename Orochi, referencing Japanese folklore. Siwoo nods, ready for the briefing. Siwoo nods firmly, preparing for whatever comes next. Siwoo acknowledges Ryman's instructions, ready to face whatever challenges come his way. Siwoo nods, ready to comply with Ryman's request. He acknowledges her instruction to document his fight for public record. Ryman's tone is laced with expectation as she waits for Siwoo to acknowledge her instruction, hoping he'll see the opportunity before him. Ryman's voice carries a note of caution. Siwoo needs to be careful, but there's an underlying sense that he has a role to play. Ryman's voice is tense, her words carrying a warning. This poison is no ordinary threat. Ryman's words carry a warning, hinting at an imminent threat. This poison is no ordinary threat. She pauses, her tone tense. Ryman chuckles darkly. Boomer? She seems amused, but the situation isn't. It's awake. The monster stirs, sensing danger. Dragons approach cautiously. Their presence is a threat. Will they clash or find some way to coexist? Ryman laughs maniacally, her eyes gleaming with mischief. Dino Nugget? Different. If a lizard had intentions, his true prowess is. For me in Eden. Ryman's laughter echoes, building tension as Siwoo prepares for his first move. Ryman's laughter fades, replaced by a calculating gaze. Siwoo readies his stance, determination etched on his face. Ryman's words carry a hint of amusement, challenging Siwoo to understand her intentions. Ryman's words suggest a playful challenge, testing Siwoo's comprehension of his new situation. Ryman's activation message appears, signaling a shift in Siwoo's reality. Grim status windows flicker into existence, hinting at impending challenges. Siwoo's grim status windows foretell a battle that looms. Crackling energy gathers, forming a powerful symbol. Orochi, Yamato no. Orochi, Yamato no. The monster is defeated, yet the battle was intense. Kim Siwoo, the irregular minister, is taken aback by his unexpected victory. His skill in battle has just been acknowledged, but he senses there's more to come. The minister's victory is short-lived as chaos erupts among his own ranks. Idiots? Each other. The battle has started fighting. The battle turns chaotic as allies clash, momentum shifting rapidly. Heaving a heavy sigh, Siwoo stutters, his voice trembling with fear and indignation. Coward, do you have any honor as a warrior? Siwoo's voice trembles with a mix of fear and defiance as he challenges his opponent. The tension in his words suggests an impending confrontation. Siwoo stammers, his voice wavering as he tries to find a way out of the confrontation. He hints at an alternative test, suggesting they might settle this another way. Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable but trying to find a way to ease the tension. Ryman smiles warmly, extending an invitation that hints at a future alliance rather than immediate combat. Siwoo steps forward hesitantly, his eyes darting between Ryman and an unseen threat. Rimen smiles reassuringly, but the tension in Siwoo's body speaks volumes. No, it's those idiots fighting each other. The irregulars have started beating up on one another. Prime Minister Sasaki's words carry weight, hinting at a test not just of strength but of strategy. America watches closely, unsure if this ground will prove fertile for their ambitions. Quickly, footage will spread. Everyone must know, this is serious. Rimen's voice echoes through the stream, commanding attention. Siwoo's name is called, signaling his arrival. Siwoo's name flashes, the tension building as the stream waits for his response. Siwoo's name glows, signaling the impending change in his life. Why did you suddenly decide to purify your neighbors? Please don't. Those are the terms. You must fight Aiden Howard, the enemy of Eden. Before you decide to purify your neighbors, think again. Politics and personal relations mean nothing in this battle. Rimen's voice rings firm and resolute. Please don't, she pleads, eyes earnest. Those are the terms. Rimen's voice trembles with urgency. Please don't, she pleads, eyes earnest. Rimen's voice shakes as she pleads, please don't. Desperation clear in her tone. That was something, Siwoo echoes, still processing the intense experience. Siwoo nods, clearly still processing the intense experience. Rimen's voice is filled with desperation as she pleads for his help. Rimen's plea continues, her voice urgent and filled with desperation. Siwoo nods slowly, trying to comprehend the gravity of his new task. Rimen's earnest tone conveys her dire need, while Siwoo remains pensive, his thoughts weighed down by the gravity of the situation. Rimen's voice carries urgency, her words painting a dire picture. Siwoo listens intently, his expression reflecting deep thought. Rimen's urgency resonates, her words painting a dire picture of impending chaos. Siwoo contemplates, his expression tense and focused. Rimen's words about the chaos in Korea weigh heavily, painting a picture of a world on the brink. Rimen's ominous tone suggests a world in turmoil, hinting at the severity of the threats to come. Siwoo's eyes widen in disbelief as he reads Rimen's demand. The goddess's voice carries an undercurrent of threat. Rimen's demand echoes through Siwoo's mind, leaving him with no choice but to accept. Rimen's tone leaves no room for doubt. Siwoo understands the gravity of his decision. Rimen's laughter echoes, mocking Siwoo's situation. He's trapped in a decision with no easy way out. Pope Kim Siwoo is taken aback by Ryu's unexpected visit. He acknowledges her presence with a polite hello, hoping for understanding. Pope Kim Siwoo's surprise is palpable as he greets Ryu, hoping for an explanation. Ryu's visit seems out of place, catching Siwoo off guard. Ryu's visit, unexpected and formal, confounds Siwoo. He stammers, unsure how to respond. Ryu thanks Siwoo for his efforts, but something feels off in this formal praise. Ryu's formal praise carries a hidden agenda, hinting at unspoken conditions. Ryu's formal tone masks a hidden agenda, hinting at conditions yet to be revealed. Pope Kim Siwoo, in Japan for resting time, receives unexpected inquiries about relations between Korea and neighboring countries. Pope Siwoo contemplates, considering the timing of this offer amidst growing tensions between Japan and Korea. Pope Siwoo listens, contemplating the Prime Minister's hidden motives. Jin Young watches closely, ready to offer insights. Pope Siwoo listens intently, his expression thoughtful. Minister Anscombe speaks urgently, his voice low and serious. Pope Siwoo raises an eyebrow, skeptical but intrigued. Minister Anscombe leans in closer, his voice urgent and low. Pope Siwoo looks at Minister Anscombe, intrigued but cautious. The Prime Minister hints at a hidden agenda, whispering something urgent. Prime Minister Jin Young hints at a complex political maneuver, his tone urgent and unyielding. Minister Sasako looks taken aback but remains silent. Ryu Jin Young's eyes narrow, his tone sharp. You think you can just excuse this? He continues, making it clear his next words will be difficult to hear. Siwoo's brow furrows, confusion and suspicion mingling. He stammers out his thoughts, unsure where to begin. Siwoo scratches his head, clearly unsure about Rimen's letter. He pauses, considering her request carefully. Siwoo reads Rimen's letter, his expression shifting from confusion to a mix of hope and anxiety. Siwoo stammers, his age a source of confusion for both himself and Rimen. Siwoo hesitates, his mind racing with questions. Rimen raises an eyebrow, clearly waiting for a response. Siwoo looks conflicted, his gaze shifting between Rimen and a distant point. Rimen's expression remains calm, hinting at her patience for his decision. Siwoo hesitates, his eyes narrowing at Rimen. We're staying here, he confirms, his tone firm yet strained. Rimen nods calmly, awaiting his next move. Siwoo's eyes meet Rimen's, determination mixed with reluctance. We're staying here, he repeats firmly. Rimen nods, her expression unreadable. Che-ah seems distracted, her gaze shifting as she looks at Siwoo's phone. Jin Young's name appears, but Che-ah doesn't react, her expression unreadable. Siwoo looks confused, then back at Che-ah, who offers a non-committal laugh. Jin Young seems relieved, Siwoo's confusion growing as he hears his name called out. Ryman's voice booms through the airport, startling Siwoo. He looks around, confusion clear on his face. Ryman's voice continues to boom, addressing Siwoo directly. The mention of demonic energy and a purifier hints at a growing threat. Sahing's confusion is palpable as he awaits further explanation. Ryman's voice booms that Kim Siwoo Kid is the real thing. The mention of troops and an irregular dimension hints at escalating tensions. Ryman's voice rings out, Aiden, go to Korea. Ryman's order echoes through, Kim Siwoo, act as a spy and build relations with the government. He must navigate treacherous waters, his every move watched closely. Ryman's order is clear, yet the gravity of the task looms large. Incensed fans scream Kim Siwoo's name, overwhelming the airport terminal. Ryman's voice echoes, sharp and commanding. Siwoo stammers in surprise. Hey, this, Luna? Is this but Eden, isn't it? Only person not from Korea, welcome His Holiness. What's all this about? Your fault, Holiness. Ryman mockingly asks if Japan was as fun as she promised, emphasizing her disappointment with Siwoo's response. Ryman teases Siwoo, suggesting he should have expected more from his journey. Ryman's mocking tone builds, pushing Siwoo to defend his choices. Ryman's words press against Siwoo, demanding justification. He feels the weight of her expectation. Siwoo contemplates Ryman's demands, his expression a mix of determination and reluctance. He has no choice but to accept her challenge. Siwoo considers Ryman's demand, his resolve firm yet tinged with uncertainty. Siwoo reads through the detailed requirements, his brow furrowing with determination and a hint of anxiety. Ryman orders numbers are increasing, but Siwoo remains cautious as he reviews the report. Ryman's report shows surprising growth, but Siwoo remains vigilant. Ryman contemplates, Siwoo wonders. The goddess mulls over strategy updates while the streamer remains uncertain. Ryman considers Siwoo's potential, while he remains uncertain about his new role. Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable with his role. Ryman looks expectantly at him, her tone firm yet encouraging. Siwoo hesitates, unsure of what to say next. Ryman waits patiently, her eyes expectant. Siwoo fidgets, looking to Ryman for guidance on their next move. Ryman's expression remains calm and expectant. Fine. They want you to take a break. Ryman seems to be testing Siwoo's resolve. Ryman approaches, gifts in hand. Siwoo stammers, unsure of her intentions. Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable with her tone and behavior. Goddess Ryman's mockery continues, pushing Siwoo further into unease. Luna's voice cuts through, causing Siwoo to flinch. He hesitates, then reluctantly agrees to fight. Ryman's voice cuts through, demanding Siwoo engage in combat. He hesitates, but Luna urges him to comply. Ryman's stern tone commands Siwoo to prepare for battle. Luna insists, adding urgency to the demand. Ryman's voice cuts through, leaving Siwoo with no room for argument. Luna adds pressure, but he remains unmoved. Ryman's voice rings out, leaving no room for doubt. Luna adds her weight, but Siwoo stands firm. Siwoo protests, his voice rising. Why us? Ryman's tone is firm but curious. Purifier, she adds, pausing for effect. Siwoo's voice quivers with desperation. Why us? Ryman's tone remains steady, almost curious. Purifier, she adds, pausing for effect. Siwoo's voice wavers, his desperation palpable. Thanks, guys. Ryman's tone remains cool and calculating. Siwoo's voice trembles as he questions. This is real or fake? Ryman's calm response adds to the tension. Silence fills the room as Siwoo's eyes widen in realization. There, and they purify or demonize others. The purifier uses white brilliance, but what do they really know? They eliminate the weak to summon vessels, connecting them to gods and demons. Huh? Why did they choose me for this? So cold? Why here? Might as well sleep on it. Ack. Chaos indeed today was tough, turning the entire world upside down. Are we celebrities now? The neighborhood's residents are talking. A huge crowd has gathered, reporters everywhere. Are we going to need security? This is turning into quite a spectacle. Siwoo exclaims, Great, Ryman meows in agreement. Japan? How was it? Sion asks, holding up souvenirs. Siwoo checks his bank account, his face a mix of disbelief and relief. A fucking allowance, he mutters, running a hand through his hair. Siwoo's grin widens as he reads his bank account balance, clearly overwhelmed by the sudden fortune. Siwoo reads on, his eyes wide with determination. Ryman's voice echoes in his mind, tasking him with a formidable mission. Siwoo frowns, clearly conflicted. Inwook's concern is palpable but unspoken. You think we have plenty to help the kids.gbrd. Why me? It's not us. This mission feels weirder now. Let's go help them tonight. Brother Minsu, if you agree. Markets buzz with activity. A vendor calls out, offering medicinal supplies and wares for repair. People hurry past, intent on their needs. Long strings of text fly past, describing various goods and services. A vendor's voice rings out, offering protective gear and wyvern claws at unbelievable prices. The crowd hums with activity drawn by the bargains. Hey, young man, what I imagined, various sizes of protective gear and wyvern claws in sales, would look good on you. Come inside and see the cheap goods. Oh, that is cheap indeed. Look over these armbands. I expected them to be more drab. They seem better than those on the black market. Siwoo contemplates the prices, his mind racing with possibilities. Siwoo's gaze shifts to the text, his curiosity piqued by the mention of the Jeongak Alliance and its jurisdiction. Siwoo's gaze turns to the text, his interest piqued by the mention of the black market and government reaction. He thoughtfully, considering the implications. Siwoo reads the text about black market activity, his expression growing more serious. He glances around, aware he's not alone. But, Songha outside, Siwoo glances towards the door, tension mounting as he waits for further instructions. Siwoo hesitates, looking towards the door where Soha stands. The atmosphere is tense, filled with unspoken tension. Kaiden offers something or aid, but Siwoo remains uncertain, glancing towards Songha as if seeking confirmation. Most young ones come in for all your guys' benefit. Some nerve, it's this far, you can't be that clueless. It's the Black Pope. Knight, huh? That familiar face looks irregular. You? I've died. So, who with me? Black Pope? Famous, huh? Gotten pretty, wants to spend a fantastic night. Wait, what kind of meeting is this? Siwoo's nervous energy palpable as he stumbles over his words. Siwoo's voice quivers, his desperation evident. Please, just tell me your name. Guide me, there's goods, right? A shop here that sells the best. Guide me, is this a new face? You're my client, right? Guide me, you're my client, right? What goods do you seek among these? You? For holy power? Have you all gone mad? Pope attempts to use black magic, aiming to envelop himself in dark energy. His gesture is half-hearted and uncertain. ARH, he struggles to contain the dark energy, visibly uncomfortable and on the brink of failure. Interesting. Thinking you'd leverage magical energy to get stronger by forcing it? Quite the gamble, aren't you? He curses loudly, clearly frustrated. Are all of you this stupid? He asks, looking around as if expecting an answer. Dad, it's Mom. Please save us. The magical energy is spreading underground from the black market. Please save us. P, please spare me. Tension hangs thick as their cries blend, each scream a desperate plea for survival. Triple AGH. The scream echoes, raw and desperate, filling the air with unrelenting tension. What the hell are they doing down there? Magical beasts already summoned? Now you must identify the altars, Kim Siwoo. But how many are active in South Korea? Sacrifices are needed. An altar for offering them. Who? Altar? Is there a demon at the head of the sacrifices? Are they trying to summon a demon king using humans as offerings? Goddess Ryman's message appears, filled with urgency and threat. Whew, too late. The demon king's avatar emerges, having already claimed its victory at the altar. In Eden. From Eden. This place has been annihilated. If he hadn't guided us here, you suddenly appeared. We lost our foothold in this world. You're the one who came over. Siwoo and his companions stand wary, weapons drawn. The Demon King's accusation hangs heavy in the air. Ryman's laughter echoes, taunting them. Something happened in Eden, she mocks, eyes gleaming. Where is that someone? He's right here, you bastards. Ryman's laughter continues, taunting him. Confident, are you? Though we were defeated in conflict, this world won't be enough. Ryman's laughter echoes, a cold reminder of his impending doom. Confident, are you? She taunts. Too late to turn back now. Isn't this a fitting end for you, Siwoo? More than you wanted, perhaps? He knows his fate is sealed, but survival still demands a price. But a quiet exit is out of the question. Still alive, children? Of them are 13 people, about half an orphanage, were probably sold from somewhere, like these children, that child from the... Hiccuping, Siwoo struggles to calm himself. Are you all right? He asks softly, concern evident in his voice. Siwoo checks on the survivors, his voice soft and concerned. How many are left? He asks, looking around the chaotic scene. Siwoo looks puzzled, his gaze shifting between Riemann and the survivors. He wonders aloud about an alliance, unsure of its significance. Riemann's tone is firm, leaving no room for argument. Siwoo hesitates, clearly conflicted. Siwoo stumbles back, clearly shaken by Riemann's command. Pope Kim steps forward, trying to mediate. Pope Kim steps closer, clearly trying to intervene. Junwoo looks uncertain, perhaps considering Riemann's command. Pope Kim Siwoo steps closer, his expression serious. Oh Junwoo stands uncertainly, perhaps contemplating Riemann's command. Pope Kim Siwoo approaches, his demeanor suggesting a somber reflection on past encounters with Oh Junwoo. These orders mean we must eliminate all survivors as per Code Yellow, team leader. That's what being from above dictates. Mr. Junwoo coughs, clearly unwell. His apology seems genuine but tinged with exhaustion. Mr. Saiwoo's concern is palpable as he tries to support his colleague. Mr. Junwoo coughs weakly, his face pale and grimaced with effort. Mr. Siwoo looks on worriedly, offering a reassuring hand. Mr. Junwoo coughs weakly, his voice barely audible. Mr. Siwoo looks concerned, offering a hand. Perhaps this worst-case scenario is unavoidable. Mr. Junwoo's eyes dart nervously, his voice trembling as he speaks. Mr. Junwoo stammers, clearly struggling to maintain composure. Siwoo looks on nervously, unsure of how to respond. Mr. Junwoo's voice wavers, struggling to find the right words. Siwoo watches intently, unsure of how to respond. Junwoo's suggestion hangs in the air, waiting for a response. Siwoo contemplates his next move with a mix of uncertainty and curiosity. Siwoo considers Junwoo's advice, his expression a mix of thought and tension. Mr. Siwoo, their souls, really been through a lot. We recovered more besides those 12 survivors in the capital region. That must be something we haven't considered yet. There are 12 people, plus one more. He feels a burden lifted from his heart as he thanks Riemann. He feels a burden lifted, signaling a turning point in his journey. Gok Alliance will stand, he advises. His resolve strengthens today. But this fast, society's reaction is expected, yet still. This incident could cause massive repercussions in Korean law and orphanages. It's a big move. Ryman's counsel continues, hinting at a larger scheme unfolding. Siwoo nods, absorbing her words with growing tension. Ryman's tone grows urgent. Siwoo nods, his resolve hardening. Luna watches him closely, her expression unreadable. Ryman's voice grows more urgent, her demand clear, and sigocha. Anger and self-blame simmer in Siwoo's voice as he reads through the information, his expression grim. The names of those involved loom large, weighing heavily on him. Mr. Siwoo expresses gratitude, though his tone suggests reluctance. He asks the minister to tell their people he is sincerely appreciative of any help they can offer. Minister Kim urges Mr. Siwoo to accept their help, emphasizing the urgency and importance of the situation. Mr. Siwoo looks conflicted, his brow furrowed as he reads through papers, clearly weighed down by the ongoing situation. Mr. Siwoo contemplates the budget allocation, his expression growing more serious with each word he reads. Mr. Siwoo's expression tightens, his voice hesitant as he considers the budget constraints. Bit tight, he murmurs, clearly concerned. Mr. Siwoo's voice trembles slightly as he questions the government's credit rating. Rating AAA? You sly national credit. Mr. Siwoo's voice shakes as he asks, state bonds? Budget? His expression shifts from confusion to realization. AAA tying, national credit. Shocked wouldn't be quite an important mention, but it's actually a clever move by a politician. Siwoo looks bewildered, clearly struggling to comprehend the sudden shift in his life. Riemann's words continue to sink in, leaving him with more questions than answers. Ryman's plan unfolds, hinting at a looming conflict. The alliance must be broken, internal corruption eradicated. Siwoo's fate intertwines with the greater struggle for order. Ryman's plan is setting into motion, signaling a dire conflict ahead. The demons of Eden are cooperating with unknown entities, hinting at a greater threat. Brother Inwook is dead. Siwoo can hardly believe his eyes, questioning where the bodies are coming from. The day of peace seems to be nothing but a distant memory. The kids seemed okay, but some were really hurt. Si-Yan and new friends are discussing moving, though it's harder to make emotional connections as they grow older. Si-Yan suggests moving to Yeoju, perhaps because she liked it there. Grandma went with Miss Emma, taking after her. The idea of changing schools is seen as too dangerous for just a hometown visit. Wow, you're really good at chopping doenjang soup. Grandma's performance is quite delicious. Siwoo hesitates, looking between his guests and the house. Riemann mentions something about safety, but Siwoo's mind is elsewhere. Siwoo looks towards his home, considering his next steps. Luna and Leo's return hangs in the air, unspoken but pressing. Siwoo contemplates his future, his mind racing with possibilities and worries. Siwoo looks around, his mind wandering back to simpler times with his family and friends. There's a hint of longing in his eyes as he mulls over his uncertain future. You, who are suspicious at first glance, it looks like a disease of unknown origin going around. It's dangerous, I recommend. It's a serious matter, not to be taken lightly. Already causing chaos, it won't end well if left unchecked. The disease has broken out, Daegu Center in northern Daejeon. Temporary quarantine measures are already insufficient to contain it. Grim news travels fast. The disease spreads and quarantine measures falter. Undead sightings raise alarm. Siwoo must decide if he can handle another crisis. Toon mutters something under his breath, clearly agitated. The Lich roars in agony as its form disintegrates, confirming the successful end of the ritual. Oh, Holy Pontiff, a mission has been activated to eliminate the source of a mysterious plague spreading through Eden. An unknown disease starts with cold-like symptoms, worsening to destroy both mind and body. Its ground zero is in Daejeon's northern part, spreading rapidly. A mysterious bluish plague spreads, turning skin and eyes in its wake. The mission objective is clear: eliminate the source and save the suffering. Luna's voice trembles as she speaks, her urgency clear. Soul looks determined yet uncertain. The situation is dire, and time is running out. Ryman's voice echoes through the stream, urgent and commanding. Siwoo's response is quick but uncertain. The situation in Daejeon feels like a race against time. Ryman's voice cuts through, demanding answers. Siwoo stammers, unsure how to respond. The demon of gluttony looms ominously over the scene, its presence palpable. Ryman's voice cuts through, demanding answers. Siwoo stammers, unsure how to respond. The demon of gluttony looms ominously over the scene, its presence palpable. Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable. The demon of gluttony remains silent, its presence heavy. Ryman's voice demands an explanation, but Siwoo has nothing to say. Chief Kim addresses the crowd, his voice firm but calm. Everyone should regroup at the camp and wait for further instructions. Luna looks around, her voice tense as she speaks to someone unseen. Is it quiet, or are those demons hiding? Girl cries out, struggling against an unseen force. Let go of me, demons! You've been hiding to infect us! Girl struggles, tears streaming. Heemin, are you, right? She cries out in fear and confusion. Girl struggles fiercely, tears welling up. Why did you enter without permission? She cries, panic evident in her voice. Pastor Ryman speaks earnestly, her tone serious yet reassuring. This child is within her, she explains, gesturing to someone off-panel. The seed of holy power dwells here. Pastor Ryman thanks Heemin, her tone filled with relief. Heemin was here for 3 years before morning, she continues, helping us greatly. Riemann senses a threat, the children barely hanging on, their parents' energy drained by the plague. It's been years since they received any strong demonic energy to help. Riemann continues her vigil, ensuring no signs of illness among the children. She wonders if Siwoo has been here long, caring for them as Heemin does. Riemann ponders Siwoo's presence, wondering if he has been helping the children long. She hopes he brings new strength to their camp. What? He's healed? The curse has been removed so easily. She sincerely thanks him, her gratitude genuine and heartfelt. She returns, her return met with relief and surprise. He hopes she'll find everything well in his absence. Assistant nods, clearly relieved yet curious about the children's improved condition. Siwoo frowns, uncertain about what Riemann might ask next. Riemann's hand inches closer, her expression unreadable. Siwoo steps back, uncertainty and fear mingling in his eyes. Riemann's fingers twitch, threatening. Siwoo backs away, his face pale. Luna's accusations ring harsh. Siwoo stumbles back, clearly unsettled by her tone. Deacon Lee's voice cuts through the chaos, urgent and commanding. Hae-sun struggles to respond, clearly in shock. Deacon Lee is clearly in distress, gasping for breath as he stumbles backward. Deacon Lee's voice quavers, his breath shallow and labored. He stumbles backward, clearly in distress. Hae-sun looks on, her expression a mix of concern and disbelief. Deacon Lee's face contorts in pain, his voice barely a whisper. Hae-sun stands frozen, realization dawning on her. Riemann's offer has shattered his devotion, leaving him speechless and enraged. Riemann's accusation hangs heavy, leaving Siwoo's resolve shaken. Grunt of frustration escapes him, his resolve wobbling. She failed to offer the necessary sacrifices, causing a disturbance. Luna seems concerned as Siwoo laughs, checking to make sure the kids are still asleep. Riemann contemplates Siwoo's past, her voice tinged with a mix of pity and warning. Luna seems to be advocating for Siwoo, suggesting he might have done his best despite his struggles. She believes the goddess should consider his efforts and the healing work he has done. Haemin hearted. Anyway, already 2 years of lonely work, Luna found this place, maybe not for nothing. For you in this village to turn into a living hell, you spread word of the healing, but we were only starting. Don't you think your efforts and service may finally pay off? Siwoo acknowledges his past failures, hoping for a chance to prove himself. Pastor's words carry weight, challenging Siwoo to reconsider his path and purpose. Pastor's doubts linger, hinting at a choice yet to be made. Pastor Kim Siwoo remains tense, his gaze shifting towards a figure behind him as he speaks of protection and leaving children's charges. Riemann, with a smug smile, leans forward, clearly enjoying Siwoo's flustered state. Riemann's grin widens as she taunts Siwoo, clearly relishing his discomfort. Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable with Riemann's mocking tone. Luna stammers, clearly uncomfortable with the apostle's sudden attention. Levinton's expression is a mix of amusement and expectation as he waits for her response. Luna's face flushes even more, her eyes darting nervously around. She speaks quickly, trying to find the right words. Riemann seems agitated, her voice carrying a hint of frustration as she addresses Siwoo. She worries about the consequences of dealing with the plague demons, hoping he handled it well. Riemann's concern lingers as she awaits news of Siwoo's encounter with the plague demons. That must be the one, Riemann thinks. That bastard appeared in Eden before. Again here, Minion of Gluttony wonders if fate brings him back for revenge. Riemann considers Siwoo's request, her gaze sharp and calculating. Riemann considers Siwoo's request, her gaze sharp and calculating. Yes, a lower entity of Ball spreads through Luna. Had you seen that spore colony? Made of magical energy, it disperses through the wind. But with this infection, it may create colonies beyond the village. The concentration is high, it may have already spread rapidly. Riemann's expression grows serious. With this infection, it may create colonies beyond the village. The threat is clear and urgent. Riemann's gaze hardens, her tone grave. To think this time you get revenge. The stakes are high and Siwoo knows it. Luna's voice is tense as she describes the growing threat. You're angry, level-headed? Siwoo can sense her concern. Splotches of green veins pulse across his forehead, a visible sign of the infection. Songha's scream echoes, but he manages a grateful smile despite his pain. Riemann gestures toward Siwoo, her expression stern yet resigned. Siwoo looks puzzled, his eyes narrowing as he tries to understand Riemann's request. Riemann's tone is cold and commanding, her confidence unshaken despite his confusion. Riemann's tone remains cold, her confidence unwavering as she challenges him further. She questions his understanding of who he's dealing with, emphasizing the seriousness of their situation. Riemann's challenge lingers, her words slicing through Siwoo's uncertainty. He must recognize his adversary properly. Riemann snarls, her challenge clear and unyielding. Siwoo stands dumbfounded, grappling with the gravity of his new task. Siwoo's resolve hardens, a decision formed in silence. Riemann's voice lingers, a reminder of past failures. Siwoo clenches his jaw, determination growing. Riemann's voice echoes, demanding Siwoo remember his past failures. His determination grows, but the weight of her words lingers. Riemann's challenge hangs heavy, pushing Siwoo towards his destiny. Riemann's voice carries an air of mystery, hinting at a discovery that will change Siwoo's fate. If you have no name, Baal, you who follow my words well, will you lend me your power? Become the demon king of gluttony. You might even be reborn as a human with an avatar. Riemann's voice echoes. If you have no name, Baal, you who follow my words well, will you lend me your power? The question hangs heavy in the air, demanding an answer from the nameless demon king. Riemann's voice resounds. This weakling kept burning for all 4 days. The greed called Baal. Tension builds as the nameless demon king faces his failure. OUE est appelé has been completed. Dead bodies become undead zombies. You have been rewarded with that only complete, confirming your success in this grisly task. Riemann thanks Siwoo for his assistance, emphasizing the need to recover quickly with holy power. She mentions purifying severely ill patients and monitoring about 500 zombie specimens in the village. Riemann seems agitated, her tone sharp as she questions Siwoo's commitment. She mentions item packages, hinting at a favor in exchange for his efforts. Riemann's voice rises, her patience clearly wearing thin. Siwoo stumbles over his words, showing signs of nervousness. Riemann's voice grows sharper, her impatience clear. Siwoo hesitates, trying to find the right words. Siwoo's resolve hardens, signaling a new challenge approaches. Warning signals flash on screen, indicating impending changes. Warning lights blink rapidly, drawing Siwoo's attention to the unusual message. Your system will be partially restricted for 16 hours. Siwoo's face contorts in confusion and disbelief. The review result flashes before him, but he can't grasp its meaning. Siwoo's eyes widen in shock as he reads, Causality, Seatability Review, and Failed. He stammers, clearly disturbed by the implications. Songha's voice lingers. Why did you change your clothes? Siwoo, looking around, notices his attire is different. Songha continues. Something happened while you were working in other dimensions. Kim Siwoo is really tough to neutralize. Lord Leventon's voice rings with urgency. You'll all die in 168 hours. Post-nut, only chance is Kim Siwoo or Songha. Mr. Siwoo has performed a purification at Ground Zero in Daejeon, restoring hope to many citizens. Good work, reports say from those present. Mr. Siwoo's actions have brought unexpected attention and praise. The outcome is significant, though not fully realized yet. Team leader Kim seems unconcerned, brushing off the questions about his vacation plans. CEO Choi Sejin insists there are important matters at hand, but Siwoo's mind is elsewhere. Siwoo muses on his return to America, recalling youthful escapades with Sion. His thoughts drift to simpler times, now overshadowed by recent events. Riemann's voice echoes through Siwoo's stream, gratitude mingling with command. Riemann exclaims, Friend, Kamie! With delight, her voice full of excitement. Siwoo, taken aback, looks surprised and a bit overwhelmed. Madame Emma is clearly agitated, her tone laced with disapproval and surprise. She shakes her head, muttering under her breath. Aiden arrives, looking forlorn. Madame Emma demands an explanation, her tone sharp. She suggests Aiden should have announced his presence properly. Aiden arrives, looking dejected as Siwoo questions his sudden appearance. Madame Emma demands an explanation, her tone sharp and disapproving. Madame Emma's voice cuts through, demanding answers. Siwoo fidgets, unsure how to respond. Aiden looks on, a mix of amusement and concern in his eyes. Huh? Work? Perfect. Your family servant shows up. Hee hee. Aiden is helping with farm chores. Much better than an ox-like existence. Madame Emma seems unconcerned, suggesting she has a plan or knows something Siwoo doesn't. Siwoo groans, clearly in discomfort. The old lady continues talking, seemingly oblivious to his distress. Emma continues her stream of conversation, her tone steady and unbothered by Siwoo's discomfort. He listens intently, though his expression betrays growing impatience. Ryman muses on the nature of causality, hinting at hidden standards that restrict her power on Earth. Siwoo listens intently, his expression showing growing concern. Ryman explains the system's standards, hinting at penalties and restrictions. Siwoo listens intently, his concern growing. Ryman's explanation leaves Siwoo uncertain, the complexities of the system evident in her words. Siwoo's fate is entwined with countless lives, his actions directly affecting their destinies. Siwoo's actions before and after an event are clearly distinct, marked by different penalties. Siwoo's fate is still in question, as the system emphasizes the distinct nature of his interventions. The penalty for direct action remains a mystery. Madame Emma raises a bush, pondering aloud about Siwoo's fate this time. She suggests they look into it further. Siwoo acknowledges the complex situation, hinting that his actions have significant consequences. The concept of altering destinies through external force is both daunting and inevitable. Siwoo acknowledges the difficulty of his actions, recognizing the heavy weight of his role. The goddess Ryman watches, her expectations clear yet unspoken. And now, Siwoo's desperate cries echo through the system. Causality, purifiers yet unconcerned about their conscious existence. It seems the system has no interest in resolving these matters. Siwoo's voice trembles as he speaks, unsure of his fate. The system's indifference is clear, leaving Siwoo in a grim silence. Ryman's tone is firm, leaving no room for doubt. Siwoo's voice shakes with barely concealed fear and uncertainty. Ryman's tone remains stern, her gaze unwavering as she addresses Siwoo directly. He shifts uncomfortably, his voice trembling slightly as he responds. Ryman's expression remains serious, her tone leaving no room for argument. Siwoo nods, his voice barely above a whisper in response. Siwoo thanks Ryman, his voice conveying a mix of relief and unease. Ryman's expression remains resolute. Go, Yoon mentioned the like-minded friend Siwoo met by chance, hinting at an unlikely connection. Siwoo's name appears, signifying his identity in this world of endless coincidence. The text hints at a grand destiny intertwined with fate and destiny. Emma Aiden greets Siwoo warmly, her eyes twinkling with amusement. She wonders aloud about Eun-young's whereabouts, hinting at a family-like bond formed by chance. The concept of intertwined fates and coincidences is subtly woven into their conversation. Emma Aiden chuckles, her tone playful yet knowing. She hints that Siwoo's life is about to change in unexpected ways. Emma Aiden's smile widens, her eyes twinkling with amusement. It seems there are more surprises in store for Siwoo. Future as, not so certain. What I saw was nothing but chaos. It seems the country's approval wasn't necessary for this outcome. Despair's presence is palpable, weighing heavily on the air. Variables in this new world are far from settled. Luna Leventon expresses respect for Pastor Shongshin's dedication, acknowledging his long service and the patients he has helped. The gratitude is mutual, though past sacrifices weigh heavily on their minds. Siwoo hesitates, his mind racing with thoughts of Ryman's request and the uncertain future it brings. Siwoo's mind whirls with uncertainty as he contemplates Ryman's request, his voice barely above a whisper. The tension builds as Siwoo ponders Ryman's grateful words, his future hanging in the balance. Ryman thanks Songha, emphasizing how much easier it has been to gather power and drive out demons due to his help. Songha's help has made it easier for Ryman to gather power and drive out demons from Eden. She thanks him earnestly. Ryman's voice carries a hint of impatience. Siwoo, you must be wary. That purifier speaks with unsettling certainty. His methods are troubling and his sanity questionable at best. Ryman's voice tightens. Incidents keep occurring on Earth, blocked, yet we were able to stop them thanks to Aiden's aid. Tension builds as Siwoo listens, unsure of what Ryman is implying about the purifiers. Ryman and Leventon discuss preparations, signaling an impending challenge. They believe Siwoo should start training soon. Oh Junwoo arrives, bringing a sense of urgency to Siwoo's current predicament. He thanks the hunter for his presence but declines further offers. Luna agrees to train Songha, but he's eager to begin immediately. Oh Junwoo's departure adds a sense of urgency to their plans. Kim Siwoo sighs with relief, feeling he's finally returned to his desired path. Kim Siwoo is berated for his struggles and failure to recruit effectively. Kim Siwoo is pressured to understand the dire situation with no easy solutions in sight. The gap in power is insurmountable without finding a weakness. Even then, it may not be enough to bridge the alliance's significant disadvantage. Siwoo's power is mere insect compared to Ryman's. Even an American awakened being falls short. His limits are evident, and Siwoo knows it. Siwoo clenches his jaw, clearly resisting as Ryman's demands loom. Siwoo splutters, clearly in distress as he tries to catch his breath. The accusation is clear yet harsh. The goddess Ryman's tone is cold and firm, leaving Siwoo with a sense of dread. He has his last chance to comply. Bro, wake up quickly. Sweet rest. Stop talking already. How can you sleep? Little brother agreed to have lunch together. Your big brother's nonsense and came until this hour. How dare you disturb me? Appa woke up late, causing some concern for his brother. The vacation seemed to have done him good, though. Morning Xianyan, right? Bexel seems to like it too, in size a bit. Did you sleep well in our new house? Good dreams? Xian nods, clearly pleased with something. Bexel seems content too, though smaller in size. Everyone looks happy in the new house by the river. Siwoo frowns, looking at the empty fridge and fruit for dessert. His promise to the legislation seems unmet. Siwoo winces, holding his head as Bai Seal demands he leave immediately. He frowns at the fruit, unsure if he should heed her command or deal with the empty fridge later. Seongha notices Siwoo's discomfort, but doesn't press for answers, keeping her tone casual. Lyman orders Siwoo to continue his stream, but he's preoccupied with something Seongha mentioned earlier. Kim Siwoo receives a cryptic message, his mind racing with Seongha's earlier remarks. Streams of text dance across the screen, a cryptic message from Seongha. Seongha's message looms large, leaving Siwoo with a heavy burden of secrets to keep. Seongha's ominous message casts a shadow over Siwoo's uncertain future. Bai Seol is surprised to hear Siwoo's name. The revelation hangs in the air, filled with unspoken questions and implications. Cock, Teeb even got this far? Such a report could take a shot at him. Bai Seol is taken aback, the implication hanging thick in the air. Ryman's voice echoes with a mix of pride and accusation, her words laced with unspoken disdain for Siwoo's perceived weakness. Timing is everything, it seems. This bastard of a streamer has managed to slip through our fingers once again. His luck runs thin indeed. Pope Kim Siwoo's report is dismissed with mockery. Ryujin Young's department seems unimpressed, hinting at deeper issues. Ability management and guild politics loom large in the background. Kayak, what do you know about Bakesol? If you wanted to join forces, you shouldn't have kept your honor. Kuhek, better than to fight in a civilian area, right? Oh, Junwoo is much stronger in person. You'll start deeper in an ice place. Detention might be your end here soon. Investigation goes on. Leader Kim from the Ability Management Department will handle it. Nia, it's been a while since you played Divine Beast. Pretty strong, Basil. Kim together, let's just go grocery shopping while waiting for team leader. The Demon King feels a strange, mixing energy. It's both pride and wrath, yet he hasn't sensed it before. Song Kade steps forward, meeting Rimon's gaze with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. He seems more composed, yet his voice still betrays a hint of desperation. Nameless Pope from Beijing stands firm, clearly intent on making this meeting count. So you, Songha, were behind the purifiers? It seems our powers complement each other well. Songha, your abilities surpass even those of a demon king. Why would you consider yourself their equal? Songha, you've been nurtured well, but will you join this urgent proposal? Songha, the offer is clear. Cooperate or face consequences. Cooperation will bring relief. Refusal might lead to something worse. Ryman's words hang, pressing down on Siwoo. He contemplates her offer, smoke from his cigarette swirling around him. Ryman's offer lingers. Siwoo ponders her strange alliance proposal. Ryman's curious tone suggests she awaits Siwoo's response, the implications hanging between them. Skill activation signals a shift, tension building as Siwoo prepares for unknown challenges. Haha, as hoped, Pope Sonha will visit again soon. Expected, just a matter of time. He's been warned, yet here a hidden quest still looms. He hesitates, a hidden quest still waiting. Will he accept or refuse? Would you like to proceed with the quest? The option appears, hinting at an impending decision. Would you like to proceed with the quest? So this pops up as soon as the penalty ends, huh? He has arrived, yet the department's message remains confusing. What kind of ability is being managed? Caution seems warranted. The notification minimizes, leaving Siwoo to wonder about his sudden summoning and the mysterious ability management department. Siwoo reads through the notification, his expression growing more puzzled with each word. Moving on, Songka suggests bidding on something. Leo asks if they should rest soon before tackling another dungeon. Dong-sik informs Kim Siwoo that he has already inquired about team leader Kim's status and found him currently detained by the Daeho guild leader. Kim Siwoo looks puzzled, his expression a mix of curiosity and concern as he asks if they've been bid on yet. Jeongak Alliance has bid on the dungeon, making it nearly impossible for outsiders to compete. Siwoo looks conflicted, weighing his options carefully. Siwoo contemplates Rimon's request, knowing the task ahead will be tough. He asks if there's any easy way out. Siwoo's voice cracks as he considers Rimon's challenge, his hopes and fears. Siwoo's eyes widen as he processes the donation amount, his voice trembling slightly when he responds. Regardless of their image, we can't just force our way in. Siwoo considers Ryman's proposal, contemplating his next move. Siwoo looks at the draft, considering Ryman's proposal with a mix of desperation and hesitation. Oh, team leader Kong Cha, why would she contact the Awakened? Something's not right here. Kim questions Siwoo's plan, demanding answers about his role and benefits. Siwoo chuckles nervously, glancing around as if checking for eavesdroppers. He seems to consider something, then clears his throat uncertainly. That province. How about a spy movie? Undercover mission at Mount Gimosan in Gyumi City. Perfectly suitable. You, Siwoo, move quickly. Who are you suddenly tasked with this operation starting at 0800? He looks like a porter while checking applications. They told me to wait here for a porter application. He hesitates, his voice barely above a whisper as he speaks. Siwoo's voice trembles, barely audible. It's perfect. Operatives mainly use it when infiltration is key. His eyes dart nervously. Siwoo's voice quivers as he repeats his name, Kim In-wook. New porter? His nerves are on edge. Mount Gumasan looms large, its peak shrouded in mist. Yes, that's correct. Located undercover. So this is Operation Name, where that dungeon is, and participate in raid as a porter. Che-A's illusion magic disguised as a porter. Wear the necklace enchanted with Kang. Che-A's illusion magic could help. Wear this necklace. It'll aid your cover. In-wook explains the risks, urging caution with borrowed identities. Siwoo nods, understanding the stakes. Team leader Kim advises caution with borrowed identities, emphasizing the risks involved. Siwoo nods, understanding the potential consequences. Team leader Kim looks at Siwoo, her tone serious. Put your belongings here, yes? Employee Kim In-wook will oversee you. He'll send an overseer soon to wait with the other porters. It's other? Today? Piercing stares from porters, wary of each other. Fewer than expected are awake, but quite a few still count for the final evaluation. He's being evaluated, marked for clearance or elimination. The process is methodical, measuring his cooperation and magical potential. 3 ordinary porters will be cleared in 10 minutes, 1 F rank will remain. He nods, clearly uneasy. The atmosphere is tense, he can feel it. His daily quota looms over him. He hesitates, glancing around warily. The other porters seem to be watching him intently. He stammers, clearly on edge. The other porters watch him intently, their expressions unwavering. Siwoo shifts uncomfortably, clearly uneasy with his new role. The porter's stern expressions suggest he has much to learn. Siwoo sighs, his tone reflecting uncertainty and a hint of defiance. The world around him seems indifferent to his plight. Everyone tends to be on edge before entering the mountain. Kim Jung-soo reassures Siwoo, though his faith in Ryman is clear. Siwoo carries more than just equipment, he bears the weight of destiny. Kim Jung-soo offers a reassuring smile to Siwoo, though his faith in Ryman is evident. The screen displays a message, reward, with type hidden below it. The next quest title, Mud Golem's Cave, flickers into view. Entrance conditions are listed as Enter Rar the DR Dungeon. Emma suggests infiltrating the porter and slipping in suspiciously, with a clear purpose to gather Mud Golem's core and low-grade magic stones for the quest. Siwoo looks around, clearly uncomfortable with the situation. He knows he shouldn't, but he's eager to finish this task quickly. Siwoo grunts, lifting the fist-sized core with difficulty. It's far heavier than it appears. In-wook struggles to lift the core, its weight surprising even him. Siwoo watches with concern, ready to assist if needed. Ryman urges Siwoo to come with her, promising Lemon's blessing for his assistance. In-wook looks on carefully, showing concern but readiness to help if needed. Ryman mocks Siwoo, ordering him to pick up a heavy object. Ryman continues her mocking, her tone sharp and dismissive. Oh really? He's new in himself, so doesn't know his way around yet. Time for you to show him the ropes. Pick this up and learn from me. Siwoo's eyes widen in surprise, his voice trembling as he stammers out his response. Park seems to take pleasure in this, leaning closer with a smug smile. Siwoo's voice trembles as he stammers out his response, clearly taken aback by Park's sudden presence and tone. Hey kid, know we're short-handed with the guild today? Yes, this is his first day, right? So don't talk back. Mister, it's okay, yeah. Thank you for this chance to learn the job properly. Haha, training starts intense, kid. Can you handle 100 kilojoules? Let's see. Senior Yoon Tae-han motions Siwoo to follow, hinting at an important task ahead. Siwoo stammers, clearly unsettled by Senior Yoon Tae-han's comment about his close relationship with the supervisor. Senior Yoon Tae-han looks skeptical, awaiting Siwoo's response with raised eyebrows. Senior Yoon Tae-han raises an eyebrow, looking skeptical as Siwoo seems on edge. Siwoo hesitates, clearly frustrated but trying to push through. Siwoo's face contorts in agony, hands clutching his head. This is strange. Siwoo Wajung's guild representative seems concerned about late uploads and vlogs. He mentions a normal drank dungeon with mud golems but sounds uneasy. This is strange. The guild representative seems uneasy despite being an S-rank hunter. Something's not right with the scout team. Who's there? It isn't an issue? Communication glitch? But what is this ominous thing surrounding us? Why are only you unaffected? Yes, ma'am. Yujin ordered us to handle this dungeon. What is it even a D-rank dungeon? Something strange and ominous surrounds us, yet only you seem unaffected. Necessary precautions must be taken. Seal while activation sequence begins, flickering lights and symbols appearing on the screen. Seal with activation signal grows brighter, a mix of relief and fear evident in the flickering lights. A fatal error has forced Seilwa's dungeon entrance to close, trapping him inside. What on earth is this? A dungeon warning, never seen before. You cannot leave, a passage opens somewhere in the... He coughs weakly, trying to clear his throat, a mistake, he thinks, almost breaking his concentration. He apologizes repeatedly, clearly distressed by something. His head hangs low, showing defeat. Oh, don't mind us and carry on with your stream. What things? Are those your training jokes? Or are you serious? A dungeon entrance opens, sealed shut. Somewhere in this maze, danger lurks. What on earth is happening here? A message warns against leaving this dungeon, but it's never been shown before. But it's too late to break free now. He should have known better, yet he found himself bound to stay. Junior's postures are crumbling, and he apologizes profusely. The wall shows signs of breaking through, but there's no time to correct his form. Looks like you used to play freeze tag a lot with your younger sister. She seems too mature for that now. You seem surprised to see Siwoo, Riemann notes with a smirk. Stop talking nonsense, diligent senior, she says, addressing him sternly. This is Senior Inwook worrying about you instead of receiving education, another guild member chimes in. Kai, Gahark, monsters! Oh no, all the search team members have turned into ice statues? Seilwa struggles, his cries mingling with the growls of unseen enemies. Seilhawa yells, his voice tinged with desperation as he realizes he's in grave danger. Nearby monsters growl in response, closing in fast. You fools. Dungeon? You're not guild members to get hit too? Freeze, haha. Go easy on freeze tag, but it's more like a challenge. Snap out of it. What did you expect in this situation? Riemann's presence looms, her words cutting through the air. The task before him is clear yet daunting. Riemann's challenge is clear, but the path forward remains uncertain. Siwoo objects, but Riemann remains firm, insisting he aid in a quest within the dungeon. Siwoo shakes his head, clearly frustrated. Riemann raises an eyebrow, her tone challenging. Riemann's gaze sharpens, Siwoo's frustration evident in his posture. They exchange a tense silence. Director's voice clearly agitated. Why didn't you put the transformation scene in your meant-to-be intro? Saola's voice rings out, confident yet slightly mocking. Join us. Glory to the Saola. An uneasy silence hangs as Siwoo looks questioningly at the screen, unsure of what to make of Riemann's sudden appearance. Riemann's mocking tone leaves Siwoo bewildered, his eyes narrowing in confusion and irritation. Siwoo's resolve hardens, preparing for a formidable challenge. Graha, he mustn't forget to speak up on behalf of his guild members soon. Siwoo stammers, clearly uncomfortable with the gossip and rumors swirling around him. What are you doing? We'll be late if you don't hurry. Wah. Seilwa was immediately brainwashed into this? That way lies our next clue. We should follow it closely. It looks like a boss room. The door doesn't seem ordinary, suspects it might be magical. Do we open it? How will that work? Type SUB-DLC, reaching out. Reward 7? Infiltrate the world. Conditions must be met with corrupted holy power rising through the door. Came from our search team's direction. We should head that way. Those strange things might be important. Magic seems to work here. One way or another, we might have found a way in. But with magic not opening it, there's only one other option. Momentum builds as they approach the final door, uncertainty hanging in the air. So crudely solved? This quest seems too easy. The dungeon boss, revealed among the golems, looks far more formidable than anticipated. The boss, revealed among the golems, appears far more formidable than expected. Horrifying remnants lie scattered around, pieces of something once magnificent now in tatters. The door, sealed with holy power, trembles as corrupt energy seeps through, foreshadowing a dire confrontation. He hears voices, a mix of erosion and domination echoing in his mind. It looks like that. It seems to be speaking directly into my brain. Riemann's voice echoes, mocking Earth and its inhabitants. Siwoo feels insulted, his sense of self-worth shaken. Why are these gods so dismissive? Siwoo stands on a new, foreign ground, his resolve shaken by Riemann's words. Impressive, but we can't let anything escape those horrid demons. Right. The system has a purpose. Ice magic must be used to defend. Now you must face this dungeon somehow. Siwoo stands firm against the ice wall, his expression unyielding. Siwoo's eyes remain steady, showing no sign of fatigue despite the strain. The ice wall continues to twist and shift, its form ever-changing. This must be more than just a mirror. It's connected to another dimension, a doorway of sorts. Suspicious indeed, it surpasses any limit known. Warning, you're not just looking at a mirror. This system insists you must be close to the other worlds. Need me, huh? That couldn't be worse. The door shouldn't be here, yet it is. System, this causality affects matters related to your requests. Location severely distorted, leniently. Earth has can't be. Observation point redirected, origin dimension, Earth. Holy power lifted, yet the door remains open. Someone is watching you. That, what doesn't lie? This disgusting gate surpassed any limit? The system confirms this door is a holy relic. She nods, her expression unreadable. He feels a mix of relief and unease. She continues to speak, her voice low and authoritative. He listens intently, feeling the weight of her words. The stakes are clear. Siwoo must act or face consequences. Ryman's voice echoes with displeasure as she confronts Siwoo, clearly annoyed by his voyeuristic behavior. Ryman's tone is sharp as she questions Siwoo's behavior, clearly disapproving. Ryman's tone conveys her disapproval, but Siwoo insists on his feelings, trying to win her approval despite the tension. Kia seems a high-pitched scream or shriek of shock or fear. You remember what happened last time? The scream echoes in the air, hanging suspended between them. The screen flickers, displaying a complex array of symbols and messages. The text updates rapidly, revealing new information about Siwoo's status. System notifications flash rapidly, updating Siwoo's status and conditions. The text about his temporary manifestation as a deity glows prominently. Challenges and rewards appear, signaling a pivotal change in Siwoo's fate. Rewards continue to update, signaling deeper involvement in the Divine Realm's affairs. Rewards continue to update, signaling deeper involvement in the Divine Realm's affairs. Main deity Elemen manifests once more, casting a solemn yet commanding presence over Siwoo. Pope, what odd light is this? Siwoo's eyes widen in confusion and wonder. Siwoo's eyes strain to focus, trying to make sense of the unfamiliar light. Lemon's presence brings a warmth, but Siwoo struggles to focus on the change. It's been a while since he saw his old friend. These wounds are fresh. It's been a long time since you've been injured, Siwoo. Siwoo seems troubled, his concern for Riemann evident as he speaks of a long-ago injury. Siwoo hesitates, clearly uncomfortable with Riemann's inquiries about his well-being. Siwoo shifts uncomfortably, clearly uneasy with Riemann's persistent questions about his activities since their last meeting. Causing a crossover incident, deities tried to occur too just now. Otherworldly phenomena where dimensional erosion is happening in sun regions of Eden. They don't usually happen here. Siwoo, can you really come to Eden too? Siwoo and Riemann discuss the connection between worlds, hinting at the unstable nature of their link. Riemann continues, emphasizing Siwoo's role within the permissible bounds of reality. Riemann explains that demons are using Earth as a gateway to expand into Eden, seeking new opportunities. That means chances to return to Earth exist for those from Eden. Unknown deities need opportunities to cross back. They disappear from Earth long ago, buried in cruel oblivion, remembered by none. They have been exiled, yet their will endures. These beings, known as ancient gods, once roamed this Earth. Chaos itself rules without form, Siwoo. The ancient gods' precepts still echo, though their true identity remains hidden. Siwoo, still in shock, seems to be processing Riemann's revelation. His uncertain gaze hints at the gravity of his new situation. Siwoo nods, his voice still shaky as he acknowledges Riemann's apology. Riemann looks at him earnestly, trying to ease the tension between them. Riemann's words hang in the air, Siwoo's expression a mix of confusion and determination. Lemon thanks Siwoo, her expression warm yet serious. Lemon explains her role extends beyond Eden, hinting at a broader challenge ahead for Siwoo. Lemon acknowledges Siwoo's abilities, hinting at the challenges ahead without directly revealing them. She'll need to rest, preparing for the tasks ahead. Growth rate at 0% indicates potential for rapid change. Riemann's donation comes with unexpected consequences, weighing heavily on Siwoo. His body seems to have changed, reflecting a higher rank than anticipated. What's happening to me? Siwoo stumbles, clearly unsteady. Mr. Jung-soo checks on her worriedly. Mr. Jung-soo checks on Seohwa, relieved but wary. Siwoo thanks him, his voice steady despite the chaos. Siwoo's voice steadies as he speaks, but his words are met with a moment of confusion from Mr. Jung-soo. H.O. line says, you must not enter. O.H. your appearance is so graceful. I'll invite you to the temple soon for a more comfortable visit. The Guildmaster's invitation is about to be accepted, setting the stage for an uncertain future. Order, Bang Myung. The Guildmaster's voice carries a weight of importance, yet Bang Myung remains silent, unsure of what to do next. Riemann speaks tenderly but with a warning, her tone both affectionate and commanding. Riemann's voice carries a hint of both affection and underlying menace, her words weaving a complex web of expectation and warning. Riemann's voice drips with sarcasm, hinting at Siwoo's fleeting existence. The mention of a betraying hunting dog foretells dire consequences for him. Riemann's tone turns darker, her words foreboding as she speaks of devouring Siwoo whole. Ryman's voice grows colder, hinting at a sinister plan. The truth is just beginning to unfold, and urgency is building. Ryman commands Siwoo to follow her instructions faithfully. Siwoo's fate hangs in the balance as Ryman's command looms large, setting the stage for his ordeal. Suspicions swirl as Baimyung appears, hinting at something hidden. Ryman's words carry weight, hinting at a significant task for Siwoo. He must decide if he can trust her or not. Ryman's urgent request weighs on Siwoo as he considers his next move. He must decide if helping now is worth the unknown challenges ahead. Ryman's urgent request echoes through the guild hall, creating tension as Siwoo ponders his next move. Cutting ties so early? You two seem too impulsive. The Pope of Lemon Order bows respectfully, though visibly uncomfortable with the situation. The Pope of Lemon Order senses immense, living holy power from Baimyung. This presence is both ancient and vast, raising questions about her true identity. Almost nothing remains, only this much. Everything was annihilated, with barely anything left intact. The Pope of the Lemon Order is surprised by the unexpected challenge. The system isn't supposed to be so easy to bypass. The Pope considers Ryman's challenge, unsure of how to respond, his confusion evident in every unspoken thought. That's ridiculous. Your holy power? Is it just a joke? Pope Kim Siwoo, are you really supposed to trust someone who calls themselves your god? The door to Eden's will remains uncertain. Pope Kim Siwoo, are gods, and you truly on equal footing? This conversation feels like it's coming to an end. Why? Because our gods prefer us back where we were, locked away in a purifier-free zone, not an inch of movement allowed. Good grief, why can't we just have a conflict-free world? We desire peace as much as you do. It seems like you're trying to force a new order, but is that truly what everyone wants? Ms. Han Seorwa's shocked tone suggests disbelief at the proposal, creating an air of tension between the characters. Siwoo looks confused, his gaze shifting to the video stream showing Ryman's channel. The teachings mentioned seem to come from a distant memory, one he struggles to recall fully. Siwoo's brow furrows as he contemplates Ryman's teachings, trying to connect them with his recent memory loss. Seolwa's voice grows increasingly anxious, her words trailing off as she struggles to find a solution. Seolwa hesitates, her voice trailing off as she considers the decision before her. Seolwa's voice wavers, hinting at internal conflict as she ponders her next move. Lady Ryman's expression is playful as she teases Siwoo, clearly enjoying his discomfort. Is that so? It wasn't in our schedule for today, Baimyung Order. Seems like an unexpected meeting. The Pope of Lemay has made contact with us. So? I suppose the facts by now. The Pope must have learned more about our situation in Eden. Enough, Siwoo. Let this meeting be our last for now. Our business here in Korea is finished. Thank you, everyone. All right, now that we're all here this morning, let's get started. Pope Kim clears his throat, looking around at the gathered guild representatives. He seems nervous but determined to start the meeting on time. Pope Kim introduces new allies to the Lemon Order, emphasizing warmth and inclusiveness for their alliance meeting. Leo is left out, looking a bit strange and slightly annoyed. Song Ha, the Han Seolha Guild representative, seems unbothered by Leo's absence. Han Seolwa Guild's representative emphasizes the significant contribution of 9 million donations, hinting at future benefits for the alliance. Siwoo looks shocked by the donation amount, unsure of what to think next. Kim needs Siwoo to include his guild in a Metube opening, totaling 9 million people. The scale is massive, beyond anything Siwoo has imagined. Player K suggests Sonha's guild should join Metube, noting their large following. The total viewership would be 19 million, a massive increase for Siwoo's stream. The meeting unanimously agrees to inform Han about the alliance. Baimyung Order will be part of it too. Yes, but you have other, right? Clearly check each trait, Baimyung Order. Their objectives seem similar to purifiers, but methods are distinct. Their intentions remain unclear. Ancient gods known as distorted gods are entangled with both. Goddess Ryman's voice echoes. The Baimyung Order and CEO Choi are demon kings. Tension builds as Siwoo and others listen intently. The Baimyung Order and purifiers have different objectives, Siwoo notes. Their methods are distinct yet unclear, tension building between them. Pope Siwoo reassures that the threat remains real. Allies must now work together, he insists. Girl approaches, smiles warmly. Siwoo looks relieved but cautious. Don't worry, this big sister will show you around. Pope Kim and CEO Choi Seojin exchange bracelets, likely sealing a business deal. Yusan needs to finish their quick chat. Pope Kim glances at CEO Choi Seojin, intrigued by her enthusiasm. Pope Kim chuckles, eyes twinkling with amusement. CEO Choi Seojin seems eager to continue their discussion, but is interrupted by an unexpected turn of events. Siwoo agrees, but CEO Choi Seojin's face darkens, sensing the shift in conversation. Siwoo nods, though uncertainty clouds his expression. CEO Choi's gaze remains intense, waiting for his response. Siwoo's eyes widen, his mouth hanging open in disbelief. He nods slowly, uncertainly. Now, threats to Eden's peace exist. It's important to prepare people for the religious expansion. Its influence is growing rapidly. Warning signals flare as an ancient fragment emits alien divine wavelengths, indicating unknown threats are on the rise. The ancient god's fragment threatens unknown dangers, yet Siwoo's main quest remains uncertain. Cultivating this fragment might be more critical than anticipated. What exactly are the conditions, for growing this fragment? Activating the active. What comes next? Songhe's voice booms. Temple? This doesn't make sense. Songhe's voice trembles with barely contained anger. Temple? This doesn't make sense. Ryman contemplates, of time. Right. She hesitates briefly before issuing a warning. Then the growth rate must be designed according to instructions. Ryman's voice rings out. Priests? Priests? Songhe seems lost as he replies, we don't have many. Luna adds, quite a lot of rookies. Songhe suggests, let's start with the description workshop. Songhe and Luna discuss plans for growth, hinting at a larger strategy unfolding behind the scenes. Growth rate conditions met, Songhe and Luna's plans advance step by step. Siwoo sighs heavily, his mind racing with thoughts of the upcoming task. Siwoo looks relieved, but his smile fades as he thinks about Riman's summons. Siwoo frowns at his brother Siyeon, who seems equally flustered. Both appear caught off guard by the unexpected visit and conversation. Siwoo and Siyeon exchange uneasy glances, clearly uncomfortable with the sudden conversation. Baxiel's cheerful meow suggests he's excited, but Siwoo looks less enthusiastic. Ryman's news about the Guild Alliance threatens Siwoo's world. The rumors of conflict could jeopardize his mission in Eden. Ryman's report on South Korea's unstable situation hints at looming conflicts. Siwoo glances at the text, worry etched on his face. Siwoo reads the news, a mix of confusion and concern on his face. He mulls over Ryman's report, wondering about his next move. Siwoo looks bewildered, his eyes wide as he reads something on a screen. Ryman's message seems to be causing confusion and disbelief. Siwoo stammers, clearly surprised by the message on his screen. Ryman's text appears to be causing a mix of confusion and anxiety. Siwoo scrolls through Ryman's message, his face growing increasingly puzzled. He still doesn't really understand what it means. Siwoo shakes his head, muttering to himself. He seems resigned, but not entirely convinced. Boss, a D rank appeared in Gimpo City. The guild members are preparing for an assault-type gate that's more than enough to handle it. Something's brewing, and it might not be just another demon assault. Boss's voice carries urgency, cutting through the air. Something significant is on the horizon, and Siwoo must prepare for it immediately. Everyone expected it. Pope Kim seems unprepared, but ready to greet the guest. The magic power is enormous. Excitement and tension fill the air. Yes, he exclaims, clearly excited and ready for whatever comes next. Again, healing is key. Good job, best of luck, too quiet, smashing to the gate head first. Understood, Ryman Church is not limited to medical treatment. Divine power can heal and punish. Whether you're a holy knight or an enemy on the battlefield, healing and smashing apply. Ryman seems unconcerned, perhaps even bored by Leo's dedication. Luna appears calm and supportive, assuring Ryman of her readiness. Siwoo acknowledges Ryman's orders, his tone tinged with resignation. He hopes this mission will bring him closer to returning home. Hope Kim nods, clearly focused on Ryman's request. He considers his options silently before responding. Hope Kim smiles, clearly pleased with the arrangement. CEO Choi waves enthusiastically, his laughter echoing through the hall. Master Lafart, with a look of kind concern, addresses Pope Kim. The arrangement seems to be more complex than expected. Master Lafart's nickname, Lafart Sante, belies his terrifying role as a church enforcer. He personally executes demons and heretics in the Vatican. The Erst under heaven of archbishops leads all believers, comes to have an audience with Riemann. At all. Gentle, he looked kind, but his nickname was not gentle. White Terror. People gave him a terrifying nickname despite wearing white priest robes. Of Riemann, Lafart saw him personally execute demonkind and heretics while leading the church's holy council. Holiness? Time, your presence fills me with deep emotion. Welcome to Earth. Manager Lafart's tone is firm and expectant. The church needs him, more than ever. Archbishop Lafart gestures urgently, his tone insistent. He throws something through a system window, clearly expecting Siwoo to understand its importance. Archbishop Lafart chuckles, clearly not taking himself seriously. His mistake is obvious, but forgiven. Archbishop Lafart's stern expression contrasts with his usual courtesy. Leaving him be might be best for now. Archbishop Bayer seems unconcerned, his tone casual yet formal. Archbishop Bayer's casual tone masks a hidden concern as he listens. There is more to discuss, though he doesn't press further just yet. Archbishop Bayer nods, then turns to leave with his companions. Siwoo waves them off, eager to begin. Siwoo frantically checks his phone, eyes wide with alarm. His voice rises in urgency as he speaks to someone unseen. First, triple. A. Siwoo's voice cracks with urgency. First, triple AH, but that's all. He seems to be reprimanding someone, his tone tense and exasperated. Siwoo's voice trembles as he speaks, clearly agitated. First, triple. But that's all. He appears to be reprimanding someone or something, his tone tense and exasperated. Siwoo exclaims. First, triple. But that's all. His voice conveys a mix of urgency and frustration. Siwoo starts. Low? Oops, as he stammers, clearly embarrassed by his outburst. Siwoo fumbles with the ark's lock, his movements clumsy and uncertain. Archbishop Ryman thanks Siwoo, her voice filled with genuine gratitude and relief. She explains they plan to dismantle the old walls soon, focusing on cultivating new resources for Eden's future. My suspicion has been confirmed. The growth rate of the church's reorganization is clearly related to this wriggling fragment. The growth rate of the church's reorganization has spiked dramatically. What invitation will trigger such a surge? The ark has collapsed, signaling a new phase for Ryman's church. Snow begins to fall, marking an ominous change in the era of revival. Reporter Yu Ha-min makes notes, her voice distant as Pope Kim Siwoo speaks to the camera. The screen behind him shows his live stream, now bustling with viewers. The goddess Ryman's voice fills the screen, her smile both comforting and intimidating. Pope Siwoo listens intently, his expression a mix of hope and trepidation. Pope Siwoo listens, eyes narrowing as he contemplates Ryman's gift. A month has passed since Ryman's gift, bringing both time and uncertainty. It's a test, Siwoo. Every detail matters. Course by course, you'll face challenges. Winter looks, you're prepared, friend. Have some aid. Wow, a gift. It seems the goddess just now again left us something. Sooner or later, World Forum, Awakened Kim resonance occurred. Siwoo will meet. He's confused, looking through emails and messages, clearly frustrated by the ambiguity. Siwoo scrolls through his messages, growing increasingly perplexed. He mutters to himself about the strange invitations flooding in. Siwoo scrolls through messages, his expression growing more puzzled. He mutters to himself, another invitation? This better not be a trap. Siwoo hesitates, his fingers hovering over the message from Team Leader Kim. Another summons, and he's not sure how to respond. Siwoo looks conflicted, his eyes flickering between Team Leader Kim and the message. He knows he can't refuse another summons. Siwoo's face contorts as he reads the official notice, clearly puzzled and wary. Emma suggests going to the United States and even Disneyland, surprising Siwoo with her sudden enthusiasm. Siwoo reads through the official notice, visibly confused by its content. Siwoo's eyes widen as he reads about a family trip to Disneyland. The prospect of such an opportunity seems too good to be true, creating a mix of excitement and suspicion. Siwoo's shoulders slump, reflecting his defeat and resignation. He has no choice but to comply with whatever comes next. Brother insists, but Siwoo shrugs it off with a reluctant nod. What trouble could it cause? Hee, it's a private jet. Turn out, he won rock, paper, scissors against Luna. My goodness, even first class isn't good enough for our family's first overseas trip. Hee, it's a private jet. First class isn't even good enough for our family's trip. Damn it, this luxury is thanks to me. Sitting next to a pig, thanks to my age? Siwoo groans in discomfort, clearly bothered by something. His friend remarks on their journey, trying to lighten the mood. Peter informs Siwoo of their 4-day stay in the United States, emphasizing their security detail will be thorough. Riemann seems distracted, her thoughts drifting as she speaks about the forum's final day. Siwoo looks curious but keeps quiet, waiting for more information. Ryman's voice trails off, lost in thought as she speaks of diplomatic gatherings and strategic probing. Siwoo tilts his head, curiosity evident but unspoken. Riemann's gaze shifts, her tone thoughtful as she considers Siwoo's potential value. Siwoo tilts his head, intrigued by the diplomatic implications Riemann mentions. Ryman's eyes narrow, her tone cautious, but they still don't realize it yet. Ryman's expression hardens as she speaks, her tone sharp and unyielding, but they still don't realize it yet. Kayahaha. This is seriously driving me crazy. Popularity with guys, need to be careful. She's here, bringing a flurry of sparkles. You must be ready. If you press this button, we're going grand tomorrow, right? Open like this? With just a touch, this rendering will be 10 times faster. This model, specifically for Inwook, it's quite capable. Michael's face contorts in confusion as he stammers out his greeting. Irregular, my name is Michael. Don't tell me you're you, Mr. Siwoo? Michael's voice lingers in the air, confusion evident as he meets Siwoo's gaze. Irregular, my name is Michael. Don't tell me you're you, Mr. Siwoo? Si-yeon bursts in, her fairy costume catching the light. Crazy? You really told me to give you this room? It's so pretty. Pope Kim Siwoo, you really received this room? It must look pretty nice to an American irregular like him. Pope Kim Siwoo receives a magic stone, a gift he didn't expect. Pope Siwoo confirms receipt of a magic stone, likely for a purpose yet to be revealed. Siwoo scratches his head, considering what to say next. Siwoo looks taken aback, his eyes wide as he tries to comprehend Ryman's words. Ryman's proposal is complex. Siwoo intently listens, clearly confused yet intrigued by her offer. Siwoo chuckles, clearly amused by David's exaggerated theatrics. "You're a real buzzkill of a competitor, Aiden," he teases, his tone light but attentive. Ryman looks serious, her tone unwavering as she explains the conditions of Siwoo's summoning. Ryman's voice is firm as she outlines Siwoo's situation, the gates of Eden looming in the background. Siwoo listens intently, his expression a mix of confusion and determination. Ryman's tone is confident as she discusses her satellite, Siwoo's curiosity evident in his expression. Ryman's satellite detected unusual resonance patterns, proving her experimental temple's significance. Siwoo looks intrigued yet wary. Ryman's temple appeared abruptly, defying human comprehension. The Holy Land transformed instantly, leaving Siwoo stunned. Ryman laughs, clearly enjoying Siwoo's confusion. He seems to lack experience with interdimensional connections but is now fully invested. "Huh? No one's trying to scam me. Gaia!" Mr. Michael rushed in, security team close behind. David's voice echoed with panic. "Are you okay?" Siwoo's brain was racing, trying to find a method. The solution to dimensional resonance seemed within reach. Siwoo hesitates, clearly considering the offer from Ryman's church. He seems wary but intrigued by the potential benefits. Siwoo considers Ryman's proposal, his brow furrowed in thought. Ryman watches him intently, her expression patient yet expectant. Siwoo looks conflicted, his eyes shifting between Ryman and the stream chat. Ryman waits patiently, her gaze steady and unfazed. Siwoo hesitates, his gaze flickering between Ryman and the stream chat messages. Ryman's words stir emotions Siwoo hasn't faced in years, making his resolve waver. But for what kind of reunion? A second thought brings no clarity. Wait, logically speaking, this device you want, artillery with divine power coatings, you recently experimented with these and they work. He appeals to emotions, not logic. The device he desires seems more personal than practical. Michael seems hesitant but accepts the terms of Ryman's order, showing a mix of relief and unease. He can't wait for his return to the order, despite the irregular joining process. Ryman continues her persuasive speech, emphasizing the importance of training and technology in joining the order. Leo listens intently, a mix of hope and nervousness evident in his expression. Ryman's persuasive tone leaves Siwoo uneasy, his arms half raised in a defensive posture. Siwoo's eyes widen, his voice shaking as he stammers a reply. Ryman cackles, her laughter echoing menacingly. Siwoo's voice trembles, his words barely audible. Ryman cackles darkly in response. Ryman's laughter echoes, dark and sinister. Siwoo trembles, his voice barely audible. Ryman chuckles darkly, her tone mocking. Siwoo, visibly shaken, tries to remain calm. Ryman's laughter continues, chilling the air. Siwoo looks around, realizing he's not alone in his confusion. Ryman's amused tone persists, growing more sinister with each word. Siwoo frowns, sensing a trap but unsure how to escape it. Ryman's amused tone hints at a trap, making Siwoo's frown more pronounced. His confusion is palpable as he hears the strange word, seeds. Ryman introduces Bastien, whose reputation precedes him. Siwoo's confusion intensifies. Ryman's analysis reveals a dangerous individual nearby. Tension builds as she suggests potential targets. Bastien's name sparks recognition, but Ryman seems to sense his presence directly. Siwoo feels a chill, uneasy about this meeting. Ryman's voice carries an air of authority, making Siwoo pause, his thoughts swirling with uncertainty. Bastien's name is mentioned, but Ryman's direct sense of him adds a layer of tension. Ryman's voice rings out, sharp and commanding. Siwoo nods, understanding the gravity of his new task. Bastien's name is barely a whisper in the background, adding to the tension. Siwoo's gaze shifts, his eyes lingering on Bastien and Aiden. He wonders if they know more than he does. Hope Kim Siwoo's expression darkens, his gaze lingering on Bastien and Aiden. He senses something off about their presence. Hope Kim Siwoo's eyes narrow, his tone dripping with disbelief and anger. "Are you begging for me to expose you?" he challenges Bastien and Aiden. Pope Kim Siwoo's face contorts, his voice laced with growing frustration. "Isn't it?" he demands, narrowing his eyes at Bastien and Aiden. Pope Kim Siwoo grimaces, his voice strained. "Use demonic energy if you have," he demands. Grim determination hardens his expression as he shouts, "Energy? Contact? Impossible." Siwoo's voice carries a note of disbelief. "Attack? The US? As long as it's good for clearing villains," he seems uncertain, his tone mixing confusion with resolve. Siwoo's voice trembles slightly. "You are qualified." He seems uncertain, his eyes narrowing as he takes in their scent. Siwoo's voice wavers. "And that energy? Power?" He looks around, his expression a mix of disbelief and dread. "Ominous Bastien, guys first. Arrested 7, the last one, Mr. Aiden, everyone's leaving. Those purifier stench, no, we need to investigate those overseas. Where's Aiden? Wait, weren't they 8? Misplaced something, feels like it's going to explode." Terror screams fill the air. An awakened terror attacks, chaos erupts everywhere. Aiden, where is he? Bastien's voice rings out in panic. Weren't there 8 of them? The situation grows more urgent with every second lost. The lower part of the building. It seems a magic bomb exploded in. It's off, security breached, who could have done it this quickly, and why now with demons on the loose? Tech SI, woo. System aids available. Magic bomb detected but not activated yet. Power concealed. How did they do it? Shielding failed, coming all the way to the US? Siwoo must act fast to stop the collapse. Siwoo is tasked with finding the last awoken demon, a dangerous mission that could prevent further chaos. Siwoo is challenged to explain his knowledge of impending danger, with Riemann pressing him for an answer. Riemann's voice resounds, demanding an explanation. Siwoo hesitates, searching for a response. Riemann's tone is stern, leaving no room for hesitation. Siwoo remains silent, weighed down by her demand. Riemann's gaze is intense, leaving Siwoo with no choice but to listen. The building trembles slightly in the background, adding to the tension. Riemann's voice is urgent, her message clear and pressing. The demonic energy seeps through, growing stronger with each passing second. Riemann's urgent message rings out, but it's too late. Siwoo steps into a magic circle already activated, surrounded by spilt blood and absorbed flesh. Riemann's plea rings urgent, but Siwoo sees the damage already done. Survivors cower, their faces a mix of fear and gratitude. Another altar stands nearby, marked by the suffering it has endured. Riemann's voice is urgent, yet Siwoo sees the damage that can't be undone. Survivors look to him with a mixture of hope and fear. Riemann's voice grows urgent. The passive skill activates, analyzing and confirming the opponent's evil acts. Riemann's voice intensifies, demanding action. Siwoo's list of crimes against humanity grows longer, each line a condemnation. Riemann's voice echoes with icy determination. Siwoo, visibly shaken, struggles to respond. Riemann's tone is cold and unyielding. Siwoo hesitates, clearly uneasy. Cult leader's tone is menacing, leaving Siwoo unsettled. Human groans, clearly distressed by something Riemann mentions. Demon King's explanation continues, hinting at a grim future for Siwoo. Riemann lists goals, each more troubling than the last. SUCC of our plan. Global affairs talk about this trash mayhem. Preparations went as planned. Couldn't waste the sacrifices. Third goal, by assisting in suppressing terrorism, we detonated remaining bombs. Things wouldn't go smoothly. The quality of offerings was better than expected, managing to offer a considerable number of satisfactory sacrifices. Still, we couldn't have anticipated such quality. Grim laughter echoes, mingling with the tension of unspoken secrets. Ha ha ha. You didn't expect this, did you? Ha. Grim laughter continues, echoing through the air. Isn't it? Holiness, everything is relative, isn't it? So far, just a small incident. But where things are happening? Holiness, everything is relative, isn't it? So far, just a small incident. Things are part of my plan, Your Holiness. Not a small incident at all. Your Holiness, north is where the unrest begins. Might be worth checking out. Different this time. Commander, it'll be like this and acting, shameless. What do you think dragging half-dead soldiers under your command means? Goddess Riemann laughs maniacally at Siwoo, her eyes gleaming with malice. I'll smash you to pieces, she declares, and wait for our next meeting. Siwoo's face contorts in anger and fear, his voice dripping with resentment as he spits out the accusation. Riemann's mockery continues, leaving Siwoo visibly agitated and more determined to prove himself. He senses a new challenge looming on the horizon. It seems Kim's salvation has arrived, bringing salvation with a holy barrier. Siwoo's building stands firm, but the tension remains high. Wheezing, Siwoo checks the building's stability. Relief washes over him as he sees no further danger. Those wings, no matter how many, are impressive. The rebuilding efforts are minimal, focusing on restoring key infrastructure. The US aid was crucial, though at a high cost. Kim Siwoo's involvement likely saved many lives, but the toll remains significant. What will they think when he returns, wings and all? Si-yeon's concern lingers, a reminder of the chaos to come. Siwoo's grandmother worries, knowing more danger lies ahead. Siwoo receives a call, his expression wary as he considers the ongoing incident. What would you believe? Our unexpected turn of events. Don't worry, it won't be as sloppy as before. Michael's fate hangs in the balance, entrusted to him by the Riemann Church. The US president's call signals a serious matter, one that requires immediate attention. Michael seems uncertain, weighing his response carefully. The invitation to visit the Riemann Church temple lingers in the air, unspoken yet palpable. Brother Kim In-uk seems troubled, his expression a mix of concern and frustration. Si-yeon wonders aloud why he looks so down, sensing something is amiss. Si-yeon's tone is playful, but underlies a hint of concern for Kim In-uk's demeanor. Si-yeon seems uncertain, her tone a mix of amusement and curiosity as she ponders Kim In-uk's suggestion. Xian agrees with brother Kim, adding her own enthusiasm for future adventures. No way! Kim Siwoo seems taken aback, his expression shifting from confusion to surprise. Korean President SEO, along with the United States representative, expressed gratitude to Kim Siwoo for his recent heroic actions. Riemann's message arrives, a mix of gratitude and cryptic instructions. President SEO arrived, greeting Kim Siwoo as Korea's representative. Many lives were saved thanks to his actions against awakened terrorists. President SEO inquires about an unexpected and urgent talk, suggesting a looming diplomatic crisis. Pope Kim Siwoo thanks him for significant actions taken during the recent terrorist incidents. President SEO asks about Minister Yu, noting his busy schedule with corruption cases and restructuring efforts. Sonho adds that he isn't idle. President SEO seems troubled, his tone suggesting urgency and complexity. Minister Yu, though busy, appears eager to discuss something important. President SEO's expression darkens, his gaze fixed on something beyond Minister Yu. The conversation feels strained and urgent, yet both men seem to be holding back. President SEO's tone remains firm, but his eyes hint at unease as he listens to Minister Yu. The tension between them is palpable, each word weighed carefully. President SEO's voice is calm, but his words suggest he's grappling with a difficult decision. Minister Yu appears anxious, her tone hesitant as she seeks his approval. Kim explains the situation, detailing how the former North Korean region has transformed over the past 5 years. Until now, the lost lands have been quiet. Now, alarms are sounding as raid frequencies increase, especially along China's border. The news reports speak of escalating purifier activities worldwide, with tensions rising in China and beyond. Opportunities come with challenges, Siwoo. Controlling an awakened individual is no easy feat. Non-stop corruption cases and chaotic incidents are reported every day in South Korea. The year's end is rapidly approaching, bringing unprecedented challenges to the Ability Administration Guild. The Ability Management Bureau has dispatched an advance team to secure a base in the Lost Lands. The government and various factions are united for the strategy meeting, with the goal of reclaiming these lands within 1 month. Governing the Lost Lands will be no easy task, even with an advance team securing a base. The strategy meeting seeks to reclaim them within 1 month, acknowledging the unknown challenges ahead. President SEO must cooperate or face unknown risks. The stakes are high for both Koreas. Mr. Siwoo, calculations are meaningless without your help. That's correct. We wouldn't have even considered a northward advance. Riemann's alliance is more than just a promise. Their interests seem aligned, but with a catch. Riemann's alliance demands active cooperation with the government in return for their support. Siwoo's plea for understanding falls on deaf ears as his struggle remains unacknowledged. Siwoo's plea goes unheeded as the leaders remain unconvinced by his words. Increased negotiations. But ever since Kim Siwoo appeared, the government's authority began to split apart. Everything changed as National Federation and Guild struggled to coordinate their opinions. Just to think he might have attempted a northern war. He is the head of a profit-driven organization. Team leader Kim raises an eyebrow, clearly surprised. Riemann smiles, confident and unbothered. Riemann gestures towards a reconstructed temple, her smile unwavering. Siwoo looks around in awe at the faithful gathered before him. Riemann's smile broadens, her eyes gleaming with anticipation. Siwoo shifts uncomfortably, looking around at the expectant crowd. Siwoo fidgets, clearly uncomfortable with his new title. Riemann's smile remains, unwavering. Siwoo hesitates, his eyes flitting between Riemann and the ground, clearly struggling to find a response. Siwoo acknowledges Riemann's request, his tone reluctant yet resigned. Siwoo's voice wavers slightly. Anti-undead weapon with holy power? He seems both intrigued and skeptical. Goddess Riemann speaks of research and connections, hinting at a plan brewing in her mind. Siwoo looks both intrigued and wary, his eyes flickering between Riemann and Luna as if weighing the implications. In UK returns, seeming both excited and puzzled by his surroundings. Riemann's enthusiasm is infectious, though her motives remain unclear. Yeah. Siwoo, you're back? It feels heavier, like holy power has increased. Riemann's voice rings out, clear and commanding. Siwoo looks up, puzzled. Huh? Brother, look at this. You're back? Talk to you for a moment. Winter vacation activity notice? Siwoo's face twists in confusion. This time? Felt sorry? New school? Things like this? Siwoo frowns, clearly puzzled by something in the dialogue. This time? Felt sorry? He repeats, his expression shifting with confusion. Siwoo looks bewildered, his eyes narrowing at Inuk's question about his school observation activity. He repeats, huh? With increasing confusion. Kim Dong-sik from Paju City. Of course, this isn't a normal request. Riemann's message about the final stage of their plan stresses urgency and importance. Lee will contact Luna and the Fart immediately. Everyone must be informed swiftly. Riemann seems preoccupied, likely with matters in Eden. Lee is clearly eager to inform others, emphasizing urgency. Riemann's expression suggests she's troubled, while Lee seems anxious to share news. Siwoo looks slightly bemused by their exchange. Riemann seems concerned, her tone urgent. Siwoo looks confused, trying to understand her point. Riemann's concern lingers, her voice tense. Siwoo looks puzzled, seeking clarity. Riemann's expression is earnest, but Siwoo remains confused. He wonders if his younger brother has joined the field trip unexpectedly. Siwoo looks puzzled, clearly unsure about his younger brother's presence and the field trip plans. Riemann's presence is known, but her motives remain unclear. The church people are wary of outsiders, especially those with monstrous connections. Miss Yen, right? You should escort her. Miss Yen, come with us. We have come to ensure your safety on the way here, and nothing happened. The crowd echoes with surprise and disbelief, each word emphasizing the shock of seeing their own pope in such a setting. Brother, their own big brother has become the pope. It's both astonishing and hard to process. Kim Yen stammers, clearly embarrassed by the situation. The crowd watches her, their expressions a mix of shock and disapproval. Kim Yen stammers, clearly flustered by the situation. Hwang Young-yun watches intently, his expression a mix of amusement and concern. Hwang Young-yun interrupts, his voice firm but gentle. Kim Si-yeon fidgets nervously. Hope Hwang Young-yun raises a cautionary hand, his tone unwavering yet kind. Kim Si-yeon shifts uncomfortably, her eyes darting between him and Riemann church representatives. Pope Hwang Young-young's expression remains serious, his gaze unwavering. Kim Si-yeon fidgets, her voice barely audible as she speaks. Riemann's promise lingers, a heavy burden for Siwoo to carry. Sister Riemann offers protection, but at a cost. Siwoo considers her offer thoughtfully. Riemann's offer comes with conditions. Siwoo mulls over her proposal silently. Siwoo's eyes widen in shock, his voice trembling as he stammers a response. Inuk, his little brother, looks up with hope in his eyes. Riemann's voice echoes through the stream, her words urgent and commanding. The gate has appeared in a large rank Sanuip, Paju City. Jix, are you ready? A large C-rank gate appears in Mun, signaling the start of solo raids for trainees. Yeah, victory is theirs as they charge forward, shouting glory to Riemann. Siwoo stirs, disoriented. His body jerks as he adjusts to his surroundings. Cheers rise from the crowd, directed at a figure in the distance. Victory is declared over an unknown foe on Earth. Speech cleared. Success achieved at F-rank gate. Boss monster suppressed. The gate closes with a final clang, battle results displayed on the screen. Peace has been restored, at least for now. Injuries are minimal, a fortunate turn of events. Riemann's order remains vigilant, though their leader is still uncertain about the military force required to defend Eden. The first major threat looms large, but its true nature remains unknown. Riemann's order struggles with their current situation, showing signs of fatigue but maintaining discipline. Leo is tasked with handling Freeman's porters, likely to ensure they contribute effectively. Riemann's order is visibly strained but remains focused, handling tasks with efficiency. Mana stones are being placed in a bin to boost mana sync, indicating ongoing preparation for battle. Siwoo mutters something about activation conditions, looking puzzled as he starts a quest titled Ancient Fragment. The air around him seems to hum with latent energy. Goddess Riemann watches Siwoo intently, her expression unreadable. Siwoo glances around nervously, unsure of what's expected of him. Goddess Riemann's eyes scrutinize Siwoo, awaiting his response to her summons. Siwoo shifts uncomfortably, trying to read between her words. Goddess Riemann's gaze intensifies, waiting for Siwoo to respond. Siwoo shifts uncomfortably, searching for a valid excuse. Siwoo fidgets, searching for a response to Riemann's gaze. Riemann's gaze intense, Siwoo stammers for a response. Riemann smiles, eyes sparkling with mischief. Siwoo looks bewildered, cheeks flushed. Riemann instructs Seal Hua and Jun Woo to handle close-quarters combat. Chea and Luna, along with Leo, are assigned for Area of Effect magic. Chea and Luna plan to handle Area of Effect magic. Leo is part of their team. Operation will continue despite the short visit. North Korean resources could be a significant gain. South Korea's national power might see a surge if secured. South Korea's resources could prove crucial in securing Eden's power. Your Holiness, this place feels like a desolate wasteland, even more so than Seoul before the war. Goddess Riemann's orders lead them northward, towards a structure that hints at ancient habitation. They must gather resources for their stay in this harsh land. Riemann's orders guide them to this crude fort. Siwoo gathers firewood, ready for their stay. Though unusual, Siwoo considers camping here. The atmosphere feels a bit strange, even for a world filled with monsters and magic. Leo and Luna stretch their legs for the first time in a while, showing signs of weariness. Their judgment is quick and accurate as expected. Someone is missing, and Siwoo's concern is palpable. Siwoo's voice trembles as he pleads repeatedly, the desperation clear in his every word. Siwoo's voice breaks with each plea, his desperation palpable. Leo and Luna's topics are getting repetitive. Siwoo suggests a break, hoping for something more engaging. A sub named OUEST has been generated, offering 10,000 divine points. The task is to enter and purify the fortress of the dead. Aren't you going to use them in this? The old days seem doable with the scenery reminding us. Support the remaining 3 of you for it. Ryman praises Siwoo's shot, signaling he must prepare for his next move. Ryman observes Siwoo's shot, clearly impressed by his first-hand experience in battle. That surely must be. But surely they're insane. Kuruk, energy now encroached by demonic forces. Don't be depressed, they are just monsters. Huak, it's not too late to pay respects. Your Majesty's demands are serious. You too know this. Your Majesty's summons are sudden and alarming. The residents of Daejeon remember the demon outbreak well, whispering about strange appearances in the night. Ryman's voice echoes. Like this? Have ended up in Daejeon. It was heaven. The purifiers must act now to contain demonic outbreaks. If we hadn't handled it... It seems a second wave is preparing. Huh? That? Bugs? Did you see that? Here too. Faith eras. The divine power's influence seems to be spreading. Kuh. The power is grotesque, same as back there. It's an outer god. The living fought among themselves, using people as small fragments of power. That jerk told us to come here. If this isn't hell for the residents, what is? Ryman's voice cuts through, forcing Siwoo to reconsider his newfound power and position. The world of Eden is far from what he expected. Ryman's demands loom, leaving Siwoo with a heavy burden. The wind howls mournfully, carrying the plea of souls in distress. Ryman's challenge looms, hanging in the wind with unanswered questions. Irregular fragments swirl around Siwoo, suggesting a chaotic presence. Ryman needs Siwoo to get closer, perhaps to gather more information or forge a connection. The fragment's high wriggling percentage hints at growing instability. Completion conditions have been updated. Enter the Fortress of the Dead. Clear the remaining foreign power. Ryman's conditions are clear and dire. Find survivors or face death alone. Ryman's conditions are met, yet the threat remains. More survivors must be found. Ryman's conditions are met, yet more survivors must be found. The sect's secret is related to the worldly deity. Baekmyong was deep in conspiracy, but now their efforts are in vain. Guys, more secrets lie within. We must search thoroughly. They pretended to know something about the North, but there's a survivor nearby. This is strange. Let's regroup and continue. I see you again. That voice, an unpleasant crawl inside my brain. Oracle echoes, a snake slithering through my thoughts. Ak, Earth, Head, D and Earth. My white wings have appeared. An apostle from another world has appeared, but they are only a vanguard. Complete is conditioned to eliminate them for now. But if you ignore them... Ryman's voice echoes, mocking his situation. Now, do not interfere, she says with disgust. The only one who matters is mine anyway. Luna and Liel appear, ready to put up a holy barrier. This power seems suspicious, yet necessary. Siwoo hesitates, wings flitting nervously. What kind of grand order? He mutters, eyeing the strange symbols appearing before him. Siwoo clenches his fists, determination mixed with reluctance in his eyes. So, causality and consequences be damned, he mutters, staring at the screen as if expecting something more to appear. Siwoo's determination hardens, a stark contrast to his earlier mockery and reluctance. Siwoo's resolve hardens, a grim determination etching his features as he contemplates the grave consequences. The consequences of his actions loom, leaving Siwoo with a heavy resolve. Activating his skill, he focuses intently, preparing for whatever comes next. The pain intensifies, signaling a fierce battle ahead. It seems to be a struggle, the pain evident in every cry. The opponent is clearly outmatched, overwhelmed by something unseen. The rank is that of a mere novice, yet it tears apart with ease. The scream echoes, sharp and urgent, signaling immense pain or fear. Ryman's movements are incredibly familiar, reminiscent of their past encounters in Eden. Divinity itself calls upon him, offering a chance to rebuild or absorb power. The task before Siwoo is daunting, involving the manipulation of dimensions and divine authority. Special unlocked! The system quest WHI Titwint has been officially approved. Wings completed. Rewards are being calculated. Divinity has decided. A scenario awaits your assignment. A god demands submission. Will he accept or resist? Ryman's tone is firm yet oddly uncertain, leaving Siwoo to wonder if he should comply or resist. Riemann's plea is urgent, her voice trembling slightly. Siwoo feels a mix of guilt and determination. Riemann's plea carries a weight of desperation, her voice barely above a whisper. Siwoo senses her sincerity and determination. You hear prayers directed toward you. The voices blend into a faint melody, urging and hopeful. You hear holy points increase by 10, directed towards you. The voices merge into a soft, encouraging melody. He seems to have willpower, awakening one person from earlier. How's that guy faring? It's a relief he's unconscious, he might be a survivor, he suffered a lot. The Apostle Dragon's core has been absorbed, but the gate disappears? Doesn't he look very young to be an adult apostle? You hear prayers directed towards you, and a special rank has been unlocked. Ryman contemplates a young awakened, considering his potential. Prayers directed at him suggest he might be special. Brainwashing could explain his survival and current state. Ryman's words carry weight, hinting at Siwoo's uncertain future in Eden. The task ahead seems daunting yet necessary. Siwoo's voice trembles, questioning the ease with which he has been granted divine power. He wonders if his transformation is finally beginning. Ryman's voice rings clearly, the system responding with updates. Siwoo feels a mix of awe and uncertainty. Siwoo's eyes widen as Ryman's voice commands him to check something. He frowns, curious about what growth rate she refers to. Ryman's voice echoes through, guiding Siwoo to check something mysterious. His curiosity grows as he wonders what secret lies ahead. Behemoth, the ancient spirit, emerges from the wriggling fragment. Its presence looms ominously. Goddess Ryman calls upon an ancient spirit, Behemoth. The air hums with power and anticipation as Siwoo's fate hangs in the balance. "Why are you suddenly treating me like this, noble spirit beast?" Behemoth's tone shifts, his voice dripping with unexpected disdain. "You possess me? Guide me?" Behemoth's voice carries an edge, a mix of disdain and frustration. "You possess me? Guide me?" His tone is challenging, as if he expects something in return. "What happened in the past is not something you'd know, little retriever." Ryman's voice echoes. Among them, there existed both life and death, creating an ominous tension. Ryman's voice continues. Among them, there existed both life and death, hinting at a struggle between existence and annihilation. Ryman's voice drones on. Among them, there existed both life and death, suggesting an eternal struggle between existence and annihilation. Ryman's voice continues. Even that was inevitable. The sky splits apart, hinting at a great upheaval to come. Ryman's voice drones on. Even that was inevitable. The passage of time feels like an eternity in slumber. Ryman's voice continues. This north is a battlefield between purifiers and the Bayak Mayan cult. The air grows thick with the scent of death. Ryman's voice grows more insistent. This north is a battlefield between purifiers and the Baekmyeon cult. The air thickens with the scent of death, foreboding the coming struggle. Ryman's voice continues. Space-time can be twisted and turned. The air seems to ripple with unseen forces, hinting at the coming struggle. Ryman's voice resonates. Space-time can be twisted and turned. The cracks between dimensions begin to shimmer, hinting at instability. The cracks between dimensions shimmer ominously, hinting at the instability ahead. Siwoo looks around, confusion etched on his face. He looks around, puzzled by the strange surroundings. Is he awake? How does your body feel? Directed toward one who saved you, holy points increase by 10, much pressure. Holy points increase by 10, much pressure. She tastes the broth, savoring each mouthful. Her eyes widen slightly with appreciation. Siwoo hesitates, looking down at the bowl before him. Ryman, as a viewer, seems to share his confusion. Ryman's voice echoes, You had nothing left, Siwoo. The screen displays text, holy points increase by 10. Silence fills the air as Siwoo looks down at the bowl before him. Silence lingers as Siwoo gazes into the bowl, his expression uncertain. Silence fills the air as Siwoo contemplates, his expression a mix of doubt and resignation. Tai's voice echoes, Again, you are the one who died again. Silence follows, heavy with unspoken truths. Siwoo stands in shock, staring at a mysterious message on his screen. Ryman's voice, distant yet urgent, echoes through the silence. Siwoo feels a strange mix of fear and determination. Siwoo prepares to leave, determined to fulfill his new mission. Siwoo reassures Behemoth, though he's already preparing to leave. Ryman's voice lingers, a command disguised as calm. Siwoo remains silent, weighing his next move. Ryman's gaze holds Siwoo, her voice a subtle command. What you gain will depend on your actions within this pantheon. Ryman's gaze pierces Siwoo, her voice resolute. We will face trials in the labyrinth. Ryman's voice is firm, her expression serious. Guard the place well. Ryman's voice rings through, clear and commanding. Soul, this place. Ryman's voice echoes, Siwoo! Disbelief lingers in her tone. Siwoo winces, feeling truly disgusted with his current situation. Ryman's voice rings with unexpected joy and surprise. Siwoo feels a mix of confusion and disgust. Siwoo looks taken aback, his confusion mirroring Ryman's joy. Miss you too, Ryman, but this feels off somehow. Haven't seen you in a while, Siwoo. Is it just me missing you, or do you feel something too? It's been a while, Siwoo. I didn't expect to see you again so soon. Ryman's challenge leaves Siwoo flustered and unsure how to respond. Ryman's voice puzzles Siwoo, her divinity evident but unspoken. His confusion grows as he struggles to understand her true form and intentions. Ryman's voice rings clear, challenging his understanding of her true form and intentions. Ryman's voice continues to challenge, pushing him to perceive beyond surface understanding. The star system and Gaia's name echo with significance yet unexplored. Taro repeats, emphasizing her presence. The ground seems to shift beneath Siwoo's feet, adding an unsettling twist to their conversation. Tara's voice echoes. Same thing. The ground shifts subtly beneath Siwoo, emphasizing her point. Are you ready to approach each other? Yes, we also once lived while caring deeply for each other. Puppy, your companion, are you ready to approach the truth? Ryman addresses Siwoo, her tone laced with a mix of expectation and exasperation. She questions him, unsure if he truly grasps the weight of his situation. Lehman's tone is sharp and probing, clearly awaiting Siwoo's response. He seems taken aback, questioning her motives and his own situation. Riemann's tone suggests she expects immediate compliance, but Siwoo appears uncertain and defiant. Ryman's tone is authoritative, leaving Siwoo uncertain and on edge. He seems prepared to defy her demands. Ryman's gaze is intense, her words hanging in the air as she challenges Siwoo's resolve. The implications of his survival weigh heavily on him. Siwoo's voice trembles as he questions his own past, the weight of betrayal heavy in his words. Ryman's pleased tone carries a hint of satisfaction, as if she has achieved something significant. Her words seem to reassure yet subtly threaten Siwoo, leaving him uncertain about his fate. Ryman's words suggest she has plans for Siwoo, but her tone hints at a hidden agenda. Lehman's tone conveys a mixture of authority and something more, hinting at unresolved tensions. Siwoo seems bewildered by her words, unsure where this conversation is headed. Ryman's tone hardens, leaving Siwoo puzzled about her true intentions. Ryman's gaze is stern, her tone leaving no room for misinterpretation. Siwoo senses the gravity of his situation. Ryman's gaze remains unwavering, her tone leaving no doubt about her expectations. Siwoo struggles to comprehend the weight of his new responsibilities. He fidgets, unsure how to reply to such a loaded question. Siwoo's mind races, grappling with the weight of Ryman's question. He senses the gravity of her words, knowing his fate is intertwined with humanity's destiny. Siwoo's eyes widen as he processes Ryman's words, realizing the immense responsibility now on his shoulders. The future of Earth hangs in the balance. Studio News message hangs in the air, urging action. This is the future Earth will face if you cannot show you this sight. Goddess Ryman's words resonate, emphasizing that evil and her enemies are inextricably linked to her path. Siwoo must remember his enemies are both nasty and relentless, growing stronger through their pursuit. Dio, you know about that guy told a guy named North Korea happened to me to visit. That guy to visit give you a nameless. Kind of insurance, anyway. Earth's Kim Siwoo. Being like a pitiful being, yes, somewhat. Gasp. Do not forget that those who have surpassed you are humanity itself, coming back to reclaim their destiny. Yet a being that should not return are you. Whoa. The screen erupts with shocking brightness, momentarily blinding Siwoo. Lord Human. Siwoo. Arg. Are you alright, is this? What kind of ill-mannered god? Siwoo's voice lingers with disbelief. Ryman's mockery hangs heavy in the air, fueling his frustration. Siwoo clenches his fists, clearly struggling with his anger. Siwoo's anger palpably builds as he contemplates Ryman's mocking tone. Siwoo clenches his jaw, irritation clear in his stance. Siwoo's clenched jaw and irritated tone suggest he's not amused by the puppy's intrusion. Ryman's voice lingers, but Siwoo remains unconvinced. The atmosphere grows tense as he considers her request. Ryman's tone turns serious, but Siwoo remains skeptical. Clerics gather around, awaiting his response. Clerics discuss strategies, their voices low but urgent. Ryman's voice carries a mix of urgency and frustration as she speaks, hinting at a complex task ahead for Siwoo. She mentions Terra's artificial creations, suggesting ongoing challenges in North Korea. Ryman's words suggest a significant change for Siwoo, hinting at an elevated status within her realm. The system update indicates new capabilities and challenges ahead. Ryman seems uncertain, her voice hesitant as she seeks Michael's permission to contact him. The situation appears delicate, leaving room for potential conflict or miscommunication. Ryman seems conflicted, her tone wavering as she seeks Michael's approval to communicate. The situation is tense, awaiting his response. Ryman hesitates, her voice trailing off as she awaits Michael's reply, the atmosphere thick with unspoken tension. Ryman explains the device, emphasizing its interdimensional capabilities and efficiency. Ryman's explanation leaves Siwoo confused about their connection to Eden. The weakening signal concerns her, making temporary communication vital. Ryman seems agitated, her words rushing out as she worries about a connection issue. Siwoo looks taken aback, his brow furrowed in concern. Ryman's voice grows more agitated, her words tumbling out urgently. Siwoo listens intently, his expression serious. Ryman's tone sharpens, her urgency palpable. Siwoo processes the numbers, a grim expression settling on his face. Ryman's voice conveys urgency as she reveals the staggering amount needed. Siwoo's expression grows grim, calculating the enormity. Ryman's voice presses on, the numbers staggering. Siwoo's expression hardens as he processes the cost. Siwoo recalls the debt from his past, the massive rent deposit he couldn't afford. The memory of being kicked out haunts him. Siwoo's voice trembles as he processes the enormity of the sum. 50 million felt like a fortune back then. Luna's laughter rings out, breaking the tense silence. Siwoo squirms under her amused gaze. Goddess Ryman's voice rings clear, her tone sharp and authoritative. Siwoo hesitates, his expression a mix of relief and unease as he accepts the stones. Siwoo's face contorts in frustration, his voice laced with sarcasm as he spits out each word. Siwoo's voice drips with sarcasm as he replies, clearly not impressed. Ryman hesitates, then insists Siwoo prepare mentally first. Siwoo agrees, though his tone suggests reluctance. Ryman urges Siwoo to step out and prepare mentally, ensuring he's ready for their important conversation. Surely, Ryman didn't step away for long. A moment's break could disrupt their important connection. Ryman delivers a stern, commanding tone. Siwoo remains silent, feeling the weight of her words. Siwoo's expression is tense, his voice strained as he speaks of burning billions in hatred. Ryman's gaze remains unyielding, her tone unwavering. Siwoo's voice trembles with unshed emotion as he speaks of his struggles and hatred. Ryman's serious gaze never wavers, her tone firm and unwavering. Ryman's stern tone commands Siwoo's attention, leaving no room for doubt. Siwoo stands in a dimly lit room, his eyes wide as he looks at Ryman. She speaks with authority, setting forth the terms of their deal. Ryman's voice carries an air of finality as she outlines the terms, leaving Siwoo with a mix of dread and determination. Siwoo's fate hangs in the balance, his future as uncertain as the divine measures now unfolding. Siwoo, you must prepare to be a counterbalance against the demonic threat. Divine measures are in motion. Ryman's words loom large, demanding Siwoo's attention and commitment. Without proper rank or divine support, his struggle intensifies. Siwoo is tasked with becoming a divine being, though the risk is high. He acknowledges the necessity without hesitation. Siwoo considers the prospect with a mix of curiosity and determination. He wonders if ascending to godhood is truly possible. Ryman laughs maniacally, declaring herself as Siwoo's patron god. She insists on treating him with respect to boost his morale. Ryman's voice rings with authority as she declares Siwoo his new role. The promise of divinity looms, setting the stage for an uncertain future. Ryman's declaration rings out, binding Siwoo to his new destiny. The path ahead is fraught with uncertainty. Siwoo looks puzzled, tilting his head as he reads the message. Ryman watches intently, her gaze steady. Ryman's message hints at a deeper bond than just companionship. Siwoo's expression suggests he senses something significant is about to be revealed. Miss Si-yeon is teasing Siwoo about cuteness, suggesting a playful dynamic between them. In-wook looks worried, his expression tense as Siwoo reassures him. Siwoo winces, clearly in pain. Ryman laughs boisterously, her eyes gleaming mischievously. You started it, big brother! Ryman's laughter rings out, her eyes gleaming with mischief. Siwoo winces in pain but tries to hide it. Ryman's laughter continues, her tone mischievous. Siwoo winces but keeps his expression neutral. Ryman's laughter fades, replaced by a mysterious silence. Mr. Lee Eun-taek awaits word on his condition with growing concern. Mr. Lee Eun-taek continues to praise Siwoo, noting his potential and growth. Luna seems impressed by Siwoo's progress in training. Luna's approval suggests Siwoo is making progress, but Mr. Lee Eun-taek hints he has more to prove. Holy points are accumulating, yet Mr. Eun-taek insists more must be done. Thanks to the holy points steadily piling up, it seems Mr. Eun-taek won't have to worry about them for a while. Thank you, Mr. Eun-taek. The Church of Ryman always tries to give people hope and peace. Even if it's difficult, trust in the government and wait. When all the battles are over, this status will be real. It's real. This status, even though it still doesn't feel real, the window reminds me that prayers are directed towards something important. Everyone's prayers are directed towards something important, but what waits for him is uncertain. Storm? The question lingers, hanging in the air like a foreboding shadow. Cause? I offer my body to you for the great accomplishment that history awaits. The tension builds as the camera focuses on Siwoo's determined face, eyes fixed ahead with resolve. Breaking news spreads mysteriously, claiming they are offering themselves as sacrifices to a god. Many countries report by Baekmyung Church's drug across the world. Faith in their god strengthens, especially in Asia. Goddess Ryman's message spreads rapidly, causing unrest in Asia. Faith in her god grows stronger with each passing moment. Goddess Ryman's intentions remain unclear, leaving doubt among followers and critics alike. Ryman's question lingers, seeking Siwoo's response. Lucian nods, his eyes reflecting uncertainty. Ryman's demand rings out, leading Siwoo to consider his next move. Siwoo's fate hangs in the balance as the Baekmyung Church prepares for conflict. Much, Si-yeon. Breaking news. Dispatched in advance force to North Korea appears the Baekmyung Church and guilds have clashed urgently there. Right, Hyung. You got this, Siwoo. The stakes are high. Please don't, Dad. I'll make it up to you, I promise. The tension builds as Siwoo's determination wavers, mirroring the turmoil in his hometown struggles. Life is a mix of love and loss. Even so, there is a way. The cruel reality of life's emptiness hangs heavy. He has nowhere to turn, no sanctuary in sight. People pray to Lord Pluto, hoping for salvation. The world is not yet safe from destruction. Ryman asserts her position as a high-ranking god, but acknowledges Earth's safety is not yet assured. Ryman's voice carries authority and a hint of amusement. Her words suggest a complex relationship with her sibling Terra. He has fought and struggled even as a mere ant crawling across this star. The way here is desperate and fraught with peril. Informed, this church is already fighting the Goblin Guild and healers from Seohwa Guild. Supposedly, Luna and Leo are broken out on the ground. Goddess Ryman outlines her plan, mentioning increased church followers and battles ahead. Goddess Ryman continues her briefing, outlining the urgency of the situation. Goddess Ryman speaks emphatically, her tone leaving no room for argument. Siwoo listens intently, his expression a mix of concern and determination. Goddess Ryman's voice booms, her authority undeniable. Siwoo nods steadfastly, his resolve clear. Goddess Ryman's voice echoes, ominous and commanding. Siwoo remains silent, his expression unreadable. No, this is too big a task. Considering your mission in the current panel's dialogue, Siwoo is contemplating his next move, unsure if he can really fight what's being asked of him. Siwoo senses the approaching danger, the tension in Eden growing palpable. Ryman's voice carries a mix of surprise and approval. Ryman's voice lingers, filled with both surprise and approval. The mention of Lucifer casts a shadow over the conversation. Me too. It seems Lucifer has come to Earth again, I interfere with her vision. Righteousness or enmity, his friend or foe. Time has passed, yet duty calls despite excuses. She remains unmoved by his efforts. The sky above is indifferent, mirroring his cold resolve. What can he do but press on? Ryman's voice carries an unyielding tone. Allow me to guide you, Siwoo. Different dimensions await. Demon King of Sloth, Beltagor, prepares for an invasion. Demon Queen Lilith arrives, her presence ominous and commanding. Studio Newell displays a mix of confusion and determination in Siwoo's expression as he reads through the text. So the final boss before me now is... A long absence now met with a weak greeting. Rhyming her lips, she casts a skill named Holy Spear LV Max. The arena tension ripples. The tension in the arena heightens as the Holy Spear LV Max skill prepares to unleash its devastating power. The tension builds as Siwoo's fate hangs in the balance, his future uncertain. To think, this feeble offering is insignificant to me. Goddess Ryman's power grows, her reign expanding ever wider. Siwoo's confidence wavers, hinting at the gravity of his impending task. Siwoo clenches his fists, determination mixed with bitterness. The opportunity before him feels both a curse and a chance to reclaim his lost youth. Siwoo's gaze shifts to Ryman, a mix of anger and determination in his eyes. Siwoo's eyes narrow, his tone cold and resolute as he speaks. Mercy, entirely. Siwoo's voice hardens, leaving no room for doubt. So then, truly, the end. Demeter has submitted. The Demon King's challenge is official. Even warnings from a Demon King suggest dire consequences. Will Siwoo face his enemy directly? Terra's system detects perfect opposition, yet a direct collision isn't possible. Uton warns Siwoo to be cautious with his latent ability. The system is recalculating causalities and opponent ranks, hinting at significant changes. Siwoo's latent ability is growing stronger, preparing for a confrontation. She notices him growing stronger, each rank absorbed making her presence more imminent. She senses a dangerous thought, one that could distort reality itself. She ponders, her eyes narrowing, considering a dangerous path. What if deviating from the expected course? Your Holiness, this isn't over yet, Remen. Your turn's up, finish you off might as well here and now. Still hiding like a syringe, I see. You've been a thorn of truces, or timing in my side regardless. Grim determination sets in as Siwoo prepares for the confrontation. Siwoo's voice cracks with sudden realization and shock. Siwoo's voice trembles, his mind racing with questions. How can a mere human possess such overwhelming power? Ryman's voice echoes with sincerity, yet a hint of impatience underlies her words. Siwoo's tone wavers, caught between awe and skepticism. Uton. It's a strange and unfamiliar title, yet it carries an air of importance. Ooh, ah! The screen flickers and distorts, leaving Siwoo disoriented. Tension builds as Siwoo's surroundings begin to blur, hinting at his impending departure. The confusion and shock on Siwoo's face grow more pronounced. Ryman's message is cryptic, leaving Siwoo even more perplexed. What had he done? This must be a joke, right? His situation grows more bizarre, if that's possible. It's a bizarre holy power indeed. But what does it mean for him? He looks bewildered, questioning the reality of the strange power surging through him. He questions the nature of his newfound abilities, unsure if this is reality or some form of illusion. In-wook wonders if he's speaking to a friend or himself, questioning the identity of In-wook in his past. He ponders how this fake In-wook could be stronger than him and whether it matters now. In-wook contemplates siblings and home, suggesting he's revisiting memories or questions about his past. Siwoo ponders memories of siblings and a young girl named Sien, hinting at unresolved family ties. Then why has my future self come looking for answers thanks to that collapse in causality? He might actually be the real me existing in a different timeline. Then how can causality collapse and still make sense? He shouldn't be here if timelines are fixed. Are you even listening to me, future self? He wonders aloud, can a divinity truly traverse time itself? The question hangs in the air, filled with uncertainty and profound implications. He frowns, clearly troubled by his own past self's questions. Ryman seems unfazed, her tone suggesting she's used to such inquiries. Siwoo stammers, struggling to understand the implications of what he's been told. Siwoo's voice trembles as he asks, that would change anything? Ryman's response, though calm, carries a weight that leaves Siwoo unsure of her intentions. Good to see you again, even in this chaotic realm. Siwoo scoffs, clearly agitated by Ryman's words. Now what? He asks, his tone skeptical and resigned. Grim-faced, Siwoo asks, then take a good look at yourself. Grim-faced, Siwoo questions, God could speak to a monster like me? The idea seems absurd, yet he can't dismiss it entirely. Siwoo's voice quivers as he questions, but at the same time it is the current pope? Tension builds with each repeated, you. Ryman's tone is challenging, her gaze intense. Siwoo's response, though hesitant, shows a mix of frustration and determination. Ryman's challenge is clear, yet Siwoo remains unyielding, his resolve firm despite the tension between them. Ryman's challenge isn't sinking in, Siwoo retorts firmly. The tension between them is palpable. Warning, critical entity detected, initiating emergency protocols. You did the best you could, but it's not enough. Ryman, give up on him. Imagination? Was it just my imagination? Or did Ryman's voice carry an edge? Remember, you need to save not just the world, but Ramen and this, everything. Though my body, energy slipped out from him, merging into mine. Imagination? Was it just my sense? This world felt as though it seeped into my body. A single moment, a speck of energy drifted from him, saving Ryman and us all. Ryman's fate remains uncertain, as Siwoo's decision weighs heavily on her future. He hesitates, his mind racing. She notices a subtle eyebrow raise playing on her lips. He questions the system's logic, his voice echoing a mix of disbelief and anger. Even a god must bow to rules? He chose you, Kim Si-hoon from Terra. So did the system. Right now, Terra must hold the system's authority or hell will happen. Your Holiness, did you hear anything useful about our situation? The goddess continues to mock, her tone dripping with contempt. Siwoo remains silent, his expression a mix of anger and determination. Activating from you, but there was a purifier level? Active skill, Wings DF, begins to glow around her. Ryman's wings pulse with light, purifying energy swirling around Siwoo. The goddess speaks of acceptance and demon-tainted power, hinting at a complex task ahead. Ryman's laughter echoes, a mix of flattery and mockery. Siwoo smiles nervously, trying to read her intentions. Quite a dangerous situation. Subordinates are currently in Your Holiness's adorable grasp. Leo seems concerned, but Ryman's exclamation shows panic. Ryman's panic is clear as she speaks of Lilith and Reventon, urging Siwoo to act swiftly. The situation with the Baekmyong cultists and demon kings is dire. Ryman hesitates, her concern palpable as she questions Siwoo's ability to act swiftly. Ryman's voice wavers, doubt evident as she questions Siwoo's strength and resolve. Ryman's voice trembles as she questions Siwoo's ability to protect himself and others. She seems uncertain about his strength. Ryman's voice shakes as she demands an answer, her eyes narrowing in doubt. Siwoo stammers, clearly frightened by her tone and the consequences of his actions. Ryman's voice trembles with barely contained rage. Siwoo stammers, his fear evident. Ryman's voice shakes with fury as she demands an impossible feat from Siwoo, her eyes blazing with anger and disappointment. Ryman's eyes narrow, her expression a mix of anger and disappointment. Siwoo looks genuinely scared, but determined to accept the task. Ryman's tone is sharp and commanding, leaving no room for debate. Siwoo stands firm but visibly shaken. Ryman's voice crackles with authority. Siwoo listens, his expression a mix of fear and determination. The system's warnings pulse in the air, growing more urgent. Ryman's voice commands, Siwoo's gaze locked on her. The system alerts, growing more urgent with each passing moment. Ryman's voice rings out, clear and commanding. Siwoo stands frozen, the weight of her demand pressing down on him. Ryman's voice commands, drive him death. Siwoo feels an ominous presence closing in. Ryman's ominous command echoes, drive him. Death approaches, foreboding and inevitable. Good to be back, yet it feels strange after so long. A voice resounds, good to be back, yet it feels strange after so long. The return is bittersweet, laden with unspoken expectations and disappointments. Ryman's voice lingers. You dear sibling, our world needs you. Tension builds as she hints at lost potential and unfulfilled expectations. Ryman's voice is sharp, expecting more than just an ordinary response. Her tone leaves no room for misunderstanding. He sighs. His shoulders slump with weariness. The message feels like a harsh reminder of the long road ahead. Grim determination sets in as Siwoo prepares for his uncertain fate. Lives hang in the balance, and Siwoo knows every victory comes at a cost. Smashing demons to pieces, his actions fueled by an unyielding will, each victory comes at a cost. He had nothing left, and the Academy knew it. But right now, the tension builds as silence stretches between them. The aftermath of battles lingers, demons and kings reduced to rubble, leaving only memories of addiction and war. Grrr. That right? A little sibling who won't listen needs a good beating to set them straight, doesn't he? But I'm a sibling. Casting activates, a spell flare bathing the area in light. His resolve hardens, hinting at a looming challenge. His laughter fades, replaced by a determined glare. Haha, mind? The first time it's not even honestly cut off. Who cares, you bastard? Haha, wait around, blackout zone, rush in, there's a Luna. Leo, don't just show up and start throwing you around. No, Leo, Luna, are these your followers? To surpass even Terra, and a rank high enough. Ryman hints at Siwoo's potential, suggesting he should step up and embrace his role as an elder. Ryman's words carry weight, signaling a turning point for Siwoo. Ryman's demand is clear, leaving Siwoo with no choice but to agree. That way, you must stand by me now. He knows his decision will have far-reaching consequences. Divinity and humanity, are they truly separate entities? Can one absorb the power of another? He will be reborn with mercy, but personally giving you a new identity. Ryman's voice lingers, filled with a mix of nostalgia and regret. Siwoo feels a heavy burden as he contemplates his future in Eden. Siwoo nods, a mix of relief and uncertainty in his expression as he processes Ryman's words. Power surged before him, a familiar yet unsettling sensation. And from it emerged a breathtakingly beautiful something. Lady Ryman, goddess, Ryman, already having a name, Kim Siwoo, seems irrelevant now. Goodness, Kim Siwoo, born without parents, like that because he wanted to. You're so impatient, always wanting understanding before acting. Ryman seems agitated, her words rush and apologetic. Terra's familiar presence brings a mix of relief and awkwardness to Siwoo. Siwoo's sharp retort suggests he is not impressed by Ryman's comment about humans being important. Siwoo's response sharpens, challenging Ryman's assessment of humans. Ryman's tone sharpens, challenging Siwoo to match her skepticism. Ryman's gaze is stern, her tone unwavering as she assesses Siwoo's injury. Siwoo crosses his arms, a grimace barely visible on his face. Ryman's voice remains firm and resolute as she speaks of her children and their duties. Ryman demands that Terra, Chief of Eden, fulfill her oaths and duties. This voice, it's not Siwoo's. Salvation be with you. May Ryman's glory be with him. Holy knights greet His Holiness the Pope. Ryman questions Siwoo's use of power, hinting at consequences to come. Sir Leventon and others express their tardiness and concern about Eden. Ryman's authority grows with Siwoo's power, signaling a new dynamic in their alliance. Ryman's decree is expanding, defining new roles within her church. The fate's direction is shifting, signaling a power shift. Ryman's authority grows, transferring earthly power to Eden. The relic's significance becomes clearer with each passing moment. Ryman's voice carries weight, her authority growing with each word. The relic's power resonates, a force to be reckoned with. Ryman's voice rings out, her authority clear and commanding. The sword of judgment glows with otherworldly power, its blade shimmering ominously. Ryman's voice cuts through, her tone firm and unyielding. This means something significant is about to unfold. Ryman's voice rings clear, her meaning profound. Faith in Eden can now freely blossom on Earth without interference. Siwoo looks uncertain, Ryman's words leaving him in a state of prepared yet uneasy awareness. Ryman and Siwoo stand facing each other, tension palpable. Siwoo's expression is a mix of unease and determination. Terra's arrival marks a pivotal shift, signaling the beginning of a new phase in their unfolding drama. Terra's arrival suggests he's crucial, possibly holding a key role in the unfolding drama. Terra seems skeptical, his tone suggesting he's aware of Nameless's true nature. Terra's voice carries a mix of disbelief and disdain. Ryman stands firm, unfazed by his tone. Though I don't know. Long time since anyone cared about your souls. Quite a few new continents are important as. In that sense, it's wise to keep some humans alive. Countless ages have passed since their last gathering here. The place they're heading is the Pantheon, a hall that would make for quite an interesting sight. Gathering halls before the guests arrive, tension builds as Siwoo wonders if this is a trap. Fate has brought us to this stage. Conflicts are inevitable, leading us there. We must prepare to enter the stronghold where Pluto awaits. The ancient gods have endured within the dimensional rift that finally opened. This isn't just any meeting. Riemann's tone carries weight, hinting at expectations to be met. Siwoo's response, though brief, signals a turning point in his journey. Riemann's warning lingers, pressing down on Siwoo's resolve. He remains firm, ready for whatever comes next. Those bastards. Riemann's trust in us is a heavy burden, Siwoo thinks, determined to prove himself. Trust in us and leave this place, she commands. Riemann's trust is a heavy burden, Siwoo thinks, steeling himself for what lies ahead. Siwoo feels a weight he can barely carry, but knows others stand behind him, easing his burden. Siwoo reflects, grateful for the support he's received, but wonders how much more he can bear. He nods, determination in his voice. He'll handle it and return quickly. He declares a sacred domain, his voice resolute yet tinged with uncertainty. He speaks with determination, his voice resounding through the virtual space. Here, he declares this place sacred.comic if it is available in your city. For faster updates, please buy the original version. There may be many errors in language, and character names are just previews of the original comics. Lady Riemann's blessing has transformed into a sanctuary, boosting Siwoo's combat power. The declaration is binding, marking this area as sacred ground. We'll sweep them all away. Hi-ah! It seems Siwoo is overwhelmed by a wave of debt repayments, his face contorted in distress. Thanks, all of you. UWAAA. 10 years I spent in Eden are now unfolding. Anyone who comes meet when I return. Back entered is Do. Siwoo looks up, determination in his eyes. The final battle looms above, a daunting prospect. Riemann steps forward, her presence commanding. Siwoo meets her gaze, resolve forming in his eyes. Siwoo's determination hardens as he prepares for the battles to come. Riemann's plan unfolds as Ramen church healers rush into contact with brainwashed civilians, forming unexpected alliances. Riemann's plan unfolds as Ramen church knights and guilds quickly mobilize, defending Eden against the impending threat. Riemann's words carry weight, calling on Siwoo to bring peace and protect Eden. This is more than just a request, it's a heavy responsibility. The Pantheon. A grand hall filled with ancient statuary. The space around them seemed to pulse with an ancient energy. Come in, lonely one, welcome to the Pantheon. Kept me excluded for so long? You've arrived at last, your holiness. Looks mixed in, Riemann. You truly value a manga one here? We've waited long for you, Pluto, like we're so stingy. Isn't this day we could finally return to Earth? Brother, don't be so hesitant, you deserve to set foot inside. Riemann's proposal is both intriguing and complex. He's qualified, yet still young. This gathering is to decide his future in Eden. Riemann's tone is both earnest and challenging. Siwoo, you are more than just qualified, your bond is something special. Riemann's laughter echoes, mocking Siwoo's situation. She acknowledges his worth, but with a twist of disdain. Riemann's mockery continues, setting an ominous tone for Siwoo's fate. Riemann's tone is sharp and cutting, directed at Siwoo. The implication of youngest suggests a challenge or accusation. Riemann's anger is palpable, her voice sharp and commanding. Siwoo stands there, taken aback by her rebuke. Riemann's laughter is cold and mocking, taunting Siwoo with a challenge. She continues to emphasize the levels of patronage, insinuating her superiority. Siwoo realizes the severity of his situation, the weight of Riemann's challenge pressing down on him. Contact us at our site, KFNCOM, for your favorite series. Riemann's amusement lingers, hinting at more to come. The website's message looms large, leaving Siwoo in a dilemma: contact them or ignore the distraction. Siwoo's decision hangs in the air, tension building as he contemplates the website's message. Riemann's declaration echoes, challenging Siwoo to see beyond his mundane existence. Now, can you? Full power right now. You can't use your... Riemann struggles to keep up, her voice strained as she cries out. Riemann pushes through, her voice strained as she dares him to doubt. Riemann's eyes flicker, her gaze intense as she considers the offer. You, nameless, impossible to know who you truly are. Yet here you stand, qualified to join us. Singularity indeed. Time, Shinhyuk. The Chronos resource of a fragment has crossed the boundaries. Who carries it has the potential to change everything. He had always longed for something more, but at what cost? The weight of his secret pressed heavily upon him. To be on the same side as us? She continues to mock, pushing the flimsy human to his limits. Eat, she demands, as if mocking his very existence. How much longer must he endure this? Huh? Alive? Now, do you understand why you'll get eaten? Jaya. The reality of his situation hits him hard. Divinity gathers and fuses, sending warped wolves at him. He must defend against this onslaught, his resolve tested. Hiya ahaha. Now, Terra, your seat as Earth's patron lord is no longer. You, replace it. The strongest one among you takes the seat. The transition is complete, but the implications are dire. Riemann's mockery continues, leaving Siwoo in a grim predicament. Terra struggles, gasping for air as if in a nightmare. Projected scenarios swirl around, none ending well for him. You know, Terra, when we come back from the same dimension where I devour, that's not an ending you'd like, is it? Is this Sitoen's attention? Hungry for what, exactly? Do you crave more? Is this what you desire? Goddess Riemann proposes a change, one that would alter his domain. Earth's chief god was once chosen for power, but now, does this new chief god rise from different soil? Nate is on the verge of being chosen, yet uncertainty lingers. As expected, the gods have their own agendas. Ryman's homeland, a place of pure and beautiful divine power, stirs within Siwoo as he grapples with his hunger and desire. Ryman's words tug at Siwoo, yet he resists, his resolve wavering. Ryman's accusation looms, tension palpable as Siwoo's fate hangs in the balance. Ryman's voice booms, leaving no room for denial. Siwoo stands firm but visibly shaken. Grush. Siwoo's teeth clench tightly, his expression grim. Ryman's gaze is intense, her tone challenging. Siwoo's expression remains stubborn but wary. Siwoo's determination wavers as Riemann's challenge lingers in the air. A scream echoes through the stream, urgency in every word. Cruel laughter echoes, dark and menacing. Destruction looms as a threat. Pluto, Earth, very end. My poor planet, humanity until did my best to protect. You're the one who will bring the story to its end, not me. Terra's voice carries an edge, challenging Siwoo to understand the gift's true cost. The administrator's words hint at a complex, unfolding scenario beyond simple comprehension. Aghast, Siwoo stumbles backward, Eden's grandeur overwhelming him. Terra's voice rings out, challenging his resolve. Heavily burdened, Siwoo sighs in relief, feeling as if a weight has been lifted from his shoulders. Chief God's contract remains valid, but she reassures him not to worry. What exactly is she talking about now? Ryman seems conflicted, offering condolences but also gratitude. Siwoo appears taken aback by her mixed emotions. System acknowledges the transfer of divine power, blending naturally with Siwoo's essence. This marks a significant and irreversible change. Ryman's accusation echoes, casting doubt on Terra's loyalty from the start. Ryman's voice carries a hint of frustration, challenging Siwoo directly. Siwoo's reply is curt and defensive, refusing to back down. Grim determination hardens Siwoo's face as he responds. Insolent, Siwoo's challenge is about to be met with divine wrath. Rieman's voice echoes, challenging Siwoo directly. The tension is